I regret voting for Kamala because the Trump supporters, we don't regret it. We enjoyed our vote. So do y'all regret not being able to support Trump when you had the chance? Anyone could join the live. We just trying to find out. The people that didn't vote for Trump, do y'all regret losing that opportunity to vote for Trump? Because everyone's always saying, oh, do you regret your vote for Trump? And I'm like, most people knew what Trump was about. Most people knew Trump was about daggone tariffs. Most people knew that. Most people knew Trump was supporting a mass deportation. So why y'all asking us, do we regret our vote? Do you regret not voting for Trump? Like, come on now. I'm just trying to find out who's here gotta hate on my boy Donnie T. Who's here trying to say, oh, you regret your vote? Because we don't regret our vote. Like, y'all can stop asking. I'm asking the question. We don't regret our vote. Like, everybody that was voting for Trump knew tariffs and knew mass deportation. And then the media is trying to say, oh, Trump supporters regret their vote. I'm like, who are these Trump supporters that are y'all saying regret voting for Trump? Did they not know what they were voting for? Did they not see anything that Trump said? A large part of Trump's platform was tariffs. He said, it's a beautiful word, tariffs. And he was doing that. It was about them tariffs. Like, now he's trying to say, oh, you regret them? Like, this is literally what we was asking for. This is literally what he talked about. He campaigned on this. What do you mean, do we regret our vote? No, y'all regret your vote. We don't regret our vote. Oh, do y'all regret supporting Elon Musk? Elon Musk is a daggone, he's not voted for. No one voted for Fauci either. Oh, can we say that? No one voted for Fauci, but y'all trying to say no one voted for Elon. Make that make sense. No one voted for Dr. Fauci, but y'all always bring out, oh, daggone, Elon Musk is an unelected bureaucrat. So is the 87 new employees at the IRS. All of them unelected bureaucrat. What's rebuttal for that? Yeah, my favorite one right now, the Signal Gate of thing. The Signal Gate. I'm like, what? So Signal is an app. When I was in the military, before deployment, we were told to download and use in different countries. And now they're trying to say, oh, he used Signal. It's unsecure. I'm like, bruh, he shouldn't add opposition media. He shouldn't have added someone from the ops in the thing. We should investigate that dude. And
I'm 19. I'm 20, by the way, just to let you know before, because I know people are gonna ask.
There's Asians on this. I got a question for you. Do you regret not voting for Trump?
No, I didn't vote for him either.
You didn't vote for my boy?
Yeah. No.
You voted for Kamala?
Yeah. And I voted for Brian. I didn't vote for Brian Schimmel. I voted for. I voted for Susan Crawford.
I don't know who those are.
Elon decided to throw $20 million into a Senate election.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's talking about, was it a Senate election? Or I thought it was like a judge. Or
it's
something.
not Senate election. It was a Supreme Court election.
Supreme Court or federal judge?
Yeah, local Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Okay. I don't really know that much about Wisconsin except for cheese. So, what you trying to talk about? What's your opinion on this? And what's up, CF Stir?
That's right. Most people get that wrong. Good job. I know the most about Ukraine. I am very proud that I voted for Kamala Harris.
Well, so you support us staying in Ukraine and trying to like keep sending them weapons for a war they can't win?
Yeah, I think that we should be sending them weapons. I think that they have a very viable chance of actually winning this war. I think they're very close.
Stop. Tell me, how can Ukraine win the war?
Right. So Russia is sending back wounded into the battle, as in people who have been wounded are being sent back into the battle. That's one of the latest indicator of a battle for who's going to win. And it's a pretty solid indicator that Russia is currently struggling.
So how is Ukraine going to win the war?
Right, yeah. So Russia's at the point where they're really struggling on manpower, and they're just going to run out of people to send into the battle soon.
So Ukraine could win the war by waiting out and hoping Russia runs out of people?
Yeah, it's pretty much out there.
We're just logging them out.
Yeah,
they've already started
that's a good strategy to have. Just Russia's gonna run out of people.
Their reserve.
Well, obviously,
what is Ukraine's population compared to Russia? Isn't it a lot more? And didn't they lose half their population for people trying to leave so they don't get don't have to be part of the war?
I haven't heard of that. I know that
how many people left Ukraine?
I believe is 40 million to like 800 million Russians, something like it's a lot, or not 800 million. God, that would be way too many. Let me check the unalignment toll.
How many people have left Ukraine?
Yes, there was. Sorry, I think it's 70,000. I shouldn't say million. I think I meant to say thousand. It looks like war includes 14,000 military and civilian deaths on the Ukraine side. It looks like, and up to 1 million estimated casualties during the
You
Russian
said
invasion.
14,000 on Ukraine side.
That was during the Donbass.
Did you get those numbers from Vladimir yourself? From Zelensky?
No, so I'm looking. I was looking at the Donbass. I'm going to look at the
According to,
one.
at least according
Bro,
to
like
the
you tell me a good military strategy is keep throwing troops at them. The other side's gonna run out, even though they have like millions more people than us.
I don't know why you're yelling. They're very close to running out.
My
they're
bad,
sending
my
wood-
bad. Let me turn on the volume.
Yeah.
It might be that because this is just I'm just
Yeah.
naturally a loud person.
No,
So,
you're
like,
good.
So you tell me a
but-
good
so
strategy
what
is
I'm- what I'm
keep
trying
throwing
to-
people until the other side runs out.
Well, he literally just, I mean, he's sending
That's how a
out
battle is
like
won.
World War II technology.
Yeah.
Bro,
So-
they're
Guys
kidnapping,
literally
they're
sending
kidnapping
outdated
people on the
shit.
Ukrainian street and then sending them and like making them join the army. Do you not
Yeah,
see
so
the
that
videos
would
of
be-
someone on a
that would be a
bike
draft.
getting pushed off their bike and then getting snatched up off the street? And you're
It's a
telling me
meat
That's a
grinder.
draft.
Ukraine's gonna outlast them and they're gonna run out of
I-
people.
I don't know why we're looking at this differently than any other conflict. That would be what would be called as a draft. And then an interesting fact about the Ukraine draft is they only will take people above 25 and under 40, I believe. And the Americans went to them and they pressured the Ukrainian government to take as low as 18, and the Ukrainian government said, no, that's against our morals.
The
Okay,
point of
so
this being
no,
is
I
that
just want to focus on the. I just want to focus on you telling me the battle plan for Ukraine is to outlast Russia and hopefully Russia runs out of people.
That's
Even though they
that's
can
not
force-
the battle plan. It's
Then
just
what
an
is this-
indicator that they are running out of people.
Then no, I want to know what is Ukrainian strategy to win. Is it
I
just
can't tell
that?
you the Ukrainian strategy because I can speculate, but I can't tell you the actual Ukrainian strategy because
That's
I'm
all
not.
we're doing. We're just speculating. We're not the war generals.
Okay,
in the
if you want me to
office.
speculate, I'd say that they're trying to look into getting territory back in the Donbass because they recently lost that little bit of territory that they need for a negotiation during last month. I'd say that they would be talking about getting back as much territory towards the Russian side by curving around the main Russian invasion and getting that territory.
Didn't they have like
And
tried
then-
that already during the spring offensive last year, and that wasn't successful?
It's actually they've had a good amount of territory for a while. They lost it recently during last month, but that would probably have to do with the change in support from America due to President Trump taking over.
Yeah, a lot of Americans Trump is saying trying to end the war on day one, but Zelensky doesn't want to come to the table. Zelensky don't want to give up those precious mineral rights and stuff like that. Like, come on now. I'm just
Zelensky,
trying
the
to
only
figure
reason
out.
Zelensky,
Everyone
so
that
the
supports
only-
Ukraine always try to say we need to support Ukraine. We need to send them weapons. I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all just sending them to the buzzsaw. Y'all just sending them to get to the demise.
So-
There is no
so-
possible way for them to win this war and get the land back. That's just
if you-
not possible.
if you want to talk about a bloodbath, then we can talk about Mariupol, right? The reason it's crucial that Ukraine gets that territory back is not necessarily that that it's just like mineral rights or that they just don't want to be under the Russian government. It's not as simple as that. Mariupol is a city in the east of Ukraine. I think it's in the Donbass region again, and it was home to I think a few 100,000 people. There's currently, to my knowledge, 19,000 shallow graves outside of Mariupol where Ukrainian civilians who had their hands bound and were shot in the back of the head reside. There can be up to three civilians per grave, and they see execution indicators in most of them. They've also seen them raping Ukrainian civilians as young as 8 and as old as 80.
Okay.
my confusion comes
like-
in.
I don't know what is this supposed to mean?
Also-
is it supposed to be how Ukraine could win? Because we're kind of focused.
No,
on
this is supposed to be why it's crucial we support Ukraine until they win.
Also,
So-
why did you say why do you support a guy that literally said he would end the war in 24 hours and hasn't already?
because
like, what do you-
Zelensky-
what do
come
you-
out because Zelensky doesn't want to come to the table.
You
Zelensky doesn't wanna
no
make a
no
deal.
Trump literally
Zelensky
promised in his
doesn't
election.
want to
No,
make a
no,
deal.
listen. Trump literally promised in his campaign that he was going to end the war in 24 hours, and it hasn't ended already. So what's the game plan?
Zelensky trying to like strong arm America, trying to say, oh, if we don't beat Russia,
The
down,
whole
then
meeting
your
with
sons and daughters
the whole
to
meeting
Ukraine.
with Trump
Like,
and
instead of trying to say that, why are you asking? Why doesn't Zelensky come to the table? Why isn't Zelensky trying to make a deal?
why are you so you're saying why doesn't he just call for a ceasefire?
No, why don't he come to the table and make a deal? Say, hey America, you could have the mineral rights, bring in people to help mine them. So we're gonna have American people there, probably have American people trying to probably maybe like a couple soldiers trying to protect those American stuff too, right? And then Russia
But
say,
why-
yo, Russia, you could Donbass, Crimea, there ain't no way we could take y'all out of that area. So y'all keep that, and we don't join NATO, and y'all don't move any further into Ukraine.
How do you know that they're going to actually listen to what the hell they said? How do you know that they're going to not just disparage what they did?
Because we'll have
Because literally
American people
Russia,
in America coming
after the
there, so that means that
2014
they attack the
invasion-
country. That means they'll probably be attacking the American people and American businesses there too, right?
Yeah, well they're going to do it anyway. They don't give a shit.
So they're gonna. So
Russia
that means
just
they're
doesn't
gonna
give a
have.
shit.
Then America's gonna be forced to go in there and help because they're attacking the Americans that are there that is rebuilding Ukraine.
So the issue with what you're saying,
the reason why we
that there
intervened
were
in the first place is literally because it's to not set an example. Because what that's going on is invasion and literally destroying a democracy. Is what Russia is effectively doing.
And
Unprovoked.
since the beginning of time, countries have conquered other countries. Well, Europe through the 1800s.
That doesn't justify it.
Well, how does it justify
now
what you're
y'all have
doing?
a
So you're
problem with it?
justifying Russia?
Huh?
Yes,
So you're
I have
so you're a
always had a
Russian
problem with it. That's
sympathizer?
called
I'm
logical
not a Russian
consistency.
sympathizer. I'm
I
a
have a problem
realist.
with the
Ukraine
Crusades. I have
can't
a
win.
problem with Afghanistan. I have a problem with Iraq. Name a war. I have a problem with it. It's not logical inconsistency. I don't like any war, and just me saying I don't like this war in particular doesn't mean that I don't disagree with the other wars. That's an absurd claim.
But how? Okay, you don't like a war. How you no one had told me there's what possible way Ukraine can win. They can't. They literally can't.
Send advanced
told you
weaponry, send
earlier,
drones
Russia
and
is
shit
running
instead of
low on
RCXDs.
Huh?
Send some advanced weaponry. Send like really advanced instead of the dumb shit. Because we literally are sending them like our breadcrumbs that are already made in our sheds. We aren't sending like the biggest and the baddest shit. We
What
aren't
is the
sending like
biggest-
huge
selling it.
warplanes and stuff.
What is the biggest?
But Ukraine's selling it though.
Why do you think they're selling it?
Ukraine sells
Where do you get the evidence from? Show me the evidence right now.
Because they're the most.
You can go to
corrupt-
PBS.org. Actually had it.
In Europe,
PBS.org
Ukraine is the
actually
most
did an
corrupt
article
country,
over it.
Second to Russia. The only reason Ukraine
I
is
don't
not the
think
top most
you're-
corrupt country is because Russia's.
Oh,
right
that's
next
not
door.
true. No. You're
Russia
you're
is
mistaken.
not-
You're-
Russia is
so I
more
understand.
corrupt
Hold on.
than
I want
Ukraine.
to address that because I understand that mistake. You're speaking on 2006 statistics.
They're talking about this
since-
2014 thing.
Since Zelensky took office, he started a massive decorruption campaign in Ukraine. It's actually gone down
where
into
half the money went.
below America, to my knowledge.
The conservative argument is always going to boil down to the 2014 thing with the fucking old prime minister or the old president of fucking Ukraine. That's like all their arguments boil down to is, oh, the other guy was bad, so that means Ukraine deserved to be invaded because the
So-
old prime minister, the old president did that. I'm like,
So-
no,
so-
it doesn't excuse it.
Outside
So
of
if Trump invaded
2014
China,
happened, 2014 happened. 2022
Your
happened.
2014
Now,
argument
where do we
falls
move
flat.
Where do we move from here? There is no possible way. I have yet to hear
It was a
someone
provoked
on these lines
war.
tell me a way that Ukraine could beat Russia. It's the best.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
only stuff y'all
send
say is,
airstrikes.
Wait 'em
I'm sorry,
out, wait them out. Their country's gonna crumble. Wait them out. And while you're waiting out,
why do you think we
basically-
never said to wait them out?
Huh?
We never said to wait them
No, I
out.
said-
We said
I-
literally the same.
I said I had these conversations with people before on these live, and I said the only arguments are wait them out. They're gonna struggle, or like look at what Ukraine, Russia's about to run out of people. Like there's no.
Well,
there's no
I have this
legit
argument.
value.
I'm looking at the
Just
looking at the
Russia.
death tolls right now, and it's almost 8 times the Russian death tolls. The Russian death
What's
tolls
the
are
population compared to that, and what's the source? Are you getting that source straight from
Yes, but
Zelensky?
there's-
Like you really trust Zelensky to say, "Oh yeah, we're actually losing a lot more than we actually."
there's a
are."
lot
Like,
of
no,
different
he's gonna
sources
lie.
on this.
He's gonna make his
I
numbers
could
seem a lot
go
more
through
better
a
to
lot
make
of
it seem like it's
different
believable.
sources.
It's not.
I've seen
possible.
some from I've seen almost like any news source I could bring up. Most news sources agree that Russia has lost far more troops than Ukraine, and that's not something that Russia disagrees with. That's Russian strategy.
No. So I'm saying,
Russian-
so how if that's Russia's strategy, that means they don't care about sending their people to their demise.
No,
So,
because
they
these
don't.
are
are we just gonna
mercenaries.
keep waiting them
Yeah.
out to say, oh, just keep sending Ukraine money. Okay, they lost how many
because we're
millions of
seeing-
people so far that left Ukraine? How many people? Millions of people have left Ukraine. Like almost 7 million people
think
have left
civilians
Ukraine.
have. I know refugees. I don't know about combatant aged males.
You think
but-
you think there's no combatant age males in those millions of people that left Ukraine? It was
No, I
it
said
was
I don't
millions
know
of people
about them.
like,
I
7
say
million
that
people left
I
Ukraine.
said I wasn't saying that they weren't there. I'm saying I don't know what the statistic is. I don't think there's a statistic that's measuring how many combatant aged males there are.
So, CF, I got a
there's
question.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
When I think there's millions of people leaving, what you're trying to say it's not or something. I'm confused what you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is that most of them would be civilians that are not like able to be combatants, like grandmothers, grandfathers, young people, stuff like that.
Okay.
Women, children.
So how do they win? What's their winning strategy? Because you can't
The
just say,
winning
keep
strategy
going there,
is that
keep
we're
demise,
seeing-
and
we're
sooner or
seeing-
later Russia's gonna crumble.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're seeing genuine signs of weakness in the Russian forces. I can list off many if you want.
What?
So,
them
CF, I got-
them bringing that Timu army in?
North Korea would be one. North Korean troops being on the front line would be one of them. North Korean weapons, them repurposing MIRVs and IRBMs to use
conventional warheads.
He's saying North Korea helps Ukraine?
Yeah,
No,
Korea's
North-
sending, some. I think
Sorry,
North Korea is helping Russia.
When did I cut out?
Oh.
North Korea's sending like 10,000 troops to Russia to
Yeah.
the front lines.
I don't know when I
Damn.
cut out there. so
Because
I'm-
they're
I'm gonna-
losing
I'm gonna-
troops. They literally just started another draft.
Yeah, and Ukraine is going
Damn.
around in the streets and trying to kidnap people. They're drafting.
That's a
people too.
draft.
What are you talking about?
That's
What are
I
you
don't
talk-
know why people keep on calling this that. That's the draft. That's what a draft
Yeah,
is.
it's a
No, no,
draft.
no, no, no.
It's a draft.
Not Russia
they're,
does
they're
that.
seeing random people on the streets and they're saying you're going to the draft.
No.
Yeah, so they snatching people
they're
up
doing
off
it.
the
There's
street, beating them and throwing them on the front lines. Like, what are you
Where do you
talking
get
about?
this evidence from?
So
There's
everyone's
several-
videos
there's
of people
several
getting
cameras
snatched up
of
off the
it.
front line.
Give me this information.
There's
Tell me
several
where to
video
find the
evidence
source.
of this.
Listen,
What are you
talking
talking
about
about?
videos of
I'll
people
find
being
you something, big
arrested,
dog. I got you.
but that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that they're doing that. That doesn't mean they're doing what you're implying they're doing.
That's what the video evidence showed. It's off a camera.
Okay. Let's say
Is
that
it a video and
I've
it's
seen,
just
I've
talking, or is
seen
it
the
just a
videos.
video?
I've
It's
seen
a
the
video
That
video.
looks like
camera.
somebody's being kidnapped.
It's AI.
I've
It's not
seen.
real.
Hold on. I've seen the video you're talking about. The thing about that is we don't know what the situation is. We don't know if that person that they went and got was someone they have been tracking and looking for a long time because they're a draft dodger or not.
Oh, so you're okay with? Are you okay with it though?
When it's a draft, I think all war is horrible. If you didn't want it happening, then you would.
But I'm asking you,
you would
CF, are
condemn
you
Russia.
okay with it?
But as far
I'm
as
asking,
Ukrainians
I'm asking you,
for
are
defending
you
themselves,
okay
yes.
with it? Okay, so what's wrong with what Trump's doing with the illegal immigrants then?
The illegal immigrants is
Admitted
mass
in
racial
court.
profiling.
They admitted in court that they took somebody that they weren't supposed to take, and when they realized their fuck up, they said, "Oh, we
Yes.
can't get him back now."
Yeah.
They admitted
Oh, the
to it.
MS-13
The
guy?
Trump
They admitted that they
administration
made a fuck
admitted
up.
That
to
person
it.
a citizen? Permanent.
Yeah, he
permanent
was.
resident?
Legal U.S.
He
resident.
Yeah.
was. He had legal protection
He was a
status.
citizen.
He was a
What you
citizen,
talking about? What you
and they
talking about?
proved
Tell me
the
what you
fact that
talking
he was
about.
an MS-13 gang member. What you
Yeah,
talking
that
about?
dude.
Hold on.
Brainwashed
Wait, everybody,
You're being
everybody,
brainwashed by
everybody.
Fox News.
Hold on.
Oh, it wasn't even fucking
Hold on.
I
Fox
don't even
News,
watch
dipshit.
Fox
Hold on.
News.
Hold on, brother,
You watch
brother.
nothing but
Brandon.
What?
Newsmax, Fox
Hold on.
News,
I don't watch
and
Fox
Jesse
me-
News or
Waters.
Newsmax. A lot of the
Let me
stuff-
say
That
something
is
real quick. Let me say
crazy.
something real quick. They literally have admitted that they took someone who was a legal U.S. citizen who
Thank
had
you.
their papers and who
Who
was
was
born
his name?
here,
I'll look him up right
deported them.
Yeah, what's his
What's
name?
his
From the
name?
White House.
What's his name?
Looking it up. Hang on.
Oh,
Trump
damn, don't even got a
deporting.
name.
You
I'm
can look
looking it
stuff
up,
up. Everybody
check.
doesn't have everything
I'm
on top
literally
of their head.
looking it up.
I'm not-
The
I'm not-
White House. I'm just saying, your White House, Trump's White House, admitted to it.
What's his
They
name
admitted to
then?
it.
What's his name? What's
Yeah,
his name?
what's his
He's getting the
bro?
name.
We're getting his name, but I know the details.
So you, so wait. You advocating
I
that
thought-
Trump fucked up and you ain't got the man's name?
No, hold on. Here's the name.
Oh, well, he got
What's
it
his
now,
name,
Maverick.
Paul?
Here you go. Damn.
A federal judge in
What
Maryland Friday ordered
Is
the
it,
Trump.
girl?
Wait, stop. He's reading.
A
Stop. Let
federal-
him read.
What's the name?
Let him read. Go ahead.
Let me read. A federal judge in Maryland Friday ordered the Trump administration to take immediate steps to return a Maryland man by the name of Abrigo Garcia, who was deported to a Salvadorian mega prison by mistake, setting up another high-stakes clash between the White House and the courts.
And you're saying he
That's
was
the
a
name.
citizen?
He was
Yeah,
a
he
US
was.
resident.
We've told you
He
this a
had legal
million
protected
times.
I'm
status.
about to look up if he was a citizen.
Legal
Yeah,
protected
yeah.
status.
Hold on. I want to hold
Don't-
other people
don't
on this
look
panel
on
accountable
shit
because
like-
that's not entirely accurate.
Look
I'm
on
holding-
non-biased information.
Hold on. I want to hold the Democrats on this panel accountable. I'm a Democrat, but I want to hold ourselves accountable because that's not 100% accurate. What he was a legal U.S. resident. That's not a citizen. That's a resident. That means he had legal permission to be here. He went through the
Yeah,
correct
legal
channels.
protected
He was
status is
here
what I just
correctly.
said.
Wait,
Yes.
stop. I
Sorry,
got a
someone
question.
said that he was a
Status.
citizen.
Do
He
the
is not a
Secretary
citizen.
of State, Marco Rubio, have the ability to revoke someone's protected status or visa? Yes.
Did he say he revoked it? Where did
Not
he say?
revoked it.
Where did he say he
Yes.
revoked it? Where
And
did
is
he
this
say
the-
he
and is
revoked
this-
it?
is it you talking about the dude that have like affiliations with MS-13?
No, he had no.
He had no. There was. It was
How
never.
do you even
present.
have
No,
any
no. Where are you
evidence
getting-
on
where are
that
you
besides
saying
what
that
you
he
were
has no
told?
affiliation with MS-13? Was it his lawyer? Because of course his lawyer's gonna defend him and say no. he's
The
not.
courts. The court.
The courts literally said that he wasn't even part of it. He was just literally thrown there.
They
for
were
no reason.
fully aware that he did not have connections.
And plus, the
He
Trump
wasn't a US
administration
citizen.
themselves literally admitted that it was an error on their
Yes.
part, but they still did
No.
it anyway.
Do you know what the error was? Because I remember hearing
The
there
error
was
was
an
The
error.
error was deporting him and literally sending him to jail.
So you
They
tell me the
were
error
aware
was
literally
of his
deporting
status.
the
They
guy.
were aware they could not deport
That
him.
was
but
the
they
fuck
deported
up.
him anyway.
I literally just put up the NPR news article on it. It says he was part of the MS-13 gang.
Where are you even getting
What?
this?
What
I don't
NPR
even-
I
news
just
article?
told
What's
you
the
the
heading of the article?
NPR.org. I'm trying to pull it up. But
Let
it
me-
won't let me pull it up.
Here,
Tell us the
someone
head of the
search it up.
name the article so that he can pull it up and read it word for word where it says that, Maverick. Oh my God.
So hi, D Gibbs. Been a minute.
Hello, see if how do I say your fucking name?
Wait,
dude?
there was a
How do I say your name?
2019 hearing that said that he was part of MS-13.
No.
Bam!
This
Was that an
2020.
accusation or
Damn!
was it
So
proven?
you saying we don't know if this dude was part of MS-13 or not? You're not saying he was it. You're saying is this an accusation?
Listen,
And of course his
There
lawyer's
was
gonna,
no evidence found that
Of
he
course
was.
his lawyer's gonna say, of course he's not. There's no evidence and stuff like that. But come on now.
Listen,
first
Do
of
you
all,
still
So
we
let
did a court
anybody
find
deport
him
him?
liable
Wait a
or
minute.
anything?
We
Did
could
a
go
court
to-
say
we
that he
We can go
was?
to deportations, but let's finish off this Ukraine stuff right quick. So you tell me. So who thinks Ukraine could beat Russia?
I am confident that with the right support, you can beat Russia.
Yeah, they can beat
What
Russia
does
with the
that
right
mean?
amount of
We can
support.
clap
I
Russia's
agree.
cheeks if we
We
send them
could
enough
provide them
weapons.
F-35s. That's what I'm at.
F-35s.
Yes, I fully believe.
Yeah, send all the
What
jets.
would
Send all the
F-35
jets. Send all the
do?
drones.
F-35s have BVR
Who's gonna
capabilities
fly
to provide them to have complete.
Who's gonna fly the jets?
Yeah, Ukrainians, dumbass.
They're
I
not
know a
trained to
lot
fly
about
F-35s. They was trained to fly. They're trained on the MiGs.
They're flying F-16. They train
Yeah,
them to
they had to
fly
go from
F-16.
flying MiGs and SUs to flying to F-16.
How do you even know that they're not trained enough to
So
fly?
they
a
are
fucking
aware of
jet?
the American
Because
aircraft.
going from the
laws.
F-16 to
Oh,
the F-35,
Lord.
you need training. What are you talking
It's
about?
not as much training, and
And even if they didn't
should
have
given them
training, why does this?
F-35s
What's
from the
stopping
start.
them from getting it?
we
Because
should have given them
anti-air,
F-35s.
like the what is it? The S-400 and the S-500. Do you know
The
they have
the
anti-air stuff
F-35
too?
could
You know they
kick
can do
that
drones. You
thing's
know they can do
ass.
drones.
Aren't there
for,
spaces
jets
that are
also?
free from anti-airspace?
Hold on, I am well aware of how this works. I can tell you right now, the F-35 could kick the S-400 ass.
What about the S-500?
It could kick its ass.
So you tell me, so
Maverick
seeing
left
that we'll
because we
beat them,
booted
we'll beat them
them.
and stuff like that. That's what we're saying. They need the S-35 and S4. They need the F-35, right? That's what they need.
Yeah, so the F-35 has an advanced data link system, and it has a low radar return system,
I
or
know.
low radar return.
It
It
don't
makes
got the
it
same as the
more
F-22, but it got
than-
a pretty low one too. I understand. But so you tell me, if we think them F-35, that's the way they could beat Russia.
Yeah, that would make it.
That's a tool. Yes, that's
Yeah.
one
So
of the things we
Is
need.
that a tool or is like I'm trying to figure out how do
That's
you
not the
beat
final
Russia?
answer, but it
So they-
requires-
That's not the final
Right.
answer, but that's part of the solution.
So
Yes.
that's part of the solution, right? So what's the whole
Yes.
solution? There's no way for Ukraine to beat
Provide
Russia.
them
That's-
Then, besides sending this, we need
The
to
whole-
send the food. There's also food. You know that these people also need a bunch of food too, right?
Yeah, like the
Still
whole
trying to
point
figure-
of beating Russia is to
You're-
make sure they
You
have
need to
proper
boost
resources.
morale for these people.
So
Do
you're
you
not-
believe-
you're-
hold on,
you
Those
don't,
don't grow
let's
on
say you don't
trees.
know. If you could just be honest, say you
I
don't know
do
how
know.
Ukraine could beat
I told
Russia.
you how.
Yeah, we know.
I told you
We
how.
literally just told you,
You
food
said
and resources,
F-35
military
and waiting
equipment.
them out. That's all y'all said.
We didn't just say
F-35
waiting them out. We
resources.
said
I
giving
just
them
gave an
food
example, and F-35 was an
resources.
I
example. They
said,
need
what were those
consistent
resources? Y'all said
ready
F-35.
resources.
Yeah, F-35s. We got food. You know what fucking food rations are? We need to
So
send them food
F-35
rations.
food.
Then we need to get them military training too, in these designated areas that are off from the grid.
So F-35
Yeah, we also need to
food
give
and
them
military
support.
training. We're not already
also need to
we're
give
not
them
already
su-
giving them military training.
We're giving them military training, but right now we haven't because the Trump administration's been cock blocking.
So you're telling me they need F-35s, food, military training, and that's the way they could beat Russia.
And then
Yes.
we need other weapons
We're
too. We
saying
need
Yeah, other weapons,
consistent
they need to protect
regular
themselves.
support is what they need. Consistent regular support. That's a lot of different things.
consistent.
Abrams, Bradleys, F-35s, F-16s,
You
fucking
talking about the things
JDAM.
that are getting like destroyed right now? You know how many things got destroyed from on Ukraine's side?
Ukraine has been beating Russia's ass in the
You
tank
didn't see that
conflict.
he
No,
literally
oh,
went
right,
after
because
a
he's
stealth
And Ukraine,
sub.
Russia's using the same drone technology to destroy Ukrainian tanks, or even the ones that are sent by America.
Did you-
We're not gonna.
Did you not see that one time where Ukraine literally destroyed a South Russian like submarine?
They destroyed a Russian submarine.
Yeah, stealth Russian submarine. That was like a really important stealth Russian
I thought it was
submarine.
talking about the Black Sea Fleet flagship.
Well, I can't remember the exact ship's name, but it was like either a ship or was a submarine, but it was a stealth one that was literally underwater that was literally destroyed by the Ukrainians.
Okay,
That was like,
Like,
one
dude,
of their
they know
biggest
what they're
points
doing.
base.
They just need proper help.
bro.
If we can give them help, they can beat Russia's ass.
So
Simple as that.
You
have that.
okay, y'all just say those three things.
Well, we
sending
said-
them more resources, sending
Yes.
them more food, and then like waiting out Russia.
And
if
then
that
giving them
doesn't-
proper
when if that
training.
doesn't work. What do we do then? Just keep doing it until it works,
Yes,
I mean-
they're showing signs of fatigue. I've said this several times, but you keep
bro.
ignoring it.
We need to
Russia-
keep-
bro, you
literally,
focusing on
Russia
all the
is
good
sending
on
men
Ukraine
into a
and focusing
grinder.
on all the bad on Russia. You don't know what are the bad on Russia and what are the bad on Ukraine, what are the good on Russia. Like you don't know, you only focus on this is all the stuff that's bad with Russia. There's all the stuff that's good with Ukraine. They could win. Like you don't look at the Russia's population is like what is it? Multiple, it's like 10 times Ukraine right now. You don't look at that. Ukraine is you saying that Russia is losing people. Well, the average age of Ukrainian soldiers is like in their late 30s. They have old people fighting in the Ukrainian war. Like, come on now. You trying to say
You don't think
Russia is
35's that
able
old?
to import a Timu army to help bolster their front line? Who is going to?
What do you think? How do you think 35-year-olds are
North
capable
Koreans
of
have not
fighting?
made a significant impact in this war.
I didn't say they did. I just said they have that ability to do that.
There's
Because
literally.
you're trying to say that the numbers are on Ukraine's side. It's not. Because have y'all looked at the battle line since 2022?
Yeah. It's
Did
not.
they
it's
really
not
change? Have they really changed?
No.
So after 2
Doesn't
years
mean
of
that Russia
Ukrainians
isn't
throwing
showing
bodies at that
significant
war,
signs of
what's really
fatigue that
changed?
Ukraine simply isn't. Russia is economically screwed. They are not in a good position. They cannot sustain this war for a long time. That is a fact.
Then, bro, you still got Europe buying Russian energy, though. It's funny. Europe stands with Ukraine, but they're buying
Whose
Russian
fault
energy
is that? Is
so they
that,
have
is
money.
that Trump's fault or is that Biden's fault for who's
You
buying
said
Russian
what?
energy?
You
Whose
said
fault is that? Biden's or Trump's that were buying Russian energy?
Trump told Germany, "Hey, y'all have this Nord Stream pipeline that y'all getting from Russia. Stop doing that and get your energy from us." He told Germany that in his first term. He told Germany that.
That was before the Ukraine war. He is supporting
so-
Russia.
So yeah, he warned them about it, and look what happened. Trump was right
Was right about what?
of them being dependent on Russia for energy.
I'm not following. What?
If Trump told Germany at the time, say, hey, you got this pipeline going in from Russia Y'all getting dependent on their energy. Buy your energy from us instead. Doesn't
Oh,
and then
he
Russia
didn't-
and Germany was like, you know what? We're gonna keep that pipeline, and not only are we gonna keep that pipeline, we're gonna do the Nord Stream 2, adding another pipeline from Russia. After Trump,
Wouldn't that also be like
that wasn't a security concern though?
huh?
Wouldn't that also just be in general like other countries screwing us over because they're supporting Russia and not just us as a skill issue? If you're making an argument that Germany decided to open up the pipeline for Russia, how does that excuse what Russia did by the invasion?
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. Someone was asking me about how are they like supporting Russia and stuff like that, and I was saying they're buying Russian energy. That was my whole thing. I said that Europe stands with Ukraine, but they're buying Russian energy. That was what my statement was. So like you can't be saying, oh, we got sanctions on Russia, but we're still spending up millions and billions of dollars for energy. That kind of cancels each other out, does it not?
I'm gonna Google this. Hold on. I'm seeing. Okay, here's Reuters from 2018.
Talking about when Trump was talking to Germany about buying Russian energy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
God damn it! Is Reuters one of those things you need to buy for? Yeah, it is. Fuck. Okay, PBS will have to do. Brussels. President Donald Trump was wasting no time in escalating his verbal attacks on Germany in the opening leg of the European tour. Seated across from NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg at breakfast Wednesday morning ahead of the alliance's meeting, Trump expanded his criticisms beyond how little, in his view, Europe's most powerful economy spends on defense to target where they buy their energy. Germany is totally controlled by Russia, he said. It will be getting between 60 and 70% of their Russia in the new pipeline, but those numbers aren't correct. Here's what we know about the pipeline and the borders fight over natural gas exports. What's the Nord Stream 2 pipeline? Trump is referring to Nord Stream 2 pipeline that's being built under the Baltic Sea between Russia and Germany. Gazprom, Russia's natural gas producer, is building it alongside the existing pipeline of the same. Sorry, I'm like reading really weird.
Okay, let me just tell you
So
something.
European
On the left, on the bottom left, that was the battle lines in November 2022. On the bottom right, that is the battle lines March 2025. After 3 years, about 2 years and some change, what have Ukraine really done?
Can we acknowledge that in the amount of time, in the amount of effort, 800,000 people Russia has thrown at those borders, Ukraine has maintained that? If you don't think that's a win on the Ukrainian side, then that is absurd.
What you mean Ukraine have maintained that?
Ukraine has maintained those borders across 800,000.
Oh, well, you under the impression that Russia was interested in all of Ukraine?
Yeah.
Russia is increasing
So
in the large
so you're trying to tell me this? Oh, Russia attacked Kiev from the north. They should have been able to take that in 3 days. Blah blah blah. Okay, I could hear you. But think about this: Russia attacked Kiev. Russia attacked Ukraine from the north and the east, making Ukraine have to split their troops and resources to two front lines, right? And then they're able to easily take the east and then remove the people from the north and just bring them back to bolster the east and say, yo, we want this land bridge from Russia to Crimea where they have the their Black Fleet sheet is ported at, right? So what
They have ports and access to the Black Sea already, so that's clearly not why they want
No,
Ukraine.
they want a land bridge access to Crimea where they have their Black Sea fleet.
I mean, they have. I don't see why it needs to be in Crimea.
Because
But,
right now they have a base in Crimea.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that they had a base. I thought you just said that it was parked near Crimea.
No, they have a whole base in
that
Crimea.
doesn't
That's why
justify
in
it. There's still a
2014
G side going on the Russian side.
That's why in
But,
2014 when they wanted the leadership changed because of the NATO backed people, whatever. After that, the dude was Russia was like, you know what? We own Crimea now, and all they had to do was the people in the base just walk outside and say we own Crimea because y'all don't have no military presence there. We do.
Well,
So
yeah,
now they want a daggone land bridge because there was a whole bombing of a bridge leading from Russia to Crimea.
So then why?
Can I ask you something? I want to ask him specifically one question. Do you think that in an ideal world, Ukraine should win this war?
In an ideal world, Russia shouldn't have an attack. In an ideal world,
though,
America would have sent troops to help out
if
Russia.
you can
Ukraine.
pick today and one side wins the war, who do you pick?
If I could pick today, I could wave one and one side to win the war, it would be Ukraine.
Okay.
But I'm a realist. I think about this actually what's going on, what's the actual ability for Russia to win, ability for Ukraine to win. And currently right now, the ability for Ukraine to win is not existing. I understand trying to say
I disagree.
That's getting invaded, but it's just like it's a waste of time, money, and resources.
I just disagree.
After
Larger
we spend like
chance of
hundreds
Ukraine.
of billions of dollars, what have we really got from that war? What have Ukraine got from that war?
Ukraine has maintained the territory you've seen. If we had sent that resource to Ukraine, then I'm sure you can agree Russia would have far more territory by now.
To be honest,
I mean,
that might be
we
true,
just have
but
more toys
You
in
really
general.
think that are you under the impression that Putin is trying to be like the H-man and conquer all of Europe?
I'm under the impression that he wants the natural
USSR?
resources of Ukraine and is tolerant in the genocide that his population commits against the Ukrainian population.
Russia's goal is literally to be like to not just stop at Ukraine, but to invade Poland.
Why?
Literally.
Okay. In the last
They-
20 years, what have Russia really conquered?
Georgia.
Russia conquered?
Okay.
Russia has
Because
been in
it's
conflicting
Russia
distant
basically
conflict.
conquered a lower landmass than what? Florida? They conquered a lower landmass than what?
So
Pennsylvania?
what?
That's a massive
So what?
amount of territory.
Yeah,
So
Florida is
in
big.
20 years, that's all he's been able to do. And you're
I'll
telling
come
me,
back with
and
that.
How does that
you're
set
telling
an
me that this
example?
dude is in his like he's in 70 something years old, and he's gonna go ahead and conquer the rest of Europe now. When his
Is his
military
failure
This
to
is
when his
just
conquer
military
the
happens
defeats
territory
overnight.
mean that he's any
Ukraine,
more justified to conquer that territory?
what you said?
Does his failure to conquer territory mean that he's any more justified in conquering that territory?
No, I'm saying he's not able to do it. My whole point is, Eric, all I'm hearing is, especially from Europeans, that Russia's trying to conquer all of Europe. Russia's trying to conquer all of Europe, but he's struggling to take over Ukraine. Russia's trying to conquer
Yeah,
all of
that's
Europe.
the
So
USA
he
UK
can't-
propaganda
if he
rhetoric.
can't
That's
take
all that is.
over a small country like Ukraine, what makes you think he's gonna take over the whole continent or even more countries past Ukraine that are actually
Because they
part
have
of NATO?
experience.
But go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's just
Here.
We're saying it like this.
That's US and made
Wait, we got
propaganda.
new people
That's
here.
ridiculous.
Annoying poutine and stay healthy vegan food. What's up?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, your argument fails because he
Say
has
that
experience. He can take the ball. He has the experience of the war now. The Baltics don't. He can take 3 countries after Ukraine easily.
You say he could take countries after Ukraine easily? Like how? Like you talking about the countries that are part of NATO?
The Baltic states, if his plan works, is to make NATO afraid to join a war against it. His plan is that NATO kicks out smaller countries, so not have a war with Russia. That's his plan. It's already working with the United States.
What smaller countries have NATO kicked out?
That's his plan. He wants to take the Baltic
It's already
state.
working. So what countries have they worked on?
Were you happy when the Europeans and the USA attacked Libya? You know, they attacked that country for no reason.
Which country?
Half of Europe, most of Europe, and the USA attacked Libya and attacked it for 7 months, bombed it for 7 months. Nobody said
that was
nothing about
bad.
that. That was
Yeah,
okay,
that-
right?
No, that was bad. So what?
Wait, stay healthy vegan. What side are you on? You side of the Ukrainians or the Russians? Who you think could actually win? Not what side are you on. Who do you think could actually win?
No, I don't do the cheerleading for no reason. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Ukraine should win. Ukrainians are the good guys.
Wait.
Ukraine
I got a
is-
question. Parlez-vous français? Are you from like Canada or France?
Je suis Canadien. Je suis du Québec, tabarnak.
Okay, my French ain't that good. I'm Haitian. Calm down, big dog. I'm just Haitian.
Quebec. I think I heard Quebec.
Yeah, I'm French Canadian.
This
I'm
week
from
of-
Quebec.
Okay. I just heard the accent. I saw the poutine, so I just wanted to know.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to know.
Sorry. Okay. So you're on the side of you're saying that we need to help out Ukraine and stuff. Continue to help out Ukraine. At what
Yeah.
cost and what do they get? Can they actually win? Do you think that Ukraine can actually win? And if you do, how?
With enough funding, absolutely. We saw in the first year, they were doing very good pushbacks with minimal resources. The problem is that like countries in NATO were kind of afraid to fund them enough, like the Abrams. It took Biden months to just send Abram tanks.
And you see
So,
how many
yeah.
Abrams are getting destroyed by drones, just like Ukraine was destroying Russian tanks by drones?
They lose significantly less because they have blowout panels.
Yeah, they started doing stuff like cope cages. Like, I think the only reason that America
so
in the
the
West
Abram-
is winning this war is because they got new technology and new battle strategies that they want to actually test out. Like,
Oh, of
other than
course.
that-
Yeah, no,
that-
100%. That's
Other
100%
than that,
why
they
we're
don't-
doing
like,
it.
there's no real reason for them to continue to fund it to this extent when it's been proven that they can't win.
Well, I advocate
can.
for defending of Ukraine because I think that they can win. I've given you reasons why they can win.
Bro,
You disagree with them,
You
but I
said keep them
fundamentally
more stuff, and Russia's about to crack.
Yes.
Ukraine managed to survive for 3 years with minimal change in the front, with minimal funding. They didn't receive that much stuff.
Do you think
They
that
didn't receive hundreds of billions of dollars.
That's
They
not.
didn't actually. 70% of the money we've sent to Ukraine has gone directly back into the American economy. It has not gone to Ukraine.
So okay, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of equipment
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
We
they
could have
can't,
sent
and they
trillions.
can't account for half of that.
We could have sent them trillions as the world. They could have received twice as much, and with twice the money, they absolutely would have made
Ain't
great
everybody's economy
counter.
effed up right now?
It's less than 1% of the.
Well, I mean, that's because of Trump.
So
Trump
that's
with
because
the
of Trump.
tariffs
Trump is
caused
trying to
that.
put these tariffs so we could actually get some money back.
Yeah, these tariffs are not going to do anything.
Yeah,
Really.
no, these tariffs are fucking us. Look at the fucking stock market. It's pretty
It doesn't-
simple.
Okay,
See,
wait.
what you guys- you guys
judge
make the argument-
you judge how good the economy is doing based on the stock market.
Look, here's the
Yeah, it got
conservative
fucked
argument.
under
So
Biden
you telling me
before
The
he
when
conservative
the stock market
argument
was
says
doing
use
good
food
and people
for-
say we can't afford to buy food, that was the economy was good?
Well, no,
The economy, we're in late
late
stage capitalism.
You telling me that the stock market was doing good, but under Biden, but
Yes.
yet we went to
Yeah.
two periods back to back of negative GDP, which put us in a recession.
Yeah,
You
so
telling
I
me
think that
we were
the
doing good back
economy
then?
suffered. I think that the economy suffered under Biden. I've never said it hasn't. That's due to the end of the COVID crisis. What Trump did was artificial. He produced that by starting his tariffs.
It's only
And
been
yes,
like
I
3
think
months.
I
We
think
don't
that the
know-
stock
we
market
don't
is
know
a
the
pretty damn
results yet.
good indicator of how the American
Stock
economy is
market
doing.
is
But it's not the
destroyed.
only indicator. You need to take into account GDP. You need to take into account average jobs. You need to take into account the minimum wage. You need to take into account the average wealth and the wealth distribution in America
I got a
to
question
figure
for you
out
about the
how
job.
the
Do
economy
you
is
think
doing.
the
All of
federal
these
gov-
points,
do you think
Trump
the
is
federal
screwing
government
America.
should be hiring as much people as they do, or they're hiring people just to bolster up their job numbers?
I don't believe that from Doge.
From what? What you mean from Doge?
If you're referring to when Doge said that they were just hiring random people, I don't believe that.
I never
I don't
heard
believe
Doge
in
say
hiring
that.
them.
That was just my personal opinion. Like, they,
Oh, okay.
They're not hiring.
I disagree.
I was in the
They're
military,
qualified
and I can tell you
for
right
that.
now, if you cut 20% of military personnel, the military wouldn't skip a beat. We would still be doing just as good. So you can
Oh,
cut
if you want to talk
20%
about
of
getting
the
rid of
federal
the military,
government
then sure,
and
but
still
Trump
be
is not the
doing
guy
good.
who wants to do that.
But go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, if you want to talk about doing that, then I support that. But Trump's not the type of guy to do that.
Then who? Then
But
who
people-
is?
No one in the current American in the race. No one.
So there's
We're no-
if there's no one to do it, but someone's trying to do it. Why not support that? At least someone's trying. For the last couple?
Who is trying?
For the last since Obama Obama fired a whole bunch of people, but now we can't fire nobody anymore.
Who is trying to decrease the
Not
size
like
of the
you
military?
can't fire anybody,
Trump.
but they're firing people left and right.
How is Trump trying to decrease the size of the military?
No, not the military. They haven't got to the military yet. I still talking about federal government.
Yeah, I was talking
Period.
about
My
supporting
bad.
what they're doing. I was talking about like if they were decreasing the size of the military just indiscriminately, then yeah, I'd support that. But if Trump is just like and I mean decreasing spending, not necessarily personnel. But if Trump is just indiscriminately doing that in the United States government, that's people's livelihood, and we've seen ramifications from the way they've been doing it.
Bro, like the federal government is not here to just hand out jobs to people that can't get a private sector job.
Of course
They
not.
hire-
I never implied that.
But so they
Here's the-
were able to fire these people. Like we voted on firing these people. The American people was okay with this.
Here's a real
20%
truth.
of the population voted for Trump. Don't act as though the
You said
entirety of
what percent of
America.
the population?
20, roughly.
You said what you
20%.
mean 20%? He won like 49% of the votes.
No, he didn't. He won 49% of the votes. That's only like 20% of the actual population of America.
Bro, then
Most
He got
people
like
vote
only
for him.
73 million
the
votes.
the people that sat out or couldn't vote. We're not talking
Yeah,
about them.
well,
If
yeah,
they-
but
if
dumb
you
as shit.
chose
That they
not to
voted for this
vote,
because
if you
they
chose
didn't.
not to vote, or you chose to sit out to this election, you need to shut up. If you don't
Well,
like
yeah,
the
that's
choice,
what I'm
shut up.
well,
They
that's, I
didn't-
can agree
they
with though
didn't
because they're
vote
dumb
for
as
this
shit.
because they didn't vote. So you can't say that they voted for this because they made a point not to.
If
They didn't-
if they
here's the
didn't vote,
thing.
wait, them sitting out or not voting is their vote. Them saying, you know what?
Yes.
I'm gonna let
But
other
they
people decide what happens to me.
They
is
didn't
them
vote
voting.
for Trump though. A non-vote is not a vote for Trump.
A non-vote means you don't get a say so.
Well,
I
the point-
agree. They
the
shouldn't
point
have a
is-
space on this panel to discuss it because they didn't decide to speak on it.
So
They
we're only
didn't
going
decide
based
to
off
vote.
the 49%
But you
that actually.
you cannot sit here and say that they voted for Trump because they adamantly.
Can I talk for a while because I have not been.
Sorry,
talking.
yeah, I'm gonna mute for a minute.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, now I do agree that there are people that should. If people didn't vote, I think they don't have a say in a lot of what's going on because they're just sitting out. But I feel like if you just only say that the only people that voted were the Trumpers that won, and then no, there's a whole other section. There's over, I think, at least if 78 million. Let's just assume. Let's just take. It was a very close, even split. So let's just say I don't know. 148 or 150 million people decided to vote in this election. Out of that 150 million, about 48 or 47% voted for Trump. Out of the population that was, and there was only like 148 million, and there's more than 148 million people that actually voted that are actually living in America right now. So out of that 148 million population, about 45 or 48% voted for Trump, and then another like 43 or 40 or 39 voted for Harris. Out of that 150 million population. So by saying that this is all like now out of that population, a majority of them did vote for Trump. I never said that there was not a majority out of that population that did. But also some of these people were either dumb as shit and don't know what they're talking about when they didn't vote, or just decided to vote for Jill Stein to think it would affect anything.
So you.
That's why I was making my point.
So like, if bro, we can't talk about like, oh, people didn't vote, so like he didn't win the popular vote. He didn't like if people voted and he was the
No, I didn't
majority
say he didn't.
No,
win
let me
He didn't win the popular vote by your own admission. He got less than 50%.
So
Out of
then who have won the popular vote then?
No one got more than 50%.
No. So he won the majority of the vote, right?
Oh, sorry. I misspoke. I was trying to say that he didn't get the majority of people. He didn't get more than 50% of people because he didn't. He got 49.
So he didn't get the majority of people. Who did?
No one.
So, but he got the most votes.
The worst lower.
He got the
turnout in
most
this
votes,
election.
but he didn't get the majority of people. Also, if you want to talk like skeptically,
Isn't that
he didn't.
popular
In
though?
my
If
opinion,
you get the
he
most.
did. In
There
my
was a
opinion,
lower
he
turnout in this race than there was in the 2020 election. I'm telling you.
You don't see an issue with that. You don't question that at all.
You don't
question
you
why
don't- you see
Biden
me
got more
question-
votes than you don't question why Biden got more votes than Obama.
It was
You
more
don't-
registered voters
There are
before
more
prior
people-
to Obama.
There are more
And
people.
we ignore the fact that it was a global pandemic that Donald Trump mishandled like a mug.
But then more people
Look.
die under Biden than Trump.
People don't like the incumbency because they think
No, it was actually more under Trump's administration than Biden's administration.
I don't think you're right about that, big dog.
Yeah, you
There's
can
more
go ahead and
deaths.
look it up.
There's more deaths under Trump. I'm just saying. Also, with Trump saying putting bleach in your arm is definitely going
He
to help
didn't
you
say
fix it.
that.
Yes, he did. He said
He
put
said
bleach.
He said
Bleach?
disinfectants.
Put
He said
He didn't say
disinfectants.
put disinfectant in your arm. Like, they're taking,
Yes, he did.
CNN took that quote out of context.
No, he just said put it
It wasn't
in.
CNN. It was Fox as well. Everybody said
Everyone
said
said.
Bro,
he
okay.
literally said
I'm first
disinfectant.
looking up the death tolls, and then we're gonna look up the
Yeah,
we're gonna
sure.
look up that statement.
If you're not looking at Fox News or Newsmax,
We're
seriously.
using the Elon Musk AI. If y'all
Okay.
have a problem with that, y'all can find me a different source.
I guess that's more reliable.
That's the
I
most
suppose.
silliest. That's the most silliest.
If you have a problem with that, you could go ahead and find me a different source.
It's like you're good. I mean, I guess it's better than looking at like cable news channels. I guess I'd rather use AI than news channels because they're all dog shit. I get my news from.
Under Trump, there was 400. Under Biden, there is 1.2 million.
Where are you getting those? Are you getting that from the
Elon
AI?
Musk AI. So what sources do you have?
Let's take a look here.
Because I'm not seeing. Unless you can give me a different source, we're going off by Elon Musk AI. And y'all said something about Trump saying put beach Trump. And then I see this disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute, and and is there a way we can do something like that by injecting inside or almost cleaning, because you see it get in the lungs and does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it would be interesting to check that out. He didn't say that though. I read the quote. He's saying we need to try something out like that. What can we do something similar to that? So the quote was taken out of context. They didn't even quote him. They just say, "Oh, he said this." Oh yeah, just so I know when y'all leave the thing and try to talk, I won't be able to hear y'all.
Yes, that's why we're just.
You heard the quote, and then
Yeah,
I see this disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute, and there is and is there a way we can do something like that by injecting inside?
Injecting it right there. Injecting.
No. What did he say? What did he say? Is there a way that we could do something like that by injecting inside or almost a cleaning, because you see it get in the lungs and does a tremendous. He's asking questions. He's like, "Yo, can we do something like that? Is that something that we could possibly do for
injecting bleach into your arm?"
He didn't say bleach. He didn't say he didn't say the words injected it into your arm. He didn't say inject bleach into your arm. He said, "Is there a way we can do something like that?"
How's that?
Should you not be asking questions about like, "Yo, is there a way we can't? What can we possibly do? What are the possible
in
options?"
In private. Who says
what
that
you mean
in public?
Private?
With
he
a
didn't
bunch
say
of
inject bleach. Literally, the news were saying, "Oh, he said that," and just because the news say he said that doesn't.
The
make
news
it true.
came out. No, it was a press release.
What does
the
that
news
mean?
didn't
It's
say
still
it.
the news.
He said it.
Bro,
The news,
I just read you the quote.
The news.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Again, he said he questioned if you could inject disinfectants into a person's arm right in front of news reporters and saying
He didn't tell
something.
anyone to do it. He's asking questions.
That's a stupid question to ask as a president.
Why makes that stupid?
Don't you know that putting disinfectants in your arm kills your own cells and kills your own like?
Disinfectant in your arm. He's saying there's a way we can do something like that, some type of cleaning.
He said, yeah, but he says disinfectants do a great job by killing the disease. I wonder, is there a way to inject it into a person's arm?
He's asking bro. I don't see him asking a question or thinking about this is like a bad thing. If you're stupid enough to go and just say, "Oh, he asked this question, that means I should do it," that's on you. And anyway,
why ask a question
who went
like
around
that?
injecting
Who would ask a question like that? It was a lot of people who was unalive because of that.
Who name me one person that was unalive because of that?
I can't name people
because you're just making that up.
They said a report came out and said people was.
Who's the reporter?
I believe it was AP News. It was AP News. I gotta go back to
that someone injected bleach into their arm or disinfected because
they didn't say. Again, you're making the question a lot more like is not AP News reported on. Yeah, since Trump said that a steady increase of people are using disinfectants in their arms.
But
No,
that's
it
what you
was
said,
like
did you
there's
not?
a
You
yeah, but they
said
don't
that people
report
there was
on one
people
singular
injecting it
person.
into
It's
the arm because of Trump. And I'm saying,
no,
where you
I
got that
said
from? You said
it was an
AP
increase.
News.
It was an increase of poisonings. They consider it poison or injecting bleach into their arms. So
Who? So you tell me that people were
I can't
injecting.
tell you the amount of people. I can't tell you the exact numbers. This was like what
Okay, find a source
twenty
that says
twenty
there
when
was
it
an
was.
increase of people doing that. Find me
Well,
one
I'm
source
not
and we'll
going.
pull it up saying there's an increase of people doing that.
Well, I can't pull it up because this was
No,
like
I'll pull it
old
up. I'll put it
news.
on the screen. Find me a
All right,
source and I'll pull it on the screen.
uh, look up AP News. I guess type in like increase in increase in I don't know poisonings. I'm not sure what was. I remember looking it up in 2020. This was like 4 years ago. So
I typed in AP News, increase in injecting bleach because of Trump. Is that a good enough search, or you want me to search something else?
yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Listen, it was about 4 years ago when this article came out.
Mm. But then it's like, didn't Biden send like 2 checks, but then Trump put his name on the first one, so people automatically thought those other 2 checks came from Trump?
Yeah,
Bro,
he
what
said he
Yeah.
wouldn't sign it. He wouldn't sign it if it wasn't his name
Biden
on
didn't
it.
sign the
bro,
second
is
2
these checks
checks.
really that
There's 2.
important? And didn't they say that the third
They
one was
are.
all for some of the economic problems we're having at the time, that we should just opened up the economy back up
There
instead of
was
keeping it
3
closed?
checks. I think there was like 2 or 3 checks. The first one was signed begrudgingly by Trump because literally all of Congress ushered him to literally sign it and give it to people. So he signed the checks and then he gave them out. Then you have literally.
Wait, stop. Did you get a physical check with Trump's signature on it?
No, but you got a letter with
He
on it.
Do you get a
You
got
got
a letter with Trump's
they
name on
get.
it saying here's $1,200?
Yeah, that's what he said. Literally, a whole letter. There's a letter that literally came in the mail that says, "Here's your check," and then there's a. It's not even signed with Trump's name on the check, but it's like a signed like letter with Trump's name on the letter with the check in there.
Hey, yo, if y'all guys got this letter, that's kind of cool. Y'all should probably frame that. Maybe we can sell it in a couple of years because it'll be kind of cool to have. But I never got this letter. And back to this, I'm not seeing AP News saying anything about people drinking injecting disinfectant
this
and
was
bleach.
these was probably 4 years ago.
I'm seeing
You
articles
actually
from
look
April
up
24,
keywords.
2004, April 26, April 26, 2020, April 24, 2020, April 25, 2020, July 13, 2013, June 28, 2024. They're not
No,
saying
I
that.
said it was probably AP News, but it might have been another article. I'm not 100% sure. This was
Bro,
4 years. You got to give me that.
y'all need if you, bro, you can't just say
I
something
can't.
that
I
didn't
can't.
happen if you
I
can't prove it.
can't because it happened 4 years ago. I haven't.
I'm seeing
Who's
these news
looking
sources
up
from 4
articles?
years. One is one is April 24th, 2020. Another one is April 26th, 2020. This is from 4 years ago. May 12th, 2020. CNN fact check. April 24th, 2020. Trump didn't suggest sunlight. And I'm not gonna actually get it. So these articles from 4 years ago, I'm able to still pull up. So you're trying to say these were 4 years ago.
I got something. I got some information from ChatGPT
about
that says
about an increase of people using disinfectants or bleach or injecting them.
Well, I asked it, and I got.
You cut out, big dog.
Yeah, because I was switching between tabs because I'm on my phone to look at it, to read what it says. I could screenshot it and then see. Then you could read it for yourself.
What was the summary
if you
of
like.
it?
Hold on, real quick. I got an article. This is from the government. Government tested COVID unaliving rates. So this
You
was
said
under Trump's
unaliving
administration.
rates?
Yeah, the unalivings under this is dated. So this is under December, and this is March 2021,
No, stop.
2021,
Listen.
2020.
Americans say, listen. Americans say they personally know someone who has been hospitalized or died of the coronavirus, and it has impacted in various degrees nearly every aspect.
Yeah.
So this is about the
Yeah.
people dying of COVID.
This is the graph. Yeah, this is the graph. I wanted to get back to that. So this is what I found. So yeah, you was right, but again, under Trump's administration, we saw an increase, and then Biden got into office and had to fix his problem. And after he fixed his problem, it steadily went down, and it started increasing again during the colder months.
So you talking
like
about?
how,
Wait. You talking about? There's a new
but
virus.
it never.
Yo, peep this. There's a new virus that we don't know nothing about, and people are dying from it. And then after a year or so of us being able to understand the virus, we have better strategies for it, and people start dying. Yes, because right here at the line right here, right, one of the lines, it goes it starts going down before it goes to Biden, right?
No, yeah.
So it starts
This is
going
under
down
Trump's.
before it goes to Biden. Look at where it starts.
No,
going down
it
before
didn't go down. It didn't go down. This is under Trump's. Like December, we already know who won. It was Biden.
Okay.
I found an article.
And then it started going up under Trump.
Yes,
Still,
because
it started steadily going up under Trump.
And
then it went to Biden.
Do you remember when they're saying that if someone gets hit by a car and they have COVID, they can't? That's coronavirus, a COVID-related death.
What the? Hold on. Let's focus on the graph at hand.
I'll pull that up now.
NPR. Literally, I found an article that supports what the claim was. An NPR article stated that New York City saw an uptick in what do they call it, chemical-related deaths after Trump made his comment.
You said
about
an NPR
that.
article said that there was an
it's called Search NYC Poison Control and then uptick Trump comment or whatever. It's just somewhere.
I'm saying in New York because New York is a whole bunch of liberals that don't listen to Trump.
New York, yeah. Well, just look it up. Look it up. New York City.
New York, NYC,
NPR.
NPR.
It's uptick in.
But we're not going to ignore. Yeah,
okay.
Host, we're not going to ignore the fact that you just.
Go ahead.
So it was an uptick under Trump. Like
it was a new virus. It was at 0 and it went up. Yes, I'm agreeing with you.
It was an uptick.
Yeah, but again, it was another uptick under Trump.
Yeah,
it steadily increased under Trump, and then as soon as Biden got into office, it dropped down, and it did went up. Yes, but it didn't go up as high as fucking Trump's.
Just right. It was being. I think the reason why there was some slight upticks was because they were trying to lessen the restrictions. Like they were
it was because the restrictions started steadily.
The stuff where I'm talking
they
about
started pulling back with the restrictions.
Deaths, not a lot of different deaths as COVID-related deaths, even if they died from something else. I'll pull that up later.
What the? Hold on, but
wait, stop. You never heard
don't
that?
neglect the argument. Because if they did the same thing to Trump, if they did the same thing to Trump,
let me ask you a question.
They did the same thing to Biden. So please, we're going to mute.
What are you talking about? You're talking over me.
If they did the same thing, hold on. If they did the same thing,
so I'm not hearing what you're saying. So what are you talking about?
If they did the same thing where they said people are dying or unaliving because of the COVID, and it's a car accident or something, they was found to have C-19 in them, then they would have done the same thing under Biden's administration under Trump as well.
Okay,
what are we talking about? These are
small
numbers that you bring up.
Let me read
These are small numbers that you bring up that it doesn't play a factor.
Right? New York City, it says its poison control received a higher than normal number of calls.
Yeah. Did you read the rest of the article?
Calls in the days after Trump speculating that injecting household disinfectants could be coronavirus treatment. The State Department of Health and Mental Hygiene said that in the 18 hours period ending at 3 p.m. Friday. Poison control received a record 30 cases. These included 9 specifically about the exposure to Lysol, 10 cases.
Yeah, Lysol.
Specifically about exposure. What's exposure to Lysol? 10 cases specifically about bleach. 9 cases about exposure to household clean project.
Yeah, there's
Department of the so and so compared that compared with other 13 cases of the same time frame 1 year ago. That same day, City Health Commissioner related messages discouraged New York from injecting bleach into the armor. It's not saying that people are injected bleach into the
yeah.
armor.
Well, because he
It's just
said
saying
that
like a
people
higher
were
number of calls, and they had the
yeah, because he said that there was a higher uptick of people literally doing like Lysol and literally throwing bleach, like drinking bleach or household
it
products.
says exposure to Lysol. If they were injecting
Yeah,
it into them, they
higher
would say it
exposure.
was injecting it into them.
Yeah,
What
even
does
if it wasn't
exposure to Lysol
injection,
means?
even
You're
if it
using
wasn't,
it and you
let's
get
give you this
exposed to
benefit
it.
of the doubt. Let's
Huh?
give you benefit of the doubt. If it wasn't injection, then why would the hell would people start using a bunch of this Lysol shit or a bunch of this other stuff?
Because they're over cleaning with these products, and they're
I
trying to
feel
get
like you're
rid of
just
every
ignoring the fact.
area.
I feel like you're
really
just
wipe
you're
stuff down, trying to get
There's
a
an
whole bunch of
uptick
stuff
in
done.
people ingesting these products.
It didn't say ingesting; it said exposure.
Exposure could also mean ingesting.
It could also mean ingestion, but they didn't say it was ingesting.
Why are we playing semantics?
Why are we
This
saying
is
what
semantics
what
at
it
this point.
says? This is literally what it says.
No, you're playing semantics. It's just exposure means it can be injected, ingested. It can be anything. They was
Or
exposed to these
people
cleaning
using a
virus
whole bunch of
that
more
was in
Lysol than
their
normal, and
body.
people-
It was found in their body. So how the fuck did
What
it
do you
get
mean it was
in their body, sir?
Not in their body. How? That matters. If someone's
It was exposed.
Center of Disease Control and Prevention found at 20.
Let me talk. If people before COVID wasn't like wiping surfaces down, wiping a whole bunch of areas down, right? And then during COVID, people start spraying stuff down all the time, doesn't that increase the exposure? Yes or no?
I don't meet people who's eating fucking bleach. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking bleach.
There's literally 20% increase in literally on the bottom of the
more
article.
people were using
20%.
Lysol and disinfectants because of COVID in general. If more people are using the product during the COVID time because they're scared of getting the virus, of course there's going to be an increase.
Yeah, but there's literally, why are people reporting on this if it's literally getting like high
The
like
reason people are
exposure to
reporting on
lungs?
this is because they want to make it seem like Trump is Trump related.
Well, Trump literally caused people to start licking bathroom stalls and literally getting up on those damn glass windows.
He caused people to start licking bathroom stalls.
Did you see those videos of those Karens literally licking all those bathroom stalls
That
and
was
those glass
because of
doors?
Trump.
Yeah, all of that because of Trump, because he delegitimized
That was a dumb statement.
delegitimized the whole entire thing. Literally, his response.
That was a dumb statement to make, saying because of Trump, people were licking bathroom stalls.
Yeah, and then they're complaining about how getting COVID wasn't gonna like affect them. They saying, "Oh, COVID is nothing." They believe COVID was a fake Chinese Wuhan virus.
That people were licking bathroom stalls because of Trump, and you want me to take that serious?
Yeah, because they didn't think it was gonna fucking kill them. They thought it was a fucking fake virus.
Right. It seems at this point, y'all just throwing a whole bunch of things out a window and seeing what sticks.
No, they do. No, it's true. They've been doing it. And also, I have a topic I am more confident in talking about. Let's talk about all the Trump shit.
What was the stuff you were saying before I responded to you? What was the other dude?
John.
Hello? I don't think John's listening. Oh, he said, hold on. All right, go ahead. What's your topic? We'll get to John stuff later.
I was gonna talk about the tariffs and how the tariffs aren't just gonna affect. Because here's the thing: the conservative argument
for other countries to tariff us.
If it's going to benefit their economy and they see it as like, if they're going to like, here's the thing: a tariff is built on a two process. One, you have to tariff the specific like utility or specific service or commodity you want to improve in your country. Say if you want to improve steel production, you want to tariff Chinese steel so that more people are willing to buy American-made steel. So how do you do that? by increasing the production of steel production in America, then you're able to literally like benefit by that because then more people would be buying domestically, which would boost your economy.
Why
Literally
don't
is
we
what
just
he's.
buy domestically in America?
Why do we not buy domestically in America? Because we literally get most of our shit, unfortunately, from everywhere else. And even
Like,
so,
wait,
it's like
wait.
the
You
argument
said
falls apart because there's this thing where it's like this. So the same argument is made by Charlie Kirk. Literally, Charlie Kirk made this argument saying, "Well, why don't people just buy fucking Florida grown tangerines?" I'm like, sorry, buddy. So do you know that tangerines are made? There's literally plastic wrap, those like little plastic packages that are around the fucking thing are literally made from China. Like the plastic is coming from China. Like, do you think all the cars that are literally importing and moving these fruits around, do you think they're all like American parts in that fucking automobile? So what if that goes down? So how are they going to pay for all that? How are they going to pay for the plastic that's coming from China? If the Chinese tariffs for the plastic they're using to carry the fruits that we're growing in America.
distributor.
Well, here's the thing. What you're not understanding is the plastic that's literally used to carry those fucking things is literally coming from China. It's literally coming from China or this like whatever tariff country.
Those businesses
The
can't
parts
go
that
to
the
American plastic producer.
even if they were going to a producer, how are they getting transported there?
You say those businesses can't go to American plastic producer, or
They can go to a producer, but here's the thing: you're not getting that. They're literally have to be transported through vehicles, and those vehicles have fucking Chinese-made parts or other made parts from different countries. It's not all just American parts in there.
So we're
And then also
go ahead.
the cost can be broken down into multiple things. It's not just picking a fruit from the tree. There's multiple things that go into it. You have the plastic wraps that literally wrap around that keep everything good. You also have the lighting. Or like the fertilizer that you get. You have you also have like the parts from the automobiles, and those automobiles parts aren't all made in America's parts. Some of those parts are made from other countries. So if those break down, they have to incorporate those costs into the actual product because that's what the product. It's like if you don't have a specific part like of that vehicle, then there's no way of actually getting those things transported. So it's all incorporated in the cost. All these small things that you think might not actually incorporate into the cost actually incorporates into the cost of an item.
So they need to just start moving their stuff over here and start producing their stuff over here. Then they need to start. Those plastic companies could produce the plastic here. We can make those same parts in America. The same
So
parts for the
why
vehicle.
don't
We can
we
make it in
start
America
doing that?
because there's plenty of factories that they might not be OEM, but they make the OEM equivalent to like Napa doesn't make might make filters, but they make filters for like different vehicles. Like you might get a John Deere filter, but they have a Napa equivalent. So we could have American companies make the generic equivalent of a particular product. Can we not do that?
Well, if we did, it would both cost more because it would cost more money to do that because here's the thing. Our labor costs more than it does in China. That's the reason why we pay cheap prices. It's because we are getting our stuff from China. So plastic from China costs cheaper because literally that's labor that's costs nearly nothing. The point is that if we did, it would still cost more money. Sure, it would improve our economy like amazingly, and it can be done. But realistically, we have to start actually sending these like companies here or incentivizing these companies or actually making companies like that over here and boosting them instead of just putting flat tariffs without any instruction or warning.
I got a question.
That's my point.
Then we used to be currently right now we're a service-based economy. Then we used to be a economy that used to be able to produce a lot of stuff on our own.
I think we did a lot of things. I can't say everything because we didn't
produce
with
a lot of
everything.
stuff on their own. Don't you think a lot of those factories and a lot of that machinery is still in America?
Some of that is, but some of it was offshore. Remember?
Yeah. So
Later
a lot
in
of
the
the time
80s.
we're talking about oh, we don't have those stuff. We have that the machinery, we have the technology. We could produce that stuff in America. We just say, you know what? Because these businesses find it cheaper to produce it overseas, they produce it overseas. Instead of trying to say, you know what, we're not gonna buy from these businesses overseas. We're gonna support American economy because that means we have more jobs in America.
Well,
Hey, host, that's what
another
caused
thing-
the Great Depression. That's what caused the Great Depression.
Another thing is right. So everybody's saying we're gonna go to war with with China over Ukraine, not Ukraine, but Taiwan. If everyone believes we're about to go to war with China over Taiwan, doesn't it make more sense that we start manufacturing, producing stuff on our own? So if China says, "Oh, you know what? We want Taiwan,"
What do you think
and
Biden was
instead of
doing?
we would take Taiwan. If y'all try to do anything in response,
What do you think
we're
Biden
gonna-
was doing?
Instead of saying, if you try to take Taiwan in response, we're gonna cut y'all off from the stuff that we make from y'all.
Well, did you see what Biden was doing in Ohio by literally this Chips and Science Act?
Okay, but I'm talking about all the stuff that China makes. If you think China makes a whole bunch of stuff, right? Why don't we make that stuff in America instead of being reliant on
that's
China?
what Biden was
Because
doing.
if
Biden
China
was
goes
saying-
after you, Taiwan,
Well, I mean,
then
China
we'll
has way
respond.
more resources than we do, but they've been trying to pity us the whole time. We've been trade partners with them.
Wait, stop.
Why?
We added three more people.
Hey,
Alyssa,
hey, the
Kella,
reason why we do
Candy
trading.
Cam, and Denvin. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, I can answer your question. The reason that we don't make a lot of stuff in the US is because of the Great Depression. It caused the Great Depression. We were not able to make things fast enough, and even now we would not be able to make things fast enough. We would starve to death if we only ate US food. We cannot make things fast enough. Our crops can't
Isn't
grow
America
fast
one of the
enough.
top
That's why we
That's
exporters
so
of
wrong.
food?
Our land is not fertile for
Isn't
everything.
America one
that
of the
we
top
get.
exporters of food?
Bananas, we get most of our bananas from
Is
the
America not
Dominican
one of the
Republic.
top exporters of food? Am I wrong about this?
No, you're not
We're
wrong.
good
No,
exporter,
I'm pretty
but
sure
you
we
can't
get
say
most
they're
of our food
reliable.
from Mexico and Canada.
I
We
think
get
she's truly
our
wrong.
Mexico and Canada are our biggest trading partners. But here's the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that we can't get all our food from here. That's what my point is. If you think that is true, then that is pretty fucking absurdly stupid. Because we get literally our bananas literally from the Dominican Republic and all these other countries that are literally like South America.
America is the top exporter of food. I just looked it up. So we
One of the
we
top
export the
exporters.
most food in the world.
We aren't just the top exporter. What you don't understand is there's literally other exporters we rely on.
No, I'm trying to
We
say
rely on other
you're trying to
stuff
say we
too.
can't rely on America, just America's.
We can't just
food.
rely on us. So you're basically, this is an isolationist argument. You're saying let's just cut off everything and then
I'm
just
not
say
saying
we
that.
can
I'm just
literally
saying we
live
should
on our own.
prioritize ourselves. I'm trying to say we're a top
So by
exporter of food.
tariffing
Right?
other
Are we not-
people-
and y'all agreeing? Are you disagreeing?
Well, what do you mean? We are an
Do we
pretty high
export
exporter
one
of
of the,
food.
Are we one of the countries that export the most food?
Yes, but here's the thing: we're not just. It's not just limited to just us.
And it's not just food either.
Okay,
We are
wait.
literally-
Wait.
the reason
So
we-
what you got, Candy Cam? Was that Candy Cam?
Yeah, that was me. What he's trying to say is basically, or what he has said, is that we take in products from all over the world, and there's a reason for that. If we didn't, then we wouldn't be able to afford either through manpower or manufacturing or whatever to make our own products here. So the companies are willing to pay less to import a good than to try to build it here because it will cost them significantly more, and we don't have the manpower to actually fill those factories like we used to. Manufacturing has gone down from 20%, or it was over
Wait, I got a
20%.
question. You said we don't have the manpower to build these factories?
No, because we would have to train all these people, and then even if we trained everybody, it still wouldn't be enough people to fill these factories.
If we, so
Yeah,
you
we
said
don't
us
actually
going
have
from
already.
you said we can't go from a service-based economy back to a manufacturing economy? Because what you can't take
We were
someone.
a
You saying you
manufacturing
can't take
economy,
someone
and
from
No,
that's
because
McDonald's
the Great
do your
Depression.
research on the
in a
Great
factory?
Depression.
It,
Do your
that
research on the Great
that literally led
Depression.
to the Great Depression.
You say so? You saying us manufacturing our own stuff into the Great Depression? Great Depression was
Yes.
1929, right? Around that
Yes,
time, right?
roughly.
Wasn't
Almost
that at
100
the end of
years
World
ago.
War One?
No, well, I think so.
No,
So
the ending of World War II was the
World War One.
19 yeah, it was 1909.
1945. Wasn't World War
No,
II in the
that was World War II.
1940s?
That was World
So
War One. No,
Yeah,
we're
World
talking
War
about
One was
World
in
War
no,
One.
World War One was from like 1917 to like 1921, 1922 or something around there.
Yeah.
It was not just because of World War One that we went into Great Depression. It was because we had like the big like
World War
thing.
One didn't play a factor into the Great Depression. We
Yeah, so
was actually after that we actually had the Roaring '20s.
we had the Roaring '20s right after the
shortly
war,
before the Great
and then
Depression.
we went right into the Great Depression.
Like 11 years before the Great
This is
Depression.
what I'm seeing. The top cause of the world of the Great Depression. Stock market crash.
The stock market crash.
World War One ended 11 years before the Great Depression.
American industrial and agriculture were producing more goods and cars, steel, crops than the people could buy. So we're producing more, not
Where are we
producing less.
getting these raw materials from?
A lot of these stuff we could get from America. Like we have our own.
How do we know we're getting all this from
not just from
America?
America.
It's not all from America. We're using literally imported parts. Literally, if you don't think we're using,
I'm saying a lot of the stuff is from America. We
you
could,
think
we could do a lot of
everything is
stuff in
100% American?
No,
I didn't say everything was 100% American. I feel a lot of stuff.
We're the final. Yeah, but the whole thing is we was the final assembly a lot of the times. So, of course, even stuff that right now, back in the day, we was 22% of all jobs was like factory jobs, factory workers. It was about 22%. It was about 22 to 30%. We still had those agriculture jobs. We also had multiple we had military jobs. We had a bunch of jobs in America. To this day, the only thing that's different right now, this day, we don't really rely on factory jobs. It's like 8% of all U.S. jobs in America.
Yeah, and we kind of need international trade because that was another reason for the Great Depression. You can look it up. Because there was a loss of international trade. That's what also caused the Great Depression. I am a history major, so I have done like a lot of like research on the Great Depression, and we need international trade, or else we will go back into another depression.
Alex, what else played a role into it?
Hold on. I'm trying to say I am. I'm not an isolationist. I'm just saying we should put American stuff first, American companies first, and America first. I'm not saying we should say, you know what, we're not trading with nothing in the world.
We already was doing that by competing
I'm not saying we
those
should not trade with anybody else in the world. I'm just saying we
doing
should.
that.
I'm just saying that
we were always doing that.
First.
We was always doing that. We were still
You're literally you're making it sound like you don't want us to have international trade, and that is not a good thing. We need international trade. So putting tariffs on other countries is not a good thing. We will
So
lose
is it a
money.
good thing for other countries to put tariffs on us?
In refutation, we put them on them first.
They had tariffs on us before Trump.
Didn't have tariffs. The fucking tariffs that Trump talked about is his dumbass.
No. So you're saying Canada didn't have a 200% tariff on milk?
Only if we hit a quota. What are we talking about? We had to hit a quota for them to actually lock in. To be placed.
We had to hit a quota on what?
On milk and dairy products.
We had to hit a. What you mean we had to hit a quota?
So as soon as we hit like a certain export number, like say like 200 million. I don't know the exact number. Like let's say if we hit 200 million.
Oh. Did he cut out? You good?
Yeah.
Say if we hit about $200 million and sorry, I had a call. Say we hit a 200 million product and exports, I mean. And if we hit over that number, then the $270 in tariffs actually get kicked in.
So you're saying Canada only tariffs us because if we sell them too much stuff?
No, it's a quota, so they can actually protect their market.
So you're saying that it's a good
want
thing
them to
for other countries to tariff us?
Yes,
so tariffs aren't bad.
But it's the bad thing for us to tariff other countries.
What the fuck? Hold on, you can't. No, what you just did was a pivot.
Bro.
It was a terrible pivot.
No, we're still on tariff. What are you talking about? Pivot. We're talking about tariffing American tariffing other countries versus other countries.
But you brought up Canada tariffs, the dairy tariffs, and I gave you a reason why it's tariff. These are selective tariffs.
So you're trying to make a good argument for why it's good for
That
Canada
is
to
that
tariff
is a
us.
good reason for them
That's
to
a
tariff
good
us. We need to
reason
meet
for
a
them to
quota.
tariff.
Well, so we shouldn't put tariffs. We shouldn't.
They don't have. Hold on. Let me talk. Again, so the reason why the tariff is like how it is because we overproduce so much dairy and milk and eggs in general that they had to protect their market. So
Where are you getting
whenever
that? I'm
like
looking this up right now.
you
Canada
can
quota
look this
tariffs.
up. You can
What
look this
what
up,
source did you use?
bro. It's not even that hard. Just look up
Canada
how
quota tariffs.
Look
Yeah.
at how much American
source did you
export
u- what
comes
source did you
from
use?
eggs and milk.
it's easy.
What
This
source
is
did
easy
you
to
use?
research.
Look at the exports between milk and eggs, literally from America to Mexico. And not
Yeah,
Mexico, but Canada.
yeah, it's so. This is easy to find stuff to find out. It's just like you Trump supporters don't actually look
I'm
into this
literally
shit.
looking it up right now. You're not telling me what your source you use.
Find
I
it.
asked you what
You
source
can
you
just
use.
find it. You can just find it. It's not that hard.
Then tell me what
You
source
can
you
look
use.
up any government website when it
You
comes
looked
to.
this up, right? You looked this up, right?
Yes, it's
So what
easy to
source
find
did
research.
you use when you looked it up?
We just know that America literally in general makes a bunch of exports of milk and eggs because it's literally just known in general
No,
that we
you said
literally
that
are like the main
Canada
producer.
only tariff us after we hit a certain quota. I'm trying to find that
Yes,
source.
it's off
He
the.
said that he looked it
It was
up.
off the. It was off the.
Let's
It's
look
off
at a
the.
source.
It's off of even. I believe it was even on the American Trade Agreement, the United States, Canada, and Mexico agreement.
The USMCA?
You mean- Yeah.
It should be on there.
So the USMCA says that there's a daggone quota for how much we could sell them before we hit a tariff.
It should be in there. I'm not 100% sure, but it was agreed upon by Donald Trump
Do you
and
understand what
Mexico.
tariffs are
Justin
for?
Trudeau.
Do you understand what tariffs are actually for?
Who,
Aren't-
go ahead, explain.
Hey,
Go
hey,
ahead, explain what
host.
tariff actually were. Because I believe, me personally, this is what I think tariff we should tariff. We should tariff products that we already make in America. That
Hey,
like, when
host,
another country
host.
try to
Yeah, so let
we're
them
gonna sell
tariff.
the
That's
same
what.
product, we're just
guys,
gonna sell it
I have a
Yo, what the
different. That's
fuck?
not. That's what
Hang
we
on,
should
I have a
make
question.
tariffs. Because like like
Host.
how y'all try saying that we should use tariffs to
Host.
protect. Let me finish
Alyssa's
talking.
talking.
We should use tariffs to protect our economy, should we not? We
He
should.
doesn't
I don't
care.
think we should only be a service-based economy. I think we should be a manufacturing economy, especially when we're projected to go to war with China over Taiwan, and China produces everything. Shouldn't we produce everything ourselves too? So if they go to war with China, China could say, you know what, we're not exporting to America no more because we're at war with them.
For one, I already explained that this would cause the Great
But
Depression.
go
Yes,
ahead.
it would be. It would be the Great Depression. Anyways, my question to you is: how do you feel about the fact that Trump put a 10% tariff on an island that is literally inhabited by
Uninhabitable.
penguins? It's not. No humans live on that island,
What island?
and he put a tariff.
What island?
It is.
McDonald.
It's in
Oh,
Australia.
yeah, the
something island.
McDonald. It's like it's. Oh,
You
I
said
think it's owned
It's
by
McDonald's?
McDonald
Australia.
World. It's in McDonald World. It's basically like
You say
basically
McDonald
it's in
World?
Australia. It's something.
McDonald Island.
Just
McDonald Island.
yeah, it's like McDonald
It's called
Island. Look it up.
McDonald Island. I'm trying to look this up. McDonald
Look-
Island.
Hang on, I can.
It's
I
in
can-
Australia somewhere. It's owned by Australia.
So you
I have
said
it
It's
Trump-
closer
somewhere.
to
Hold on.
Antarctica.
You said Trump put a tariff on McDonald's Island. The thing's called McDonald Island, right?
Here he goes. Here you go.
McDonald Island, my guy. You know, if you watch the animated McDonald's thing or McDonald's like
What is
TV
it?
show, that's
Bird
Trump
and
imposed
McDonald's
a tariff
Island.
on a island who inhabits a penguin. What is the island called?
It's
It's right
the
there.
sub-Antarctic
Bird and
island
McDonald Island.
Yeah.
Island of
Sub-Antarctic
Bird and
Island
McDonald.
McDonald.
and McDonald Island. Okay, I'm looking that up right now.
Well, if you've ever watched the McDonald TV show with Grimace, that's where they tariffed.
McDonald's TV show.
Yeah, there was a McDonald's TV show. The TV
I
show.
never watched the McDonald's TV show.
It was kind of creepy, but yeah, no. How do you feel about that? How do you feel that he? tariffed
This is new
penguins?
information to me. I don't know nothing about this. I got.
So-
Yeah,
I got.
Now that you know
I gotta
about
look
it, how
this
do you
up
feel about
because
it?
Yeah, look it up.
because just like when people say that, oh, Trump called veterans suckers and losers. Like
No,
that
he
turned out
called.
to be
No, he
false.
did call a veteran. No, he did call a veteran a sucker and a loser.
He called a veteran a sucker and a loser. Who?
John McCain.
Trump called John McCain a sucker and a loser.
Yeah, because he was captured at war.
Okay,
Since
Trump
he was
called Trump called one veteran a sucker and a loser.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
how is that supposed to send a good president as a commander in chief? How do you supposed
I
to?
don't really care, to be honest. He called one
You
veteran
don't
a
care?
sucker and a loser, and I'm supposed to like be.
Well, that's
Oh
the-
my
Hey, how about
goodness!
how we talk about
Oh
how
my
racist?
goodness!
Hold on.
This is
No,
one of the worst things ever. Come on now.
Wait, no, we can't do that. Wait.
I'm supposed
You
to
said
care
you're-
about this? I'm
You
supposed
said
to
you're
care
a
about
veteran,
this.
right? Sir, you said you're a veteran, right?
Yes.
Say if one of your friends was captured at war, and Trump would have said he's just a sucker and a
Okay,
loser.
first I'm looking up this McDonald's thing. Now I'm looking up that statement too.
No,
Okay?
answer the question though. I want you
What?
to actually answer the question.
What?
If Donald Trump, one of your brothers at arms, would have been captured at war, and your president would have said he's just a sucker and a loser,
Trump,
how would you feel about
McCain-
that?
I'm gonna look this up right now. Trump, McCain, sucker and loser.
Well, he said suckers and losers specifically because of he was at I forgot what country they were at the Grand.
I thought he was at like a funeral or something. and
He
said
was.
that.
He was at
I wonder
No,
how
I got
the
a question,
host
I got a
feels
question.
about him
Was
being
he
racist.
was he on camera saying this, or did someone say he says this?
It was a high-ranking war official.
What was
who
his
said
name?
he said it.
What was that high-ranking person's name?
I don't remember the exact his
He
name.
was one of the generals in his administration.
It was one of the generals a high-ranking general in his administration.
I wonder how the host feels about Trump being a racist because there's been several
How is he
accounts. of his
racist?
business. You can look it up. There's actually been several accounts in his businesses where he has refused to hire blacks. Has
So when black
told
banks
them-
don't want to give loans to black people, is that also racist?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about. Hold on, let's talk about that.
We're not worried that black people are in more debt than people.
Not the
And black people make
source.
less, so you're not
No,
considering the
that
economic factor.
Hold on, no,
You're only taking in the
we're not
race
gonna get
factor.
past that.
The Atlantic
Hold on,
reported.
real quick. Let's talk about that.
The Atlantic
What about the
reported
lady that
in
Trump
a-
let live in one of his hotels, one of his
the-
buildings?
let me
free?
talk.
What about that?
Hold on.
What
John-
about
it was
didn't
reported
Trump
by
fly
the
in
Atlantic.
Nelson
Let me jump
Mandela
in
on
this.
one of his
Let me jump in
airplanes?
this.
It was reported by the
Didn't Trump allow
Atlantic.
Nelson Mandela to fly one of his airplanes for free? But that's
It was
is that-
reported by the Atlantic that
is that
Trump
not
literally
racist?
said that.
Hey, I gave you a source.
I
can give you a
literally
few
was
more.
gonna tell you that he literally Trump called people suckers and losers according to the Atlantic on a trip to France
Yes, sir.
about World War I soldiers. Well, by who? Just look it up. Trump, France,
It's
like
by
Trump,
Jeffrey
France.
Goldberg, the
World
same
War-
dude that's did the daggone Signalgate hoax.
No, it wasn't him.
Whose fault is
Do you
that?
think
His
Signal Gate is a
administration
hoax?
leaked. His administration leaked the
Article by
shit.
Jeffrey Goldberg, which alleged that Trump, after McCain's death in 2028, told Abe, "We're not going to support that loser's funeral." And upon seeing this,
Yeah.
half staff said, "What the f are we doing that for? Guys, we're the effing loser." The article claimed that Trump called soldiers suckers and losers in other contexts. This was by Jeffrey Goldberg. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he was
Who's
invited
Jeffrey
to a group
Goldberg?
chat by. He was invited to the friggin' Signal Gate. Friggin' literally was invited to Signal
Do y'all know that this
by
dude hates
fucking
Trump?
stupid ass.
He's not saying
by
who
Mike
he got,
Waltz.
He's not saying who he got this from.
He literally got it.
From who?
A high-ranking official.
Hey, you can
Who
look
is
at the
the
source
high-ranking
I gave
official?
you.
I don't remember
For his
the guy's name.
racism. You can look at the thing that I sent you for his long history of racism.
So you tell me that,
for
that people compiled a list on daggone on Wikipedia that
He also-
Trump is racist, makes him racist.
Hey, no, I sent another one. It was from Vox.com.
I'm only seeing the ones
Is it
from
long?
Wikipedia.
Okay, you
But
can look at the one from.
Vox.com. Isn't that like a far leftist site, anyways?
Yeah, like you guys listen to Fox News, and it's
Who's
been
you
known to
guys?
not be a.
I like to
Trumpers
listen to
in
stuff across the
general
board.
listen
You
to
say
Fox
Fox
News.
News is not far left.
Hold on, can I jump in real quick?
Go ahead.
I just want to bring up the actual DOJ case of him actually getting prosecuted because of his racial practices.
He got prosecuted.
and
Was he
some
convicted?
I'm not 100% sure. I have to
So he
finish
wasn't
looking
convicted for
into it.
anything.
No, but he got brought up of cases of racism
Bruh,
because of
you could
some of the
bring up.
practices he brought
You
up.
ever heard of the thing
Can I
that?
actually finish?
Here's another one.
Actually
Bro,
finish?
just
Can
bro,
I actually
y'all
finish?
saying this stuff. Y'all just making statements. Y'all,
Actually finish?
go
Can I
ahead.
actually
Go ahead.
finish?
What,
Here's another
finish
one.
what?
Finish.
Here's
Finish,
another
finish what?
source.
Finish what?
Here's another source.
Finish.
Practices that was actually conducted was for black individuals. They'll write C on the application once they actually
Who
interview
is
them,
they?
and like house management,
So wait. So
management
you
was
saying wait,
actually
say this
taught.
again. You saying Trump was writing C on the black people's
I
what
didn't
now?
say Trump. I said
So
the
wait. So
management
this is
of
not Trump.
the whole. No, it was his management.
So Trump's
His management team
management.
that he hired. That he hired.
So what was his
That
the
his team
was
hired.
it his management company or were it someone else's?
It was under Trump's management team, so it wasn't just Trump himself. It was his father as well.
So Trump had
when
people
he was
writing
still
C
around.
on what now?
He had C on the application.
But then you don't even take into account that Trump said racist things in the past to Mexicans, saying that they're dealing drugs. They're
I'm
bringing
literally giving him
crime.
four sources.
They're rapists.
Stop.
And some
Lincoln Riley, we're gonna ignore what happened to Lincoln Riley. We're gonna ignore all the daggone. I can't say the stuff that's coming across, but we all know the stuff that's coming across the border. So
Name a couple more.
Hey,
Name.
He
Can
lied.
you name 10 people that was unalive by undocumented immigrants?
You want me to
name
Google
10
it right
more.
now, or want me to name off the top of my
No,
head? 'Cause I
10
can't name
more
off the
right
top
now
of
off the
my head.
dome.
Huh?
10 more. Name 10 more off the top of your dome right now.
I can't. Just like y'all can't.
Because y'all love
just like
to
y'all
use-
can't have a source off the top of your dome for all the stuff that you claim. That's not that.
Hey,
claim
I
all
gave
this
you
stuff.
four
And that's
sources.
your
Trump
source.
has said
And it takes like
racist
5 minutes to
things.
go find something.
Sorry.
And the stuff
Hey,
y'all do
hey,
find
made
is
fun
just
of
vague
autistic
stuff that we
people.
can't have no proof of.
Post.
What's up?
I sent you
It's
four.
also-
I don't.
Hang on, I sent you four sources, four different sources. I tried to send 5, but
What
one of
did
them
it say,
was
bro?
too
What
long.
is it saying that he was racist for?
There's literally
You
so
don't
many.
see
What
what his
about
claims were
Joe
on
Biden's
the
tweets
Hey,
were
no,
news.
no, no,
being
no, 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 no.
something John
Host,
Bird
what
that
you're
was
not
part of
gonna
the
do,
KKK?
what
We're
you're
gonna
not
ignore
gonna
that
do is
too.
you're not gonna talk over me.
No. Okay.
I look at the sources.
What
You're not gonna
what
talk
did it
over me.
say?
Look at the
What did it
sources.
say? What did it say?
It's literally giving a timeline of what all the racist things
Say
he's
what
done.
it was. Read it.
If I were to read it, I would have to
Because
go
y'all
back
have me.
and forth.
I'm trying to look up all this stuff
No,
y'all saying
hey,
and stuff
hey,
like that, and I
hey.
started to look up one thing. Y'all say something.
Hey,
else,
I know
then
it's
when I
hard.
try
I know
look up
it's
that
hard
other
to
stuff,
read.
Y'all try to
I
say
know
something
it's hard to
else. So what is
listen.
this stuff I'm supposed to
I
be looking
know,
up right
I know
now?
it's hard to believe facts, but you need to
You
look
say
at the
what now? I
sources
didn't
I
hear what you're
gave
saying
you.
because you're trying to talk over
I
me.
said, hey, because you're talking over me. That's not cute.
Yes, I'm talking
It's
over
not
you
cute.
because
Yeah, you
for
are
some
talking
reason
over
I start
me.
talking
I will
and then
talk over
you try to
you.
talk over me.
It's not cute. I know it's hard to listen to people. Facts.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna ask you. What was the source
You're
you're trying to bring
mad.
up? What's the source?
I literally put them
What's
in
the
the
one you want me to
comments.
look up? What's the one you want me to look
I
up?
gave you 4 of them.
What's
you
the
can
one
look
you
at
want me to
any
look
one
up?
of them.
What's the one you
You
want me to
can
look
look
up?
at any one of them.
What's the one you want me to
Stupid.
look up?
You
What's the one you want me to
didn't
look
even.
up?
You don't see there. Trump's been racist on multiple occasions,
Hey.
and literally his
I'm
2015
asking you,
announcement
bro,
speech.
What did you say that he said he's been racist towards Hispanics? There's literally gang members that came in over here.
Trump
MS
Trump
we
literally
talking about,
said in
Trinidad Waga
2015.
took over our
He's
apartment. So Trump
generalizing.
was right. Trump was right.
2015, he says they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're
The
bringing
cartel?
crime. They're
I'm Trinidad
and
Waga.
some-
I'm taking a daggone building over in Aurora, Colorado.
You even see that he's
How is
called
that
literally that they're
inaccurate?
sending people from shithole countries. That's what he literally said.
Bro, you do what do you think a third world country is? Some paradise?
What do
Do you
you?
think a
So
third
what
world
does it
country is
give
a
you the right
paradise?
to
Yes
call
or
it a
no?
shithole?
Do you think a
So
third
he's
world country
calling
is a
people from
paradise?
Mexico people from
Do you
shitholes.
think
So you're saying
people-
Puerto
do you think
Ricans
a
are
third world country
shitholes.
is a paradise?
So you're saying Puerto
So
Rico
no,
is
you
a third
don't
world
think a third
country?
world country is a paradise.
He
So
doesn't
you are
want to
saying
listen.
Puerto Rico is a
He
third
hates
world
facts.
country.
So is
He doesn't want to listen.
bro,
He
I'm
said
talking
third.
to him
He's
right now.
calling
He's
it.
not answering the question. He said
He
that
did,
he said
and
that he's a
he-
shit-
he
he said
asked
he
you a
said they're a shithole
question.
country. So are third world countries paradises? Yes or no?
We never said that they were paradises, and they do need help.
Third world countries are not paradises, right? So we're agreeing on that.
Well, why do you think they're all complete shills like it's Iraq or whatever? Why do you think every country's
Because a lot of
Iraq?
them have corrupt governments.
So even if they were, so what are you talking? So what's the point you're trying to
So
make?
if
If
I
all,
call
not
a
all of them
country,
have corrupt governments.
okay, if I call a country that's have
So would you
horrible
call
living
Brazil a
conditions
third
a
world
shithole
country?
country, is that not accurate?
So you're gonna call Brazil a third world country?
They have shithole parts in Brazil, yes.
We have
Don't they
shithole
isn't like
places
isn't
in
like
the
in the
US.
villas or something like the villas have like like the police don't even go there?
We have those types
Isn't
of
like
places
in
in the
India
United
right
States.
now,
Don't act
they
like we
like literally
don't. We have
shitting
those
in the
places
middle
in
of
the
the
United
river?
States.
So
We
don't
have
they
those
shithole
types of
parks
places
back
in
on
the
India
U.S. We have
We
those
have
types of
shithole
places
parks
in
in
the
India
U.S.
Literally in
Yes, we
We
Afghanistan,
have
it's
a
do.
whole
Yes,
literally
we
not
big
even a
map
do.
of
shithole.
California. There's shithole parts of California.
There's shithole places everywhere. Like
So when
you're
did he say
acting
that was
like we don't
wrong?
have those places.
Well, why do you think everywhere? Why does he have to specifically think it's always just the Puerto Ricans or everyone else that are the shitholes?
When did he say the Puerto Ricans were shitholes?
He literally brought a comedian on his thing, fully knowing well that he was going to
Oh yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
He
I remember
brought
that.
it. He brought a Puerto
and you
Rican.
bring
He
up
literally
a
brought a guy
comedian.
to literally shit on
When
Puerto
did
Ricans on
Trump
his
say
CPAC.
Puerto Rico was a shithole country or a
He
shithole state?
He brought a guy that believes that it was a shithole country onto his CPAC and then literally had him
So you never listened to
spew
the Dave Chappelle
bullshit.
joke?
He literally so what? You literally said it was
So
a
you talking
literally
about
island
comedians
made of
make
garbage.
off-color jokes all the time.
So what? So if if Trump literally brought a guy that literally said that there was like an island made of garbage and it's called it instead it was Puerto Rico. So you're saying that's
Do you know
okay?
that Puerto Rico have a garbage problem?
What are you even talking about?
So you don't
Hey,
know
host,
that.
when are you gonna look at the
You give me
sources?
sources to
Bruh,
statute that.
I'm trying.
Give
Yo,
me
I'm trying to
give me
look
some
up one
sources
thing.
for
Y'all
that.
bring up everything else, right?
Well,
In the middle,
can you look at the sources I gave you?
Okay, what's the source?
I
I
literally
don't see
put
it in
them
the chat.
in.
I don't see it in the chat.
Well, maybe you need to learn how to read. I'll send you one.
Called the
this
virus.
is the
He
one you
called
wanna,
COVID the
use.
Kung Flu and called it literally a Chinese virus, even though it didn't
Trump's
even
called the
originate
Chinese
from
virus
China.
the Kung Flu.
Yeah, he called it the Kung Flu.
I gotta look this up 'cause that's kind of funny. That was funny. You can't say that's not funny.
Hey, real quick, host.
There's another
You
one.
were talking about the suckers and losers comment. I found out. I remembered who it was that said that. It was John Kelly.
There's another one.
John Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, I just want him to look
he
these
did
up
call them
because he was
suckers and
talking over
losers.
me when I was like telling him to
So
look
I'm
at
looking
it.
up right now the
Okay.
books the Brooks.com.
It Brookings.edu. It's not .com. It's .edu. It's an education site.
Okay, cool.
I sent two more because I didn't look at that one
Trump
before I
and
sent it.
racism, what do the data show? Let's see. He said first Donald Trump's support in 2016 was clearly driven by racism, sexism, and xenophobia. Okay, where is it? Okay, where in this the Brooks.edu it does talking about the stuff that Trump did was racist.
I didn't look at it before I sent it. There's two others I did look into, especially Vox and Wikipedia. I know that Wikipedia is not 100% a good source, but you can look at Vox.
Also, in a book
I
called
trust Vox
Trump,
more.
literally, he said in a book that was named Trump's, literally a guy like a Trump hotel or casino advisor, president guy, literally said that he literally verbatim Trump literally said that laziness is a quality in blacks.
So
is literally
in a
what he
book-
said.
So Trump said that
In a
laziness-
book written by one of the presidents of the casino that Trump is literally hosted, is literally a part of.
So you
Like
saying
a higher guy in high management, a guy that's in high power, high management in his business.
You're saying Trump is racist because of that?
Yeah, because he said that. Well, he literally. What are you talking about? He's literally the guy that said that. That literally said or reported on the claims. Literally, the president, one of the presidents of one of his casino and hotels.
Wait, first we're doing the Wikipedia thing because
The Vox. Or Wikipedia, that's fine too, yeah.
It's by John R.
Wait,
O'Donnell.
before we move on to that, let me do the Wikipedia thing. and we could go to yours, and then we could go to the John Kelly thing, because y'all trying to say all this stuff all at once and trying to say, oh, because y'all said it, I should just believe it.
Well,
Yeah, you
she
should.
also said you
I-
couldn't read. She also told you couldn't read.
Yeah, I did say that.
Now that's
Are you gonna
such
sue
hypocrite
me?
of
Are
you.
you gonna sue me? Are you
No,
gonna sue
no,
me?
no. What I'm saying is you guys are such hypocrites.
He
Like, you
said
can make fun of my man, right?
Brooks.com when it's Brooks.
Listen, let me talk.
.edu.
Let me
That's
talk.
why I said
Let
he
me
can't
talk.
read.
No. It doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that.
It does
You
work like
can't
that.
say, "Oh, well, they make fun of other people," and then make fun of the host.
Hey, at least I'm not being racist.
What do you mean? It doesn't matter if you're being racist or ignorant. It's the same thing.
It's not the same.
You're being
thing.
ignorant, yes.
So what's your?
Okay.
So
You read the Wikipedia one, right? You thin?
Yeah, I've read the Wikipedia and the Vox
Okay, now
one.
which one is where is racist part? What's the racist stuff you're talking about? I'm
They
looking at it
literally
right now.
talk about it word
What
for
is
word.
what are the ones you're trying to say?
They give a timeline.
Okay,
There's
they
a
gave the
timeline on there.
There's a timeline on there.
Trump
all over
also
right now.
acknowledged that what O'Donnell said about him by saying blacks are lazy is literally what he said was probably true. Literally said literally acknowledged that it was true.
Okay, because I'm seeing the
I love
Central
how
Park
he's
5
asking
case,
about
right?
the-
Are you trying to say the Central Park 5 case was because of racism?
The 1989
Listen,
Central
are you
Park
trying to say
case.
the Central Park 5
Yeah,
case
the
was
19.
because
The
of racism?
19 I'm just trying to confirm the 1989 Central Park case, right?
What other Central Park case?
It's the 1989 one.
What other Central Park case do you know of that have anything to do with Trump?
I'm just confirming it's the 1981 one,
What other
which
one
is
is
on
there? It's kind of obvious, is it not?
89 is in
wanna try to call me
1989.
stupid, but come on.
It was
now.
in
I'm just trying to
1989.
confirm
So you tell
that
me
he
the
knows
Central
exactly
Park
what he's
5 case,
talking about.
when those boys said that they pleaded guilty,
There was five.
and Trump was like, you know
There was
what?
an alleged thing that had
Did they plead guilty or not? Did they plead guilty or not? The Central
They were
Park 5 plead
exonerated.
guilty.
They were exonerated.
Did they plead that? Did they say that they were guilty? Did they admit to doing the crime?
It says that they were exonerated.
Did they admit to doing the crime?
Yes, they pled guilty, bro. They said
They pled guilty, but they were exonerated because
by their
they
parents.
made up.
Their parents told them to say they was guilty. There's
Their
not an
parents
arguable
told
point.
them to
Yes.
say that they were guilty so that they got a better sentence. You know how
I'm
many
gonna tell you
people
right
give
now. You can't. If you try to tell me and say, "Oh, I'm guilty for something like that," I ain't never saying it. I ain't
no.
never saying
You know how
that. You're like,
many people?
No, I ain't
I want
saying
you
it.
to do. I want you to do some research on that because a lot of people have to say that they did it so that they get a better case when they didn't. There's been a ton of people that after the fact have
they
been
pled
found
guilty.
that they were innocent.
So
they had
pled
to.
guilty
because
to
their parents,
so they pled guilty to it, and people
they
people
had
called
to,
them,
or else they would have gotten.
people say
They
that
would
hey,
have gotten a
what you pled
higher
guilty
sentence.
is what you are.
They would have had a higher sentence if they did not plead guilty.
Okay,
they were
no,
innocent and they were
so how are you
exonerated.
trying to
They didn't
Trump-
plead-
What are
they
you
didn't
trying to?
plead
How are you
deal.
trying to tie Trump into being racist with that? Did
It's
Trump
because
was Trump
Can you read
interrogating
it?
him? Was Trump the prosecutor?
Can you can you read it? Can you read
Because-
it?
No, I'm asking
because
you
he
this question
put
to
out
see
an
if you
Oh
read
no!
it.
It said he
You
took
can't
out
read
full
it.
page.
I'm trying to see if
ad
you read
He
it.
put out a whole page ad.
unaliving penalty.
Yeah, he put out a whole
Can you
page.
He said he
calling
they
for the
should
death
be.
penalty of people that did heinous crimes, that
Yeah.
committed to doing heinous crimes.
Yeah, so that's what he said. He took out pages for the
People
unaliving,
that pled
like
guilty to do,
unalive.
he took out a page to call for the death penalty for people that pled to do a heinous crime.
Yeah.
So they pled to do
So
a
that
heinous
point-
crime.
Why y'all not mad at all the Democrats that prosecuted them kids if they was innocent? The prosecutor was a
Literally, I am
Democrat.
not mad
The
at,
attorney,
like, Democrats
the attorney
being-
general was a Democrat. The governor
Yeah,
was a
if
Democrat.
the attorney,
Why y'all not
I
mad
am
at
not.
them? Why y'all not
See,
mad at them?
I'm mad at them. What are you talking about? You know the guy that
We're
took
really
the
mad
money
at
from
them. What?
Egypt.
Donald Trump
There's a
put out a
Democrat that
whole
took money
ad.
from Egypt, and literally we don't even give a shit about that guy. And we literally said you guys can go after him.
I love how
Like
he
you
went
guys,
after
like
the
conservatives.
one
Here's the
thing-
thing: conservatives
one thing
believe.
that-
Okay.
Conservatives have
I got-
this mere
That's one thing
mindset.
that I recognize off the top of my head.
Conservatives have this mindset that we're only attacking their politicians, even though I literally give you the right to literally go after any of our politicians, and then you think it's like
Thanks for giving us the right.
Yeah, you guys can go after him. I don't care.
Who
Go
are
after
you?
him.
What are you saying? Give us
Go
the
nuts.
right.
Hey,
Get outta
Chris, what
here.
did we talk about in 1973?
Yeah, you guys think that we're
because
only
he
going after
refused
your
to rent
guys.
towards black people.
I have yet to hear you say anything bad about Joe Biden.
I don't care. Literally, his
We're literally
whole
talking about
thing, his
Trump.
war in
Shut
Gaza
up.
is
We're talking
absolute
about Trump.
destruction. Absolute dog shit. Yeah, his whole handling of foreign policy with the friggin' Israeli government and the war in Gaza is literally a fucking shit show.
That war started under Joe Biden, you fucking tard.
Okay, so that's the point. That's why I hate him too about it.
It's okay.
He acts like a child.
What was he con-
Mike
what was
D
Trump
acts like a
found guilty
child because he has no evidence to back up his claims.
The war started under Joe Biden.
He only just says libtard. His vocabulary and his vernacular.
Discrimination against
He
black
was
people.
found guilty
did
of
that.
discrimination.
She's just talking.
Sued for it.
He was
He
sued
doesn't know
for
Michael
it.
McDonald.
Guilty. He was sued for it.
He was sued
and
for
he
it.
had
What
to
was the result of the
pay.
case?
He had to pay them
So
because
he
they
just settled
wanted
instead
to
of he just settled. And this was because of
Settled.
one of Trump's
Yeah, he
employees, not
settled
because of
because
Trump
he was a
himself,
pussy.
right?
He refused to rent
This
to
is because
black
of one of
renters.
Trump's employees,
He was a
not because of Trump
pussy.
himself, right?
No, it
Or what you call
was
libtards.
Oh my god!
That's what
No,
you
you tell
guys
me
call
that
it.
someone that
Read
owns a company
it.
knows
pure
everything that's
Read
going
it.
on in the company.
Hey, honey, read
The
it.
pure
Read
No,
it.
I
utter
just did. What did they found?
Read
You're
it.
not even telling me
that you
anything.
get
You're
from
saying read
Democrats
it.
is unbelievable.
Bruh, that's
He
all these
told
people
you
do.
that he
Read
was
it. Just read the
sued.
source. It's right there. I'm not gonna answer the question because
I
I'm
literally
gonna
told
answer.
you
Read it.
that he was
We
sued,
win.
and you're like,
And was he
oh,
found?
guys
Was
didn't
what was the
win.
result
that
of the
you
case?
didn't
According
My
to
go-
He settled.
anything.
You
He
guys
settled,
didn't
right?
win.
He settled. Because instead of going to court, it's sometimes easier to settle. And that's not something that
The
Trump
liberals
did
are fucking
himself,
retarded.
right?
The point is
What are
that
you
he
trying to
did.
prove about? What is that statement trying to prove? Who cares?
He's fucking
Right.
He's doing a
racist.
good
What are you
job or
talking
not?
about?
Who cares?
How is he
Who cares
racist?
if he's
It's
racist?
fucking
Okay, well I
How
don't
is
care
he
if he
racist
fucking
when he's
gets
the
shit
president?
fucking kicked in.
He
It
is
was
He
racist.
is.
I literally showed you.
If
Oh
he
my
deports you
god!
guys, I will watch his
Oh,
literally
stop,
ice
stop,
you
stop,
guys
stop,
come
stop,
out.
stop. Amazing to me is how y'all can all see here. The 1973 thing. How does that prove he was
Be
racist? Did Trump
detained
do
by
this?
ICE.
Because
Did-
his
did
Trump,
Trump-
he
do you
would've-
think that?
yes.
Are you saying that
Can I
this
say?
was
Can I ask
guidance
y'all
from
this?
Trump?
How is it all these white people on the phone telling black people how racist a man is when you? How are you crying your tears for us? I mean,
You think I'm white?
Okay,
I
that
love
just
that you
came
think
out
that I'm
of
white. I love that you think that I'm
Oh
white.
my god.
Okay, no,
Hilarious.
Alyssa. What did Trump do in that made him racist?
Trump and his management were sued because Trump
What
and his
did Trump
management.
do?
Trump.
Trump and his management.
Trump.
What did Trump do? Trump did. You
Trump
say, this is how I
and
answer the
his-
question.
hey, listen
Trump
to me.
did. Go ahead.
I'm
Trump
telling
did.
you, Trump and his management.
Okay,
So
stop.
being ableist is
Trump
going to be
in that?
proving your
Trump
points.
did.
If
The
anybody
host
is
being
racist
ableist
here,
is his point
if
prover.
anybody is racist here, it's Alyssa.
How am I racist?
How is he racist?
For real? How am I
This
racist?
has no point, host. You should move on because she has no point and there's been no bearing.
I've
on your
literally
good
been
conversation.
making a point,
This
but
is
he
the
doesn't
dumbest.
want to listen.
This is the dumbest part of the
See,
conversation
by
of the
you
night.
guys
He
being
hates Trump
ableist, you
because
guys
he's
are
fucking
more
What do you
at
mean
this.
ableist? When did people?
Yeah, you're being like, oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
'cause
just
they're
like
ableist.
to interrupt when somebody's
They
like
interrupt
speaking.
'cause that's the whole point.
Alyssa
That's how they
hates
bring up their
Trump.
point.
Trump did.
Alyssa
Go
hates
ahead.
Trump because he's
But
white.
no, hold on. The
Trump
reason I
did.
include
Hold
his.
on, stop.
Hey,
Stop.
shut the fuck up and listen.
Okay. I'm
Alyssa's
muting
a
you.
racist.
Now you
Trump to
unmute
listen.
yourself. I need to hear you say Trump
Hey.
did. Go ahead. Trump did.
Trump refused to rent to black renters.
Okay,
I
that
included
Trump
his
was, you
management
say
in
Trump
that
was the one that's
because
doing
it
the
was Trump
day-to-day
and his
stuff in his
management.
business?
That's a
Managers
fucking
or
lie.
managers?
Oh my god, you guys
Hotel
don't wanna
managers or
listen.
managers? Trump
Bro, you
didn't
tell
do
me
anything.
that
Y'all just trying to
fucking,
find anything.
Jeff Bezos
It was
knows that the
multiple
Amazon driver
people.
drives over
Trump
someone's
and
property
his
because they're black and does something
Since you can speak
disrespectful.
on behalf of all blacks, I'm
management.
black and nobody cares. We don't care about stuff like that.
Bro, black
This is
people
not
don't know
1956.
So
in the
the
90s,
point
early
stands.
2000s, black
Nobody
people
cares.
loved Trump. He was in all
We're
the
not
music
racist
and
against
stuff like
other
that.
people.
In 2015, the Democrats told you, "Oh, Trump is racist." That makes him racist now.
Yeah,
In
bro.
2015, I wasn't
It
caring.
is.
I wasn't giving two shits
Trump.
about politics. I was 10 years
You
old.
In the
literally.
90s and 80s, Trump used to be in our culture.
And that's
Trump was
right.
rap
I was
videos.
10 years
Trump was
are
in
you
R&B
talking
videos.
about?
He
What
hung
kind
out
of
with
high shit are you talking
hung out
about?
with What's
And
the
Alyssa
difference?
wasn't alive in the
Democrats, I was
70s.
You guys were
Don King and all the rest of them.
I'm gonna give her another chance. I'm gonna give her another chance.
When
I'm
there
gonna
was
give her
a
another chance.
fucking
In
loss on your
1973,
thing, you literally called
Trump
voter
did-
fraud.
Okay,
I've
then.
said it over and over again.
You
guys
said it.
don't
You
want
don't
that
mention
vote. They made
his
a
management
break.
team.
For those. Tap
Mention
the screen
only
for those.
Trump. Mention Trump because Trump.
Okay, I
if
really
someone, if
mentioned
one of
just
Trump's
Trump.
employees do something effed up, that's gonna fall
It
on
was him
It
and
doesn't
his
mean that he
management,
did it.
dumbass.
Huh?
Dumbass. It was him
Host,
and
why
his
you discussing
management.
Okay, what did
1975
Trump?
with all
So
the
Trump
going on
denied
in
his
the world
people.
right now?
Trump wrote the C and the 9 on the
Trump
stuff.
and his management.
Trump wrote the C and the
He's
9.
part of his
Trump wrote the
management,
C and the
and he-
9 for colored people, right? That's what you're trying to tell me. Trump was the one that was writing
Man,
C
don't
or
take
9.
yourself back and call yourself colored. You black, brother.
No,
Or
that's
Haitian.
what the article said. That's what the thing that says. It says Trump wrote a C and 9 for colored. That's what it said. That's the source that she gave me
This
says
is-
colored.
This case was settled in 1975, a year
Okay,
before I was born.
and,
Let's
okay,
go.
I'm giving
Half
him
of y'all not even that
multiple
old.
things. Hey, how about we talk about the fact that he would bring up racist shit about Obama in 2015 and 2016?
Hey, we don't know
This
if
fucking
Obama
dude
was
is
born in
wild.
Africa or not. He could have been. He could have
Alyssa's
been born
the
in
only
Kenya.
way.
I never
He
seen a
was born in
certificate.
Hawaii.
How old-
dumbass.
how old are you?
Certificate.
Ma'am, how old are you?
Wait, oh my god.
How old are you?
Did you? Hey, Alyssa, did you vote for Biden?
No, I was 15 in that election.
Oh, that makes
Because
sense.
you know what?
Host,
Then you
move
should
on.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Hey,
move
You're
on.
not old enough
Hey,
to
yo,
know
Maybe
anything.
you should go to
Host, move on.
college
Stop.
and educate
Mute her
yourself.
button. She's not even
Maybe,
old enough
hey,
to know
you need to
anything.
go to college. Maybe you shouldn't have dropped out of high school.
Maybe I shouldn't have a college degree. You're right.
Hey, at least people with college degrees actually know what the fuck they're talking about and don't listen to talk.
Right, and maybe I
This is
shouldn't have served in the
entertainment and not
military.
news.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't
Okay.
have
Not
served in the
haven't-
military.
Don't
Melissa,
listen to
Alyssa,
it.
what race are you? What's your ethnicity? What race ethnicity?
I am mixed. I am half.
Is dumbass a race?
No, stop. Let her finish. Let her finish.
I am half white, half black.
Hey, go
So,
back and
and
read
you-
all the stuff that Biden said about black people. Host, tell her about how he said he didn't want black people in the segregation in schools and all that way back in the day.
Like an urban
Wait,
jungle
wait,
because of
wait,
black
wait,
people.
Tell her about all the
wait.
stuff that
Trump
Biden said back in the day.
Trump literally
In a
brought
racist
back
jungle?
segregation and federal contract work.
Whoa, no,
So
no,
we're
no,
not gonna
stop.
talk about
Trump
I can literally
brought
give you the source
federation.
for that. I can
Doesn't
give
the
you the source for that,
1964
buddy.
Act is against segregation? The 1964 Civil
Yeah,
Rights
and he's
Act.
trying to get rid of it, and he actually
He's trying
brought
to
it
get
back
rid of
in
the
federal
1964
contract.
Civil Rights Act.
Host,
Look it up.
Host,
Look it up.
you made everybody else hang up.
How about the
You made the good people in the conversation hang up for her
Look it
comments, host. Let
The
the rest of us come back
1994
in.
crime bill,
Cut her off.
which had more black people
Oh, you guys don't want to
arrested
listen to people.
in
Okay,
due
cool.
time just for simple fucking crimes.
Everybody hung up because of this conversation, host.
Bro, this is
You're losing
getting
viewers, letting her talk.
Hey,
Bruh,
look it up.
Look
Look
what
up the
up.
federal contract work segregation. He's bringing back segregation in federal
Trump is
contract work. You can
Trump
look
could,
it up.
Trump could undo the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
They are trying to do that, yes.
With what?
You know, Trump did the SAVE Act, right? Which released
You guys,
black
just look
people
it
who
up.
were
What about
wrongly
what
convicted
about
of
what
crimes.
about
What are
the
you guys
opportunity
scared about?
zones?
Look it up. Hey,
Bruh, 'cause
hey,
I
look
don't-
it up.
bruh,
Look it
I
up.
don't, because that's not what it
Look
does.
it up.
That's not what it does. No.
Look it up. Segregation
No.
in federal contract
Alyssa,
work. Look it
Alyssa,
up.
what college do you go to?
I'm not going to tell you that.
No, stop, bro.
Because you're under
If
a
she's gonna
liberal
keep saying this, look it
indoctrination.
up and keep repeating the same thing, I'm gonna keep mirroring because that's getting kind of annoying. That's not helping the conversation.
Yo,
If you-
D,
bro, I
yo,
looked
D.
up the- I looked up
You
the
need
sources
to
that
look it
Yo,
up.
Damaris.
If you're going to say that.
she brought up.
Yo,
and
Yo,
they're not really
Demenis. Demenis, can I
What's
say
up?
something?
Go ahead.
This chick has been indoctrinated by the liberal
No.
fucking college. She's not even
I
old
live
enough.
in a red state.
She's not even old enough to talk about
Guys,
the
I live
shit
in a red
she's talking
state.
about. But yet,
I live in
she's
a red
fucking here
state.
spewing shit.
If anything,
college-
I would be
what college-
indoctrinated by the
college
Republicans.
Hey,
What
I
college
live in
did
a
you
red
go
state,
to?
I got a question.
motherfucker.
I got a question for y'all. How y'all feel about Ukraine?
Fuck Ukraine.
Hey, my
I su-
man. What about
Also,
you,
you guys-
Alyssa? You support Ukraine?
So you guys support people being murdered senselessly just because Russia wants the land?
How can they win?
Is that what's going on? Is that
That's
what's going on?
exactly what's going on. What
How can
would you
Ukraine win
guys
the
rather
war?
have Putin as our president or Biden?
How can Ukraine win the war?
Putin or Biden?
How can Ukraine win the war?
Huh?
How can Ukraine win the war?
They can't.
They can't because there's a dictator that's trying to take over their land, and it's
Well, Zelensky's a fucking dictator, right?
Human life.
They don't even want
Because they don't give a
Zelensky
fuck
there.
about human
Their own
rights.
people. He's just there because there's
hey
war.
guys, Putin or Biden?
Putin or Biden? That's
Would you rather have Putin or Biden as
Live
a
in America,
shit?
so I don't have to worry about
Hey.
that. That's the great thing about living in
Hey,
America. I don't have to
hey.
worry about that bullshit.
Hey, no, answer the question.
or a hunk of shit.
Hey, answer. Yeah, answer the question. Putin or Biden?
Or a
I
hunk of
don't
shit.
like
Putin or
terrible
Biden?
people.
Answer the question.
We got Trump. We don't
Answer
got
the
to
question.
answer that
I'm
question.
answering
None.
it. I'm telling
None.
you right now,
Question.
neither fucking
None.
That's
That was a silly question.
You
None.
guys can't answer the question.
Answer the
It's not
question.
a
Watch. This is all she
non-question.
gonna do when I answer the question. She's like, well, that's your Putin. Okay, what's your thing now?
Oh, okay. So you want
You know where she got that question from?
Let her answer. Putin.
No, you
No,
just
no,
want
you know where she got the question from?
Okay, you see, that doesn't do nothing.
She watched the Parker live.
That didn't
Oh
even
my
do
God,
anything.
no.
Got the
Shut the
fucking
fuck up.
question from.
Hey,
What did
hey,
no
you know,
Putin? What
that's-
did that do? What did that do? Me saying Putin. What did that do?
That just tells me that you want a dictator, which is what Trump is. Trump is best friends with Putin.
So you telling me
So
when
thank
Biden was trying to
you for telling me
prosecute
that
his
you are a
political opponents,
dictator.
that wasn't dictatorial?
Dictator.
You tell me when Biden was prosecuting his political opponents, that wasn't being a dictator?
Y'all are funny. You guys
You
just
tell me when Biden tried to put Trump in jail, that's not being a
Or
dictator?
Zelensky not
You never had
allowing an
Putin try to
election
put
in
some
his
of his
fucking
political
country?
jail?
How about
Focus.
Zelensky suspending all elections in his country right now?
That's a dictatorship, my guy.
My guy, that's a dictatorship.
She don't want. She
Man,
finally
huh?
hung up.
You let her go, huh?
You let her take away 5 of your people, bro.
For some reason.
You had to go, right?
The minutes you let her take like 5 people out. We had a good conversation going. She messed it up.
You're right. You're right. I'll take the blame on that one. I gotta do better with managing the people we allow in here because this.
Yeah,
this time it gets
you want
annoying.
people to get on right and view
You're right,
because you
you're
letting people like that take away your viewership.
You 100% right. You 100% right. I'll take the
Let
blame
them.
on
Let them.
that.
They
I'll
can
take the blame
disagree.
on that.
It makes it.
Yo,
It
Menace.
makes it healthy to disagree, but when they just saying stupid stuff,
Yo, Menace,
it's
I
like
just
12.
gave you a follow, bro.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I'm going to follow you from now on, man.
Hey,
And I just got the ability to go live, so I'll go live with you. How about that?
Hey, yo, anyone can come in at any time. I don't care who comes in. I'm gonna talk to anybody. But sometimes, like what he was saying, you can't just allow anyone in here because sometimes it just doesn't make good for communication or conversation, especially when you try to talk about something and it's like, look it up, look it up, look it up, look it up. I'm like,
You got to admit, liberal lunacy is a fucking disease, man.
and it's something, bro.
These
This
people
gonna
are
sound
fucking
effed
nuts.
up. I'm saying it's something about certain black people when they don't go around the black community or they're half black. They try to say they gotta be extra black. They gotta be extra fighting. Trying to say we're fighting racism and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro,
Yeah, because
it's just not that serious.
and they got to
Racism in
deny
America is not
they got to
that serious.
deny
We've
that
never been
there's any
outside
white
the
in their
other
blood.
countries.
Brother, you know what it is? They think they still play the victim card. I'm black, man. I'm not a fucking victim. I still do what everybody else want to do. I got my mind, my body, my soul. I can do whatever I want to do. That victim mentality is some bullshit that they cast upon all black people, man. We're not like that.
We got a red back in the chat. Post Punk Freak, what's up? And John Jones, you back? What's up, dog?
Hey,
What we want to talk about? We want to talk about the daggone Signal Gate. We want to talk about Israel. We can't talk about that. We gotta be coded if we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, you got kicked out last night.
Damn, bro. We want to talk about deportation or tariffs. Which one y'all want to talk about?
I mean, I'm here for either. I can do either.
What about them tariffs? That makes everybody scared.
Who regrets not voting for Trump?
Yo, Menace, I'm a bounce.
I can name 3 that was on my live. It was a guy named Vinny. He joined my live and he was telling me he regretted his vote because the promises he heard.
All right, Mike D. All right, have a good day, Mike D. You good, dog?
Yo, man, it was good following you, man. I'm gonna follow you all the time, bro.
Yeah, it's good to have a conversation with you. You good, bro?
All right, brother. You be well, man.
All right, you too, bro. All right, who was we talking to? Was it Jones or Post?
It was.
Just whoever was talking. Just go ahead.
It was me.
Go ahead.
All right. Again, Donald Trump doesn't do anything but divide people, as we speak on. I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Wait. Were you the one
Yeah,
that
he
said
divides
that
people.
you talked to 3 people that said they regret voting for Trump?
Oh yeah.
I got a question. Did
He
they
said
not
the
see when he was
promises.
talking when Trump was saying, "Hey yo, we're gonna do tariffs and we're gonna do deportation"? Did they not see that at any point?
Yeah, but one is an ultra nationalist. He said he reluctantly voted for Trump, but he's not as radical as before. He wants he wants the he wants all undocumented immigrants out the country. He wants all this, and Trump is not delivering all these promises.
So,
And
so
I
he
can
doesn't. He regrets voting for Trump because Trump is not doing. Trump is not doing what he said he's doing.
yeah.
So
Deportation is not up at all.
what about illegal border crossings?
Trump right now. No, but we're not talking about. He didn't promise to keep the wall secure or keep
So is the illegal border crossings down?
What you're doing is pivoting
I'm
away
just
from the
asking
actual
questions
conversation
about that topic. You're gonna try to
because
say I'm pivoting.
no,
It's
that's
about
a
that in
pivot.
general.
That's a pivot, brother.
So no,
It's a pivot, brother.
So illegal. So deportations. You're trying to say he's not deporting
It's a
people. Like
pivot, brother.
You're trying to say he's not deporting.
Yeah.
You're trying to say he's not deporting people like he says he's doing,
He's
right?
not deporting people. Yeah.
But every time you try to deport someone, they try to challenge it in a court case. Is he not doing what he's
No,
trying to
it's
say he's
because
doing, or he's just getting challenged by?
he got challenged. The only thing what you're bringing up is the challenge of 1780, the Aliens Act. It's because
that's not what I'm
it's
talking
never
about.
been.
That's not what
No,
I'm talking
It
about.
was.
He just had a judge that
was.
said he had to bring a prisoner back, bro. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Because he was.
What about when he got challenged for sending those people,
Yeah,
those
but
people
that
to
was.
Salvador?
Yeah, that was the 1780 legal.
That was the first part. That was the first part. And then the second part is they got federal judges, liberal judges, that's holding them up on every end. Wants
No,
you to
they're
bring planes and stop
all of
planes
them.
from going at certain
Not
times.
all of them.
Are you
Not
watching
all
the
of
news?
them are liberal judges. Not all of them are left leaning judges.
So you said, okay, not all of them are left-leaning judges, but are they holding him up though when he's trying to do what he says
They
he's gonna
are
do?
liberal judges.
They're
Every
not
single
holding
one
him
of
up.
them is.
So
You're just saying
They're not
stuff.
holding
You
him
don't
up.
You're trying to
know.
tell me Trump is trying to deport someone, and a judge is like, you know what? Not that person. That's not holding him up.
Not everybody that opposes something Trump does is leftist. Like even Mitch McConnell opposes some things that Trump does.
Okay, no, okay. We're not. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
They're left
I'm
leaning.
not saying that they're
He's
left leaning
he's
or
a
right leaning.
radical
I'm
left.
just saying that
Ooh, they're so scary.
I'm just saying that the judges are doing this, left or right, doesn't matter. They are doing
Doing their job. They're doing their job by
Their job is
interpreting the
their
laws
job is to
that
keep
was
illegals
placed.
in here, illegal people in the country.
No, their job is to interpret the law and how it stands. And what Trump is doing is not how they interpret the law to be.
What is he doing that's not correct? You trying to say?
Hey man, illegal. Hey.
He's
Illegal
not giving.
aliens.
He's
Illegal
not giving.
aliens don't have
He's not
rights.
giving undocumented. He's not giving undocumented immigrants due process.
Undocumented immigrants.
Wait,
they don't
stop.
have rights.
Yes.
No, let me.
Yes, they do.
Let me talk
They
about
do.
this.
No, they don't.
No, stop.
They do, sir.
No, stop. Undocumented people do have rights, but they don't have the full rights that we have.
Blair
as
don't
Americans.
believe that though. Your friend doesn't
No,
believe that though.
Okay, I'm not. Am I my friend? Am I
I
him?
don't in his
They
head.
don't have the rights of an American citizen, and they're here.
They don't have the
illegally.
same
You're
rights. Yeah, they
illegal.
don't have the same
You're
rights.
illegal. You don't
Let
belong
me
here.
make a statement. Let me make
That's
a
the
statement.
first law you broke when you enter here as being illegal.
Wait, the 14th Amendment clearly outlines that no shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. It doesn't say no legal citizen.
Exactly.
Let me say something. What is due process? Due process is the process that is due to you, right? So if you come in here illegally and the Constitution and the law says this, first of all, if you come in here illegally,
How do we know they're illegal?
First of
How
because
do we
when
find
ICE
out they're
detains-
illegal?
When ICE detains them, what do? Do ICE detain them and then send them straight to an airplane?
No, they detain them. They claim asylum, and then they will give them due process.
No, you only could claim a son as a legal port of entry. You can't just say, I jumped the border. I'm
No,
not
you
here.
can. Hold on.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no, 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 no,
Nope.
no,
We're
stop,
not
stop,
going to
stop,
do that
stop.
lie.
You
We're not going to do that lie.
You could jump the border and then claim asylum?
Yes.
No, you
All you got
can't.
to do is be in the U.S. Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Then
I
why-
got you, brother.
Say man, go look that up. You have to do it at the border.
You
just
got
I got you, brother.
No, you
I
have
got
to
you,
look at
brother.
a
Hold
legal
on.
port
Go look
of
it up.
entry.
Go read it. Go read it, man. You can't just make up stuff, brother, just because you think it sounds good.
I got you, brother. I got you,
You
brother.
only could claim asylum at a legal port of entry. And back to the due
Period.
process. And back to the due process thing. They don't just.
It's not an arguable point. Then you go see a judge
Yes, it
after
is.
that. After
Yes,
you
it
claim
is.
asylum, you go see a judge.
No.
Yes, it is.
This is what it is. This is how due process works.
Because y'all don't read
Listen,
asylum law.
let me finish
Y'all
talking.
don't read.
This is what due
If
process
you are
is.
physically
You come
present
here,
in
right?
the U.S.
Stop,
No,
stop.
it says right here.
This due process. You come here. They don't just say, "Oh, you're illegal." You go on a plane. You're illegal. They detain you first at an ICE detention facility and find out are you illegally allowed to be here. And they say you're a citizen. You have citizenship, and you're like, no. Permanent resident, no. Visa, no. You're just here illegally, yes. Or they say what country? Like they do the research, find out like are you here legally? And if you don't have no documentation, no nothing to prove you're here illegally, then they kick you out. They don't gotta go to a judge to say, oh, this person's here illegally, then we gotta kick him out. No, you're here illegally. We found you here to be illegally. Then we kick you out. There's nothing else that need to be done.
Yeah, can I get the big screen real quick? I got you, brother.
What else need to be What else need to be done after that?
Let me get the big screen and I'll show you. All right. If you see right here, it says to apply for asylum if you are
What's
at
this
a
website
port of
called?
entry or no,
What's
this
website
is
Right.
this is the .gov website. This
What's
is
the
Google
asylum.
says the same thing.
Yeah, this is from a .gov website.
What is the .gov
This is
website
their
called?
asylum laws. I it's right down there. I'm blocking it, but it's a .gov website. This is eligibility to apply for asylum. So right here it says to apply for asylum, you can A, be at a port of entry or be in the United States, and you have to apply regardless of immigration status within 1 year of arrival of a United States.
So can I explain that better? Can I give 2 seconds? You know what that or being in the United States mean? People that have expired visas, people that's been here and their paperwork is no longer good.
No, it
and you
doesn't.
chose to
No,
stay
it doesn't.
and you're in the
Do
United
they-
States. You can't
then it
hop
would have been
across the
quoted.
border
No,
and
it
just
doesn't
say,
say
I'm
that.
claiming asylum, bro.
Blair,
Don't work that way.
Blair, it doesn't say that. It just says in the United States.
Yeah,
It
you're
doesn't say you can't cross illegally.
Well,
Again,
keep
your
reading,
problem,
brother.
your
That's
problem,
not what that means.
It doesn't
In the
say
United
that.
States.
It doesn't say
How
that. It
they're
says,
illegal.
look,
In the United
They're
States
illegal.
illegally. How do you get
sir,
United
where
States
do you
illegally?
say
Cross
you
the
can't
border
come?
or you let your paperwork expire and you're illegal.
It doesn't
Two
say
ways.
that. It doesn't say that, sir.
There's only
It
two
doesn't
ways,
say
though.
that. It is only two ways. You got to be
Right?
a port of entry or in the United States. It doesn't
Right.
say
Illegally.
It doesn't say
Yeah.
no. Even
Illegally.
if you're illegal, yeah, you can be undocumented.
Yeah, but you're still
immigrant.
getting shipped out. Regardless, you're going to get your due process and you're getting shipped back where you came from. That's how that
Yeah, you
works.
can't stay here.
I'm not even. You're
Yeah, you can't stay.
Blair. Where are you reading that from? Because I got this from a .gov website.
No, I agree with you. I see what it says too. I agree
See what
with
it
you 100%. That,
I'm not talking to you.
So it sounds like a
Birch Tree.
Supreme
I'm talking
Court
about
battle because there's
right
not enough
here.
words there. It's so broad.
Brother, right here. Where are you reading this from?
I'm reading.
Because this
I read
is
it
from
with
a
you.
.gov website.
I read it with you. It says or United States. That's
Yeah,
so
it
blanket.
says
That's so
in the
blanket.
unit. It says port of entry or in the United States.
Right.
Where do it say, like you doesn't classify if you're not like if you crossed illegally? Where does it say that?
You're an
Move my
illegal
head.
alien. You can't be in America without paperwork, right? You have to go to the
It doesn't
port.
say that.
The port to
It doesn't
claim
say
asylum,
that.
bro.
It doesn't say that.
Yes, well, honey, you gotta understand the
Birch
law.
Street, do you see it? Birch Street, do you see it? Because I'm reading it.
it doesn't say it on Google either. Google says the same thing that it says.
Wait, quick thing.
It's
You tell me, quick thing. All people are that saying are found for asylum. They're found for asylum at the ICE detention facility.
no,
if
they're
they're-
getting caught. Probably they're getting caught and
They're getting caught,
They're
and
like
then
they're like yeah.
So you
sure.
tell me
Yeah,
someone gets
but
caught
first of all,
and they're saying asylum, and that's why didn't they file for asylum?
We have to give them due process.
No, stop.
We have
okay,
to
they
give
get
them
their
due
due process, but they're going
Why
back.
didn't they file
They're
for
going
asylum
back.
before they got caught?
They could say anything they want. They could be like, "We were scared," blah blah blah. That's why they have lawyers. A lawyer could help them out with that.
Like,
regardless, they get to go
bro,
back.
That sounds dumb to say. Oh, we get caught. Oh, now we want to do asylum. No, why don't you do asylum before you got caught?
Because it's for many multitude of reasons. One, they are scared. They're already scared because they
12 million.
So
12
being
million people
scared
are
is not
scared.
being scared is not a way to try. Not a reason
I said there's
12 million people are scared. They need
There's
asylum.
a multitude of reasons.
The rest of the world is that crazy.
Blair,
but 12 million people.
you're just ignoring. You just focus on the one point that I made when there's not just one point of reasoning.
Well,
there's not
why
just
can't
one negated
it
point.
says right here on Google
Yeah,
why
you're
you can apply.
focusing on one
You can
blank
apply
statement.
if you fear persecution in your home country based on race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, political opinion. You can claim all of that, but they're going to look into it. And if you're full of shit, you're going back to your country. And regardless, I mean, if you can't just cross over into our country.
Yeah, it's less than 20% that's been denied, but the process has still been taking. The process has been slowed down due to the amount of immigrations we had over the last few years.
Why is the smallest
right now
percent
the
of something always
the average legal undocumented immigrant will see a court for about 2 years.
When to apply? It says you generally must apply for asylum within 1 year of your
within 1
arrival
year.
in the United States. Okay,
Exactly.
it says that. But again, if you're coming over here and you're an M13 or whatever the gangs are and the fucking all that bullshit, you're getting shipped the fuck out. You don't get you're coming over here because you're scared. No, that's not. You're not scared at that fucking point.
We gotta look into their. But the whole thing is,
we looked into it, and if you have
case.
any kind of fucking gang affiliation or
they
you're blah
will
blah
get
blah,
kicked out.
you're getting the
But
fuck out of here. Period.
Bird Street. But the thing is, we still got to give them due process.
No, we
matter
do
what
not.
you say, yes, we do.
I'm not giving 12 million people due process.
Let me finish. Bird Street. If we don't give them due process, how do we know if they're MS-13 or
Because they do.
Wait, stop. We don't need to figure out the MS-13. We just need to figure out if they're here illegally or not. That's it.
Period.
You don't need they don't need to commit a crime to get kicked out of here if they're here illegally.
Because it's a crime to be here illegally.
If you don't have proper documentation, then you don't have. Then we could kick you out.
This is asinine. I feel like I'm talking to a bunch of stonewalls.
No, stop.
Because y'all just not paying attention to what I'm saying.
Under Obama, were people going to court first, or were they just getting kicked out?
Yes, they was going to court for it.
No, they were not.
Damn, man. No, he wasn't. He was just kicking them out too.
He was.
No, they wasn't.
The deporter in chief
No, they
was sending
wasn't.
everybody to court cases first.
Yes, they had a tighter immigration system, and they had more judges. They had more judges in the immigration.
Brother, they would
status.
still be in court right now if that was the case, man. That's how long.
No,
That's
they
how long that
wasn't.
backlog was.
It's not that hard. It's because they added more judges. They added more court judges when it comes to immigration, and that's what sped up the process of getting them out of our country.
All you got.
You can't go to no other country.
It's not that hard.
You don't
They
have
kick
to be
your ass
not that
out. Why
hard.
America got to be the one that does it?
All you gotta do is be here illegally without documentation, and you could get kicked out. You don't have to commit a crime first.
No, it's not that hard.
The law doesn't say you have to commit a
not
crime
that
first.
hard.
The law says that, hey, if we found you here to be illegally into the country,
But
we
if
could
they
kick you out.
claim asylum, we can't kick them out.
Why? We could process their claim. We're gonna say, bro, this
Exactly.
is a legit claim.
We still gotta process their claim.
Obama, Obama deported more people than Trump did. He 3.2 million people were deported by official ICE order from Biden. Look that up.
Yes.
You think 3.2 million went before a judge, brother? You said they ordered more judges. You think
They still have
people
due
went through a
process.
judge?
Yes, it's not
Come
that
on,
hard.
man.
He
I'm done
had
now.
more
Never
court
mind.
judges.
Host go on to something else because he's just talking now.
Because I don't see that like they all didn't go to a court case.
They know they didn't, man.
You don't gotta see everybody in a court case before you remove them if they're here legally.
That's laughable, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying that.
Yeah,
No, the MS-13
not every
and
single
all those guys.
Oh, crazy.
They just went. They didn't get in front of a judge.
Oh my god, please.
3.2 million
First
went
of all-
before a judge, brother. Yeah, right. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You're smarter than that. You sound smarter than that. Stop it.
Again, is 3.2. Of course, about 80% of them saw a judge. Most of them are probably. The rest are probably.
How can 80%
over-
of 3.2 million see a judge in 4 years, even 8 years?
Yeah, it was 8 years.
Think about it,
sir.
brothers, before you speak, man.
He was in
Use-
office for
use
8
what God
years.
gave
He was
you,
in
brother.
office for 8 years. He was in office for 8 years.
I said 4
3.2.
or 8 years. Okay.
It was 8 years in total. He'd been a president for 8 years. So that's logically, it's still possible numbers.
Divide 3.2 million by 8. 80% of 3.2 million. Divide that. Do that. Tell me what it is. And tell me if you think you're still correct.
80%. It's possible. What are we talking
Got
about?
your calculator out? How many is it? How much is it?
Hold on. If we actually sped up the process to actually get these immigrants, like again, these numbers, I'll give you, like for about 10% of those undocumented immigrants, about 10 to less than that have their claims have their claim approved.
This
Right?
is what it says, right? This is what it says.
This is the average. No, that's the
Portion
average.
of them did not see a judge. They were removed under expedient removal under a DHS allowable law. So no, they did not go. No, 2.5 million did not go before a judge. They were removed under DHS and ICE orders under this expedient removal under DHS. So so stop saying that. Just you got your point across about illegals having a due process, but the reality is if they're here illegal, there are rules and laws past that one little sentence that you read that allows America to remove them out the country without them going before a judge. And that's exactly what's happening now. And that's what happened under Obama. And there was no judges that fought him because the liberals liked him and it was okay. But now that it's Trump, it's an issue, and now they're shopping these laws to all these liberal judges to make it so we can stop something to say, oh, we don't want to do that now. You know why? Because they only want illegals in this country to take over the votes, so the Democrats can have a voting block. The Democrats can have a voting block. So we will no longer have a voice anymore.
Let me jump on that.
Let me jump on
that.
this.
Let me jump on that point that you made.
Let me jump on that point that you made. Block of the United States of America.
Let me jump on that point that you just made.
Well, why she couldn't finish it?
Yeah, she made her point.
You were talking over her.
Yeah, she already made her point that Obama used a loophole in the law, but no
a law.
Or a law that was made. Yeah, a law that was actually passed. And no judge actually fought on it. Why is Trump not taking advantage of that law? He's used multiple.
Why, dear? I just told you why. Because the liberals are shopping.
He hasn't.
Yes, he hasn't, and that's what he's trying to do.
You know what the order he actually used?
He's
the
using
1780 illegal illegal alien act.
So he's the law. Wait, stop. Is that not a law? Is that not a law?
No,
it's an alien removal act, not a law. So I can't.
All right,
so he's doing it by
the
law.
You know what? But that act has only been passed when it comes to wartime events, like how they used it in Japan. Like how they used it in Japan.
So you tell me that
when it came
you tell me that law got get passed.
Okay,
every
can you
time
actually let me finish?
No,
can you
no,
let me?
you're
Can you actually let me finish?
You got to answer this before you could go on. Is that
I just said. I just gave you context.
You said that only.
I gave you context.
Okay, during the
and it's only been used. It's only been used. It's only been used during wartime. That was only being used during wartime events.
Does the law
like in the time we was in
wartime?
we was fighting when we was fighting.
It only during wartime.
Yes, it was interpreted by judges.
What judge?
Multiple times that it's only been used. I don't.
No. Stop.
I don't know the exact
Does
judge.
The law say
this was a law that was passed. This was a law that was passed.
Why don't you put the law on the big screen?
I'm not.
On the war.
It's been heavily reported.
Put the law on the big screen like you put the other document on the big screen. Put that law on the big screen and let yourself read it. It doesn't say anywhere that it has to be wartime. That's what the Democrats are mad at right now. That he actually probably did use it.
It was interpreted because it was It was interpreted.
Read the law and stop saying what you feel, brother. Read it. Stop. It's about feelings.
No, it's not even how I feel. It
Not
was
your feelings.
interpreted by multiple judges to be that as the case.
Bro,
No
what does
other
the law
no that
say?
law hasn't been.
Tell
Move
me
on,
in the
host.
law that says you need to be at war to invoke this powers.
It was interpreted by multiple. It was interpreted by multiple
All
judges
right, I'm
as a
moving on
wartime
because you
event.
cannot. You do not have the.
Oh,
you
yes.
cannot
Thank you.
provide-
Move on. Thank you.
If you're not
What-
gonna
what
provide
the
me a
hell?
place where it says that, we're moving on.
Yeah, move on.
What are we talking? It
If
was
you-
interpreted
stop,
by
stop,
multiple
stop, stop.
judges.
One judge could interpret it one way, another judge could interpret it another way. Until it's hit at the Supreme Court.
But
where
we
they get
had
the
multiple
final-
judges.
Until it's had the
It was
Supreme
interpreted
Court,
by multiple judges. It was
Say it
interpreted.
again.
until
Say it
goes
again,
to the
because I didn't
Supreme
hear you.
Court,
I'm
it's
mer-
just
How
people
about
saying their
this?
opinions on it.
How about this? You know what the
Interpreted
loophole?
by-
You know what the loophole is? We're at war at the border, so we're at war. That's what his proof is. That's what he's trying to prove to the
Not
Supreme
at-
Court.
he didn't-
We're at war.
It doesn't have anything to do with war, though.
I mean, it has a
does.
part. It does have a
It was
portion to do with
interpreted.
war.
It was interpreted.
It
It was
does.
interpreted by multiple judges to be only a
They just
wartime
moved
event.
it.
He's not all wrong, y'all. He's not all wrong about the
Okay,
war
okay,
part of it.
okay. What about an invasion? Can we use it during an invasion?
Same thing, man. That's what Trump is trying to say right
By
now.
who?
The immigration, the border
Can we
is
use
an
that
invasion.
Sir.
during an invasion? Yes
Okay.
or no?
Yes.
Who's invading us?
No, I need a yes.
Illegals.
Answer my
The
question.
Mexican
and I'll answer
government?
yours.
No,
Answer
illegals from everywhere.
No, stop. Answer my question. and answer yours. Can we use it during an invasion?
I can't answer your question
next,
unless
let's
you
move
give
on
me
then.
more
Let's move on
context.
then. Let's move on then.
You're not giving me
Let's
context.
move
You
on
just
then.
said.
Let's move on then. You won't answer the
Let me
question.
ask you a
we're moving
question.
Hey,
I
If you
will
don't answer
answer
your
your question if you give me
If
more
you don't-
context.
That's not how it works.
And-
I ask you a question.
Hold
You
on.
answer the
I
question.
need
You
more
don't answer a
context.
question with a question.
You just said if we're
During an
invaded.
invasion.
By who? By
So it
who?
depends on who we're being invaded by.
Country.
So it depends on what country we're being invaded by.
Like what country?
So you
Any
tell me-
country, brother.
No, stop.
Anybody
You're telling me
that
we
comes
only
to
You
the
can use it on any.
Stop.
Okay,
You only tell me
yes.
we can only use it during certain only certain
He said
countries
yes.
invade us.
host.
We
He
can't
said
use it-
yes.
So only
I
when
said
certain
yes.
countries invade us. Then you
He
just
said
make-
yes,
No, I
brother.
said.
Then you're
No,
making stuff
hold
up
on.
now.
No. I'm asking. No, I'm asking who's invading us. Because if you're saying if you're quoting an invasion by just regular people who's trying to work, no, we shouldn't
No.
do it. But if we're talking
he's
about like a
talking-
Mexican
the
government,
drug cartels. What's the Nicaraguan gang?
Hey man,
what are they called?
Venezuela,
Venezuelan. Yeah,
Haitian,
Venezuelan.
Haitian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, host, I know you're Haitian, but
You good?
they got Haitian illegals that's here too. You know, it's a bunch of them, man. So all of
Haitians
those
was
are
approved.
invasions.
What are you
bro.
talking about?
Mexicans, that's an invasion, bro.
Stop. Okay.
About 98%.
Let's just
Not
answer the
98%
question.
of
Let's just answer the
Haitians have been approved.
Let's just answer this question.
So what are we talking
So we
about?
could use it during an invasion. Yes or
We're
no?
not talking about Haitians.
So we can't use it during
We're
an
talking about
invasion.
the gangs.
We're getting invaded
We
by our
can't use
southern
it.
borders. That's it.
By what country? By what country?
Not
Not
just by one
country,
not,
gangs.
Not one particular country.
The,
but
a
massive-
sovereign nation
You
got
tell me
to
11 million people
a
come to the
sovereign
southern
nation.
borders, and that's not an invasion?
More
40
more than that.
About less than 40% of undocumented immigrants have caused that actually
How many
break
people
a
have
crime.
went to the southern border in
Let
the last 4
alone
years?
a violent crime.
No. Let's say percentage. Tell me the numbers of people that went to the southern borders in the last 4 years.
It's about it was about 6.3 million people.
So
I
6.3
think.
million just come here illegally,
That's
and that's
terrible.
just okay.
11 million, 12 million at least.
No, we're gonna give it. We're gonna
At least 12 million.
I'm just using his number for the sake of this argument. So 6.2
That's ridiculous. 6 million. Get the.
I'm not
Get the
saying
hell
that.
outta here
I'm not
with
saying that's.
All
I
right,
think that's
let's
a lot
fit it.
higher.
Let's fit it. All right,
That's
let's
some
just say, let's
bullshit.
go up to 12 million. Let's go
Okay,
for
so
12.
12 million people coming here illegally.
Because
That's
that's
okay.
even
We just will
low.
accept that.
know what the country does?
Are we supposed to accept 12 million people coming here, breaking our laws to come in here? Are we supposed to accept that?
Absolutely not.
It's because it's
I just
due
need a
to
yes-
them
just a yes or
actually
no.
seeking assailum.
And so
So they're allowed to break
It's
laws.
not an
if people
open.
claim
No, it's
to be
not an
seeking
open. It's
asylum,
not a.
that's enough for them to be able to come here.
Dude, I can't talk. Let me finish. It's not a yes or no question because it's open. It's an open-ended question because it's not that. It's complicated because they don't just.
It's complicated.
It's just
you
yeah.
commit a crime, then you
Hold on, let
leave.
me-
Period.
You're pivoting.
No, I'm not. Let's just go off the context. Let's say 100 people come into our country, and they got over the border. All of them seek asylum. Do we not give them their court date?
I got my question is
They can't.
okay. Let's say
Mexico can't
But
seek
hold
asylum.
on, answer the question. Answer the question.
No, but
Answer the
you're
question.
wrong. You're wrong.
Why do they never? Why do
Hold
they
on,
never
but
stop at Mexico?
why are we pivoting?
Why
No.
is there no,
Why are we
okay,
pivoting
I
away
just
from the
asked you
actual
a question.
conversation?
I
The
asked you a question.
context that I just gave you.
12 million versus 100 is two different things. Make a better point.
But I'm saying no. It's just I'm
Too
making
elementary.
I'm making a small number so
Yo,
it
Cisco
makes
Tech,
more
you
logical
seem
sense.
familiar.
I
So if they
understand.
go over to our border,
Don't make a small number, make a round number.
All right, let's do 50 then.
Wait,
50
stop,
people
stop,
went
stop,
over
stop,
our,
stop,
our
stop,
border
stop,
and
stop.
broke
We
and
just
got
asked
over the
someone- we just
border
asked someone
and
else.
made it into
Yo,
U.S. and
hey,
said,
hey, we just asked someone else. What's up, Cisco Tech? What's up? Are you from? You been here before?
I can recall that, but
Okay,
no, I'm doing good. What's up?
But go ahead,
All right.
Tim. Go ahead, Tim. I just want to see that.
So 50 people got over our border and got into our country. ICE found them, detained them, and they said, "I'm just seeking asylum." Do we not process them people?
Do we? I got a question.
Yeah,
I got a
we
question.
don't have to.
Remember how I
We don't
say?
have to
Remember how I say it's
process
not
them.
yes or no, right? Under the law, don't we have expedited removal processes where they don't go in front of a judge? Under the law.
Yes.
Not when it comes to asylum seekers. It doesn't
under
apply
the-
for
you told
asylum
me, so you
seekers.
told me we don't have the ability to remove someone expeditiously under the law without
We
sending to the
don't.
judge.
We don't recognize Mexico as
not
asylum
what,
seekers.
yeah, it's mostly I think that law is really affected by people who are in our country that was committed violent acts, and then also for people who overstayed a visa or something like that.
No, it's a process that
You
allows
can
immigration
remove. You
officers
can remove
to
an.
quickly deport certain non-citizens without a full hearing before an immigration judge. Typically,
We'll do it though.
typically those who lack proper entry document or found to have entered the country through fraud or misrepresentation.
If they've been here less than 14 days or less than 100 miles from the border, you can be deported without due process. That is the constitutional law.
It's just funny. I'm sorry to butt in. But it's just funny that we find that illegal immigrants are a problem, but all the stuff that Trump has done, nobody see it though.
What did he do that was a problem to you?
Because of the tariffs that he's putting on, hurting the consumers.
So
That's a
I got
reciprocal
a
tariff.
question. When another
But you don't have a problem with that?
When a country puts a
It's
tariff on our product,
reciprocal.
is that okay? When a country puts a tariff on our product, is that okay?
But there was no problem
We don't put
before.
blanket
There was
tariffs.
no problem.
We don't put blanket
everything was
tariffs on
cheaper
our
in
country.
America,
Cisco.
man.
What were you saying? There wasn't no
Cisco.
problem. So you
I
told me
mean,
that
and then-
everybody was
because-
people, we didn't have poverty, we didn't have
Okay.
economic
Menace.
issues.
Hold
You
on.
told me
Okay,
that
so,
we didn't have
I mean-
two quarters
real
of back-to-back
quick,
negative
real
GDP
quick.
growth.
But he has a problem with China. But if you go to
What is
Trump's
the difference
tower,
between
all
blanket
these souvenirs
tariffs?
are made in
Sir,
China.
Hold on.
Hey,
Guys.
Cisco.
What is
Cisco,
the
did you
difference
vote for
between?
Biden?
Hold on, real quick. What is the difference between blanket tariffs and targeted tariffs?
Literally,
Well, okay, what's the point? What's the point?
No, I'm asking the host. What is the difference between
One is
blanket tariffs
blanketed, one
and
is
selective?
targeted.
Like what? No, that's not the case. Blanketed means they're tariffing everything in the country that gets imported. Targeted tariffs is selected amount of industries. Like
I think all of us know that.
America.
What's the point? All of us know that. It's
The host didn't know that.
clues. It's
The host
context
didn't know
It
that.
clues,
wasn't
brother.
between
host didn't do
targeted and targeted and blanket. I just said it's literally in the name. One is targeted, one is blanket. Like, is that not obvious?
Target. Okay, then what is the difference between what Biden's administration did with tariffs, and what is the difference between Trump's administration and what they're doing?
Well, you
Biden
mean the
basically
one
kept
that
the
Biden
tariff
kept
that
from
Trump-
Trump?
that
You
Trump
mean he
put in
kept
place.
Trump terrorists? Yeah, he kept Trump
No,
terrorists.
But
well,
Biden
also
kept Trump's
Biden
tariffs and added
actually,
more tariffs to China.
yeah, Biden actually added more tariffs,
From
but
the
he
one
didn't
more
add it.
tariffs
He
to
didn't.
China.
But the difference being Trump's tariffs was
50%.
just blanketed. No, they was blanketed. So he was targeting. He was just targeting China for every
So did
industry.
Biden keep Trump's
where
tariff?
no,
Hey, let me ask you, how many things do you
kept
see in China
selected few.
made in America?
He kept selected few
Nothing.
tariffs.
But
Nothing
you're
He also
saying that
from America.
Can I actually finish? Can I please finish?
Man, you
Okay,
had
but,
the mic for an hour, man. Move
it
on
makes no
past John.
sense, though.
Keep talking.
It makes no
You had
sense
the mic for an
because
You're not
hour.
educated enough
it
to have
makes
this
no sense
conversation.
because you're talking bad
Anyway,
about
You've
China.
been talking for an hour. Nobody wants to hear you keep talking. Let everybody else get a point.
I
in.
want to hear Cisco. Let's hear Cisco hear his bullshit.
Okay, but
Let's
okay,
hear
so
your BS. Let's
okay,
hear
but
this
no,
shit.
this is not BS
I feel like
because I mean Trump talking about bad about China and China and China, but if you go to Trump Tower and you go buy their souvenirs into his Trump Tower,
made in China.
everything's made.
Is Trump?
Yeah, now
Alright.
ask
Is Trump the
yourself,
one that's
go to
Everything's made in
China.
China,
Hold on,
man.
bro.
Go to
I mean,
China
Trump
and
the
see
one
what
that's
kind
putting
of items
American
made there.
first.
Is Trump the
Everything's
one
made in
that's
the
China.
point,
No,
though.
no, listen.
Excellent.
Is Trump
He's
the
Yeah,
one
putting
that's
because
American
going
China
around
brought
and
to China.
making the
That's the reason
purchases?
why our
Dude, come
economy
on,
the
let
way
me
it
talk.
is.
Can I
Okay, let
please?
me
Can I
talk.
please?
Let him talk, John.
Okay,
John,
he
let
talks
him
about
talk.
putting American first, yet he's hurting the consumers, which is Americans, by putting all these tariffs. What?
It
You
hurts
don't
when you
think
pull
you're
the
gonna pay
Band-Aid
more
off,
now?
man.
Okay, when he says
Yeah.
that, we should buy just American cars. What American cars built here and assemble? Yes, but what parts are made in America for these cars?
That's what
I
we're
want to
trying to
know why.
change, Cisco.
Well, I know that
That's what we're
Dodge
trying
just
to
So
pulled
change.
that
out
We're
of
trying to get
you're
them
saying
to
Canada.
take
that
their gas
Dodge
back.
just pulled out of Canada and went down back into the United States. So
okay,
I
open
know
a
that the
Tesla.
tariffs are working.
Okay, open a
What?
Tesla and see if it's made in fucking America. I'm sorry. And see if it's made in America all the way. I mean, from bumper to bumper. I'm talking
Probably
from the
not.
front
Probably
end to
not.
the
Quick.
rear end.
Could I
That
please
We're
finish?
tariffing
Certain
So
China.
now
Please
it's
Bring
gonna
their
finish,
cost
products.
more
Cisco.
money to go
hasn't
purchase a car. It's gonna cost more money for you to buy parts for your car. So it's gonna cost you more money for everything. And you don't
That's
see
right.
that? You still bow for Trump? Are you
We're not
serious?
Well, see,
bowing for
this is
Trump. We're
the
not
problem
bowing.
that you
We're
get.
just not
Nobody's
dealing with
bowing to
Biden.
Trump, and that's the problem
No
that
one's
y'all have.
bowing. That's yeah.
Nobody's bowing
Okay,
to
so
Bowing
Trump.
to
We're
We're a
Hold on,
team
now,
now.
stop,
It's a
stop,
We're
team
stop,
talking
now.
about
So,
These
criminals.
can also start
one quick thing.
0%.
Trump put a
Global
10%
funding, man.
tariff on
Good for
a
everybody.
blanket tariff, right? And then he did reciprocal tariff that were targeted. So that's what Trump
Right.
did. So he did a 10% tariff.
no.
But
These are targeted tariffs.
Okay,
These are
so
targeted.
why
He
is
did a
the
mixture
Dow
of
Jones keep
he did a
going?
Targeted
mixture of
tariffs.
tariffs. He did a mixture
Dude,
of
man,
tariffs, not just
why
a
is the
blanket.
Dow Jones keep dropping though?
He did a mixture
Because
of
the
tariffs,
market
not
has to
just
reset,
daggone-
brother.
Yo.
The market has to reset. It's okay.
Yo, chill out. Trump. First of all, Trump did a 10% blanket tariff, and then he's doing reciprocal tariff that are targeted for specific things. So y'all saying that he's doing every tariff is just blanketed is wrong.
It's not. You're right.
it's not.
But the market has to reset, man. Stop clenching your butt
But
cheeks.
how do
It's
we?
gonna be
How
fine,
do we
man.
know what?
This has
How
happened
do we know
before.
what country? How do we know what country got
Before we went to a
tariffs on?
depression.
Look it up.
You look it
You
up,
could
man.
look up which countries are targeted, which countries are blanket. It's a blanket.
Yeah,
Instead
but
of spewing
math he did.
spewing
hold on,
out
the
false
math that
stuff, look it up first before you say it.
Yeah, okay. The math he did wasn't he just did if one country, let's say like Japan, he said that Japan is doing tariffs of 24% on us. And everybody was wondering
Japan
where
just
you get these
sided with
numbers
us, man.
from.
So no, okay.
Japan
Let's
just
say
sided
Trump,
with us.
let's say Trump
And then
said,
side with
what
us.
you want to talk about?
Yeah, they did.
The Japan
No, they
tariff.
did not. No, they did
Japan,
not.
South Korea,
They did not.
Argentina. Okay, dude.
Yeah, all,
Okay, imagine right now.
It was
It's only
Japan.
been
all
less than
those
2
countries
months.
just came to the
Japan.
table, man. All those countries just came to the
Let me
table
ask you.
to
Let me ask you a
negotiate.
question.
Stop,
Hold on.
stop,
What
stop,
happened?
stop, stop,
No,
stop.
they
You talking
all
about
came to
Japan,
the country
right?
to actually negotiate.
You talking
Yes,
about Japan? What are you talking about
Japan, Taiwan, and China all just actually teamed up against us.
They didn't team up.
Where you
against
where,
us.
where you see that at, brother?
Stop. No. I know
Man,
what you're
no,
talking
they
about.
You
I know
can
what you're
look
talking
this
about.
up. He did it by
They
deficit.
didn't team up
He did it
against
by
us.
the
They're just trying
deficit
to have like
trading.
you know how we have the USMCA with Canada, China, and not Canada, America, and Mexico. They're just trying to do something similar with China, Taiwan, not Taiwan,
Yeah,
China,
but these two countries
China,
hated each other
Japan,
prior
and
to
South Korea.
the
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do a similar thing like we have in
prior to
America.
that. But prior to that,
Okay, so
Okay, let him do that. Let him do that.
So
prior to
we
that,
have an enemy as Russia. We're not putting tariffs on Russia.
No,
We have
time out.
sanctions on
Russia's not our
Russia.
enemy. Russia is not our enemy.
Hey,
Don't be throwing that nonsense
Russia is
out
our
there.
enemy.
Russia is
Russia is
sanctioned.
our
We don't
enemy.
buy anything from them, dude.
Russia is
Come
our
on,
enemy.
man.
They can put tariffs on the
Host,
penguins.
move on. These
Hey,
dudes
one
don't know what
mic,
the hell they
one
talking
mic,
about.
one mic. Y'all
They
have
don't
to
know what
talk-
they talking about.
You have to
Stop
let someone
listening to them.
finish talking.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about.
Let someone finish
Russia
talking.
is sanctioned. You wouldn't even brought up Russia if you knew what you was talking about.
Big dog, we gotta let someone finish talking before. Let's not interrupt because it just doesn't make
All right,
sense for
they're just not educated enough to actually
Bro,
have this
this is
conversation.
exactly what I'm talking about.
You're
You can't
not
just start
educated,
talking.
John.
You gotta let people finish talking,
You
John.
just saying nobody's educated. You just said, what about Russia? Shut up.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you're not
Who wanna go?
educated,
Who
John.
wanna go next? Who wanna make a say? Who is Russia ally or Russia or Do we got sanctions on Russia or do we
Ally.
got terrorists on Russia? Come on, what do y'all think's going on?
Well, Russia is
Russia's
not
not
a.
an ally.
Yeah, he's not an ally.
Trump
So
put,
we go.
Trump
So,
put
so
terrorists
we can go to
on.
war with Russia.
Where
or
he's
just
not our
like-
enemy. Well, he's not our enemy either, though. That's the thing. He may
No.
not be our. They may not be our ally, but listen, it's not over there. He's not. Putin's not trying to come at us. He doesn't want any. He doesn't want any part, any smoke from Trump, and he knows that. And we're over here like, just leave us the fuck alone, and we'll leave you the fuck alone. And Putin's a no-nonsense kind of guy like fucking Trump. That's why everybody fucking hates him across the world.
Yeah,
Same
because
thing
Trump
with
is a
fucking Trump.
dictator.
It doesn't mean they're fucking buddies.
Not a freaking
Quit
dictator.
fucking throwing that shit around. And it doesn't mean we're fucking enemies either.
No,
So that's
yo,
another
yo,
thing.
let me
Our
say-
enemy
let me-
is China. Our enemy is China.
Let me say something.
Free
This
loan
is
from
how-
a bank.
Yo,
His country's only responsible
hey,
for
hey,
that.
let me say something. This is how you view America's relationship with Russia. Hey, yo, y'all make some stuff. We make some stuff. We want to buy some stuff. You make. You want to buy some stuff. We make. Are we gonna be boys? Are we gonna be homies? Probably not. But hey, yo, when it comes to money, let's make some money moves. Like we don't gotta be
Exactly.
boys with Russia.
Exactly.
We could just like, hey, yo, they got money. We got rich stuff. They got stuff. We
If
got
it
money.
don't
Let's
make
go
money,
trade.
don't make
Yeah, but what's made in America though? What's made in America?
That's what
What's
we're
made
trying
in
to
America?
change,
I'm asking you that
keep
question.
asking that question.
That's
and
the
all
lot of
that.
things
That's
are
what
made
we're
in
Nothing's made in
trying to
America.
Like
change.
a lot of things, like what though?
The
what?
We built
the car
warships.
stop. The car that is purchased the most by Americans is made in America. The Ford
What car?
F-Series.
What car? What car?
F-150.
What car is made in America?
F-150.
Ah, dude, please, bro. Dude, come on. You can't say
All
that.
right, here we go.
No, stop.
The
What
next-
you mean? Wait, stop,
the next
stop.
cast iron.
What you mean?
Crayola,
I'm an auto mechanic, bro.
Where's the
That's what I do for a living.
Weber,
Where's the F-150 made?
Airstream.
Okay,
Louisville
I do
Slugger.
this for live, bro.
Wilson.
You can't lie to
Where
me,
is
man.
it made?
Jack Daniels
I'm not
bourbon.
lying to you. I'm telling you.
Jack Daniels
products.
whiskey.
Okay, you want to say it's a sample here? Yes, I believe you.
Where is it made? Where is it made?
Crayola crayons are made in the United States.
As a
KitchenAid,
Marine, I like that.
All products are made in the United States.
Where is the F-150
I'm
made?
telling you, where do you
Weber,
think?
Parts. The
Grills.
part, there's parts,
United
water
States.
coolers,
God.
different things that Ford has that's not made in America. I see where you're
Nah,
going.
you guys are
certain
brainwashed,
parts,
man.
certain
Where
parts
is the-
aren't made in
no,
America.
parts.
No, let him
Okay.
answer your question.
Certain
Let him
parts.
answer your question. Where is the F-150 made?
It's assembled in
Everywhere,
America.
dude. Assemble here,
Then
but
then where?
parts
if
made
it's-
everywhere else.
Where? Where?
true.
Where?
That's true.
Everywhere else, like where?
Okay, one of them is Mexico and Canada.
What
True.
part? Where's
That's
that
true.
part?
What part? Every part that you want to talk. You talk about fuel pumps. You're talking about
You make
suspension.
me sound
You
like you
want to
know where
talk
every
about
part of it is
right
made.
because I work as an auto mechanic.
You work do you work at the assembly plant?
No, he can read
Assembly
the
is
packages, bro.
different. I just told you that right
He can
now.
read the packages he get host.
Yeah,
They
you
come-
can
they come from
just
other
put it
places, bro.
together.
No,
Yeah.
is that the OEM or is that the a version that that's the spice for what it
OEM,
needs to be done?
AC
OEM,
Delco,
bro.
AC
OEM.
Delco, which is Chevrolet, AC Delco, GMC, is built in China and Mexico, buddy. So when you
it's
try
not-
to buy
Tesla,
so where- so you
Tesla
tell me-
Y, Tesla 3, and the F-150 XL base is all built fully in America.
no, it's not, dude. Come on,
Yes,
come on.
it is. If
I'm
I-
gonna
if
prove
I
you
could go
wrong
live,
because
would
I
tell
do
you.
Okay,
this for a
Seth,
living,
no,
bro.
it's not. Come on,
Prove
just
me wrong,
look it
bro.
up and find a source.
I just told you.
What's the source?
I'm not lying.
Those three
Every
cars
part that
were
I
fully
get
made.
is made in China
I don't know you, so I'm not lying.
You
You
assi-
trust
do
me,
you
bro,
a-
it's
do you
not.
Okay,
assemble
okay, I just told you.
45%
Wait,
of the
wait.
things that make up the
Wait,
45% of the
OEM,
things that make
that's
up the
OEM
F-150
parts.
are made in Mexico and South Korea.
Say what
There
now?
you go.
Say
Okay,
it
check
again?
it out.
It's the base.
Wait, wait,
I bought a
It's the
thermostat.
base.
45% of the
God.
45% of the components that make up the F-150 are built in Mexico and South Korea.
I
believe that.
I'll give.
I believe
believe
that.
I won't argue with that.
I'll give
That's
you that
true.
too.
But what's the
I
point?
know
What's
some.
that point,
There's
though?
some
The
little
base.
stuff.
So we
little
do
stuff.
make stuff in America.
We don't
No, we
let
do.
them make
I'm
a
not
frame
saying
or
we're
nothing
not.
like that. that
You're
let you
under
make the
impression that
plastic parts.
You're under
That's
the
it.
impression that I'm saying we don't make anything outside of America. That's what you seem to think I'm trying to say.
That's
Oh,
right.
we go to isolation.
That's right.
I've never said that.
Down to tires. We don't
I
make
never-
tires either.
Stop. I've never
Hey,
said that we
that's
make
the same
everything in
thing goes
America.
for other countries. The same thing goes for other countries. They're not making all their products aren't made just solely from products from their country. I can guarantee you that, and you can't prove me that bullshit's happening.
I just told you, I'm a
My
mechanic.
major thing,
I
my
can
major
see
thing
it.
is we need to go from being
You're-
a
you're
service-based
buying-
economy to actually making stuff. We should not just
If
be
you're a
like
mechanic,
certain
then
things.
you're
How long is
putting
that
on-
gonna take though?
It shouldn't take that long because we have a lot of the stuff. Like when we're like selling America's middle class out to foreign countries, we still have a lot of that equipment around. We still have a lot of those factories around. They didn't just destroy the factories and take them down brick by brick. Some of those factories still exist. So it might be like a year of putting in more updated equipment inside that factory so it could actually start churning out certain products. Like you act like everything that we have in America is made outside of America. That's not true.
The point of Trump wanting to do what he's doing and bring the jobs back to America, man. I'd rather pay a couple dollars more to have people employed in my country as of right now, and then later on it decreases because we're making it in America. That's just what he's doing. Look at the future part of it. He's been in office for 90 days. He made a bunch of things happen, and everybody's scared. The hell you scared for?
Yeah.
And another thing,
The stock market went down. It's
everybody-
readjusting. The stock market always has to remarket itself, brother.
Everybody's saying that sooner or later we're gonna go to war with China over Taiwan. If we're gonna go to war with China over Taiwan, shouldn't we produce more stuff by ourselves so China can't just cut us off before the war, so we have to force to give up Taiwan?
Yep. That's
come on now,
you on
everyone's
A1.
late 2020s, early 2030, early 2040, China's expected to make a move on Taiwan. So if they produce everything that we make in a majority of the stuff that we make or we use, shouldn't we start making stuff our own so we don't become dependent on them and say, you know what, Taiwan, we don't want to lose all the stuff we have from China. So
Do you
we're gonna
guys
let y'all
know
get
why?
taken
Do
over.
you guys know why? Do you guys know why everything is made in those countries out there?
Cheap labor.
Yeah. It's,
There you go.
Are you guys willing to work for cheaper out here in America?
No, they won't.
No, it's not.
Why?
We wouldn't have to work for cheaper over here in America.
That's the only
It's
way.
just-
We have a federal
Let me
minimum
finish,
wage
let me
of
finish,
$7.
let me
So
finish.
if you guys are
Finish
willing to
now,
go to
or you
like
gonna let me finish?
$3,
Are you gonna let me finish? Can I finish? We're not gonna work.
Go ahead.
We're not gonna work for cheaper in America. Is that these businesses? Hey, that cheaper labor in China doesn't really matter no more because they got a tariff anyway. So if I might as well make it in America where it's gonna be the same price at the end of the
Well,
day.
that's what
I gotta
at the end of the day, we're gonna pay more money.
Come on, bro. Come on.
And so you don't think a worker's gonna get in there, have to work to produce that stuff, and realize, you know what, I am making a product that makes some guy $1 billion. I deserve more money as the guy who produces the product. Is that not going to raise the price?
Why would you rather China get it then? Why would you rather China get the money
You know what
then?
could happen? Like these factory jobs would probably be like what, 18 to 20 cents an hour. Because that's when I worked in a factory. That's what I was probably making and stuff around that.
You want it cheaper so they can get the money from us and then build more war tools to go against us, to fight us. That don't make sense. I'll pay $3 more and keep it here, and then have to worry about empowering China.
If they raise their prices and stuff, people just not gonna buy their products. So that means sooner or later they're gonna have to eat the
What do
price
you mean
of
they're
the
not?
tariffs. So you tell me, so if someone raise their prices too high, you're gonna still buy it no matter what? There's certain things. A lot of the stuff that we're complaining about is a luxury good, or something that we could buy another version of, or something that we don't necessarily need to survive. You're acting like everything that's getting a tariff is something that we need to survive.
But
competition
though.
brings prices down, fellas.
They said it a long time ago. Even Reagan said the tariffs was a bad thing to do.
Get us all paid.
They
Reagan
said that, dude.
Okay. So you tell me,
They say that.
So you tell me,
Reagan
it's
had
better for
tariffs
our
too,
country
though.
to be dependent on another country?
That's all y'all saying, really.
You saying
I thought we were
Okay,
doing.
but,
I thought we were all
okay.
capitalists and we're all doing business. I thought we were all doing business amongst other countries.
Okay, so why do people still?
Capitalist. I'm a capitalist.
It's
I
gotten
believe
out of
that
hand.
We need some guardrails on capitalism. I believe if we allow
So
capitalism,
then you don't
to reign-
believe in free markets. Then.
I literally
Then you
said
don't believe in free
I
markets.
literally said I'm not a free market capitalist. I believe capitalism with some guardrails.
But we had free market.
And
You
how
know,
is it
even
free market
Canada
when
came
other countries
out
are
and
able to
said,
tariff us?
That's what we want to get is free market, so everybody can get rich. You can come
but
up
that's
with an
what
idea and
Canada
sell
said,
it
that
at
they
full
had
price.
free market.
It'll be
Mexico
great.
said the same thing.
But
There
tell them
was
to
a
take tariffs off us then.
free market.
Canada does not have free market, bro.
Take the
No,
take
they
the
did.
tariffs
No,
off
no.
us.
They came out and said that they had free market, but if Trump wants to retaliate on tariffs, then they're gonna retaliate on that too.
I got no.
They had tariffs on us,
And
man.
so
Everybody had
Mexico as
tariffs on
well.
us.
298%
You
trade.
don't think that's an issue that we're becoming dependent and reliant on our goods from other countries, especially some of the countries that are adversarial to us?
But we've done that already. I
So you
mean,
think that's a good thing that we're
90% of
$138
people
trillion
always
a day.
look at the other. We had an option to buy cheaper stuff. Now
So
we're
you
not
saying
gonna
that
have
it's
an
better to
option
support-
because
it's better to
now you're
support
gonna pay
China's
more money
economy.
though.
You think it's better to
But you're
support
gonna help China's economy, brother.
So what?
Why would you keep wanting to do that?
So if China goes to war over
China
Taiwan,
can't
are we
afford
not
to
going
do
to
it.
become dependent? Are we dependent on the stuff that they produce? And can you say, you know what?
Yes.
Use that as leverage so we don't go to war over Taiwan?
This is what I don't understand, dude.
So you're not
You know,
answering
he
the
talks
question.
about economy, but then he goes and buys their products.
He's not the one
Like
that's
everybody
making
else
it.
in the
Right,
world.
he owns the business. He's not the one that's going and doing procurement.
But his products are okay. Go to Trump Tower and
It's
go to
Trump
see what he's
himself
got
going out
displayed.
and calling, hey, what's your prices for this? What's your prices for? No,
It's
he's
because
not.
Democrats shipped all of our jobs
So
overseas.
how does that make sense
And
though?
Amer-
because they
Him
own
buying
US
from China?
nationalists,
Him
billionaires.
buying from China?
Oh my goodness, are you really?
That's why he's trying to change it, my brother.
Hey, them gold shoes
Okay, then-
Trump was
US
selling.
national billionaires
Them gold
shipped
shoes
all
Trump
of
was
our
selling.
jobs
Where were those
overseas.
No,
made?
if he was
Were those
against
made in
it, why he
America?
keeps buying that? If he was against it, why does he purchase stuff from China?
He's
Because you
trying to
can't
make
get
it
it
where
in
we don't have to do
America.
that anymore.
If we need to make it
Oh my
America,
God!
that's
But
why.
I'm just telling you that.
Because we should make
How
it
come he didn't buy
America.
American made though?
Because
How come
you
he
can't
didn't make
make it in
Because we don't make
America.
those
They
things in
sh-
America. We don't make trinkets in America no more.
That's what I'm
can.
saying.
It's not.
We can. That's what
impossible.
he's trying to do now, though.
But
You just gotta put it. You gotta bring
by
it
the
back
time
here
we
first
start
to do
building
it.
companies, by the time we start building companies here,
Just want to
that's
share.
gonna be the end of Trump being a president, and then you're gonna
We
get
don't,
another
bro.
president,
A lot
and
of
he's
the
not
stuff.
gonna agree with that,
A lot
and
of
we
the
go back to
companies still
zero. What are
already
you talking
exist.
about?
Hopefully, JD Vance or somebody else goes right behind him.
Bro, no, stop. A lot of these buildings that have the machines to
Oh
produce
my
some
God,
of the
Jerry
stuff,
Ben talked
we
shit
already
about
have.
Trump before, and now he's with him.
Okay, and
You can't change your mind.
Kamala called Joe Biden a racist, and she was against Joe Biden during the
And she was the
during
vice president with him.
Yeah, she was. She
Yeah,
was
but
debating against
she
Joe
had
Biden,
better
and then
understanding of it.
a better understanding of what
She called it, dude.
she called.
She
what?
said if you get Trump, he's gonna try to raise tariffs,
He Trump
and then
said
it's
that
gonna
himself.
go downhill. And which
He
he
said he was
did.
going to do it, brother.
He
He
said
said
it
Look at the Dow
himself, bro.
Jones, bro.
That's what he ran
Oh,
on.
stop.
77 million people.
You think
Dude,
are you
Dude,
saying
you
the
voted
Dow
for that,
Jones
man.
is the only
Yeah,
marker for the economy being good that you're using?
Well, it's gonna affect your retirement, your Social Security. It's
you're
gonna
saying-
affect a
you
lot of
saying
people,
if the Dow Jones
and the
going down,
401k.
You saying the Dow?
In the short term.
Oh, it went down big time.
Yo, so that's the
It
market.
didn't
That's
go
the
just-
Not lower than
Oh my
Biden's.
So you tell me when the Dow Jones going bad is the market we use to determine if the economy is doing good, right?
I was definitely
So
talking about
when
that.
It wasn't
everybody-
as bad
so
as when
when
Biden was there.
When the Dow Jones was going up and everybody's saying, I
What
can't
was-
afford to eat, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, our economy was good, right?
Right?
So you're saying when everybody couldn't afford stuff, our economy was good because the Dow Jones was up.
Well, it wasn't as bad as when Trump joined in right now.
No,
That's
Bro,
not
the stock market.
I never seen the Dow Jones go that low though.
But that's
How long-
only
wait,
affecting
stop.
the 10%
How
of the
long you been
richest
following the
people in the
Dow
world, bro.
20%.
How long you been following the Dow Jones?
Yeah, because you wrong if you ain't never seen it drop like this. It's dropped
If
plenty
you
of
never
times.
seen this, you haven't been following it that long.
Yeah, you haven't followed.
Yeah,
Biden-
if you never
Biden's
seen it,
was over
this happened many
20%.
times. Many times.
Biden's
Every
Dow
president.
dropped 20%.
Not this drastic of a fall, though.
Not this drastic of fall? Okay.
What are you
5%
talking about? Not this
in 2
drastic of a
days?
fall. Look at Biden's. Biden was over 20%. Trump's dropped between 5 and 7.
5 to 7%.
We can't talk about during the Rona because the world stopped.
I get that.
No, that was when he done the American Save Act when the economists told him not to because it's going to drive inflation through the roof.
Trying to get the world when the world stopped, and he didn't want the country to fall off of a cliff.
Okay, and now we're in inflation when the economist told him not to. And it was a
Happens when you
50-50
give away
vote,
free money to
and
people who didn't
Kamala
earn it
was the
because
last vote.
nobody was working.
Having this conversation. With
You know,
people that don't
I got a
even-
question. I got a question. We're not gonna count the runners, so we're gonna start at 2022. Okay? Can y'all see the graph? Do y'all see those dips?
Yep.
Y'all see those
Yep.
dips, right? Y'all see those dips,
Those
right?
all down dips.
But
Yep.
we still have a trend of it going upwards.
Yes, in the short term that it goes down, it's going to go back up. O'Leary was one of the richest men out here, just said, why are we worried about that? Especially if you're not a super billionaire. Why are you worried about that right now? Half the people in America don't even put money in a 401k. Probably 5 of y'all on this group chat right now don't even
That's a
probably have a
government-made
401k.
retirement plan.
3 of y'all don't have a
government-made
401k.
retirement plan.
Come on,
And
man.
it wasn't
Y'all-
401k wasn't even supposed to be a retirement plan. It was supposed to get people back trusting the government to play in the stock market. That's what a 401k was.
Okay, but why do you guys still believe in Trump, though?
No,
I mean,
stop.
What's
You
good
said that
about
Dow-
believe in Biden.
What's good
Did you
about
see
him?
Wait, Cisco. Did you see the Dow Jones going down under Biden when that chart I just showed you?
Yeah, no, I saw that, but look
So
at what
you talking
what
about
the
it going
Dow
down.
Jones.
Wait, so you said that
Dude,
you watch
come
the stock
on.
market, but you just saw it going down just now.
I don't watch it every day, but
You don't really watch
look how
it,
bad
bro.
it got, though.
Bro, we're not.
Look how bad it got.
You didn't see how bad it got under Biden, or did I need to bring the chart back up?
It wasn't as bad as it is now.
Hey, can I offer this to you, young? Can I offer this to you? Offer this to you, sir. When you get a chance, go look up Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, and what he said about the stock market right now. He said, for those of us that don't have the money to invest in the stock market at the high levels as the rich do, this is the perfect opportunity for the middle America to go and buy. You should actually enjoy the dip in the stock market right now because you can actually go and purchase stocks at a lower price because the market is going to go back up. And when it does, you will make money.
When?
Oh, it will. Don't
But
worry,
when?
it will. I'll tell you before this summer it'll go back up.
I mean, it's going to.
It'll go back up before this summer, I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
I hope you're right.
What my
Said that
point
in
is
the
to you
1930s
guys,
as well.
my point to you is we sit here as the common man that don't own a business, don't have the money that they have, and we think we know better. And then you have the wealthiest people in the world who have been watching this stuff, and they're telling us, Warren Buffett being one of them, who's saying
So are you
and
rich?
saying to
You
look at
make
it. No,
good
I'm
money?
not.
Warren
I'm not
Buffett
rich at all. That's my point.
Okay, so when
Who's not
everything goes up
purchasing in the stock market?
and you
That
can't
Warren
afford
Buffett?
that, what are you gonna do?
What do you?
What are you going to do? What do we all do
What do
as
we- what does that
Americans? We
even mean?
freaking put our boots on and go to work.
Yes, and I'm going to go to work like everybody else. But if you're so
No,
worried,
I
my
didn't
point
say
is
you're
this.
not gonna go
My
to
point
work.
is this: if you're so worried about the stock market, like you say you are, then go follow the people that are expert in this and listen to what they're telling you, versus just sitting here saying, "I
Okay.
don't." How do you like Trump? I don't. It doesn't make sense because you don't know. You don't
But what has he
understand it
done
enough to
better?
know.
What has he done better though?
Hey,
Other
Cisco,
than just
do you invest in the stock market, Cisco?
no, I don't. But
Then why are you
I can
worried
see
about
everything
That's
going
my
up.
point.
though.
That's exactly what you know. You
I mean,
you
you're
can't talk
talking.
about something you don't know.
You're
It makes you know.
gaslighting,
Yeah,
dude.
you don't
What do you
know.
mean I don't know?
You're just because he just asked you if you did and you said you don't. So my
come
point to
on.
you is if you want to talk about it, go be
That'd be
smarter
like
about
me
it.
I
sitting
want to
here
talk about
standing
it
up
Go
for
learn
school,
about it.
knowing
Go
about
learn
Okay,
about it and
so
listen
you're
to the
saying that
people that are smart.
you're okay to pay more for as a consumer. You agree to that?
Yes, I do
Have you
agree to
seen
that.
that
If more
happen?
stuff is made
So
in
you probably
America,
make good
I
money
absolutely
then.
do. You know why I
Hey,
believe in that?
hey,
Because I believe that Americans should have more opportunities in our country
And that sounds
and not
How's
give
that an
fantastic.
opportunities to
opportunity?
everybody else in other
Fantastic.
How's
countries
that an
Hey,
with my
that
tax
sounds
opportunity?
dollars.
fantastic. That sounds fantastic. When Trump was selling those gold shoes, what country was those gold shoes made in?
China. They
Korea.
came from China.
Amazing.
Korea.
I thought it was America first. Why didn't you have them produced here? We don't make
Because
shoes in America. Yes,
again,
we
like
can
I
produce
said,
shoes here, but why didn't you make a factory
U.S.
for it?
national
It makes shoes in America.
billionaires
Business to do
sent
so.
our jobs over to China and Korea.
Why
wait,
didn't he just start a factory and build one? Why didn't he have Elon? Why didn't he have Elon who has factories out here building shoes?
Capitalism.
He's a tech guy. He doesn't have anything to do with manufacturing.
Stop. So the people that say that Trump is buying Chinese products, right? I got a question. So you support
He
that we
is?
make? So you support that we make the stuff in America?
What do we make in
That's what you guys
America
are
though?
complaining about. You guys were complaining about us being dependent on China, and your president was dependent on China.
Do
You
you
can't have it both
support
ways,
that
sir.
we make the
You can't
stuff?
have it both
What
ways,
do we
brother.
make in
You're
America?
trying to
What
have it
do
both
we
ways. You
make
said
in America?
we shouldn't be dependent on China, but your president was dependent on China to sell a product.
Dude,
He wasn't dependent.
He was just smart, bro. It was cheaper to make it there.
I was just smart for depending on China. Fantastic.
So do you support
That's
that
what we
make
did. The
Wait,
Democrats sent
stop,
all the
stop.
jobs
Do you
overseas.
support that we make it in America? Do y'all support the
I
ones
don't
that
support that president, so I wouldn't want those
Do you
nasty ass
support
gold
that
shoes.
we make the stuff make more stuff in America?
But what's making America though?
Bro, we already answered that
So-
question.
so-
No.
Sounds like y'all just don't like Donald Trump as a
So
man.
you're asking
you
me
not his
support that
policies.
we make more stuff
we are
in
more
America?
industrious
Y'all
as a
just brought
nation.
this up.
You're
Do
asking
you
me if we were more industrious.
We don't make shit in America though.
So do you support that we make more stuff in America? Yes or no?
So you want us to be more industrious like we were back in the day when you couldn't go swimming in
So you're
the
not
rivers,
gonna
lakes,
answer
and
the
oceans
question,
with
then.
all the
So
pollution.
you're not gonna answer the
That's what
question.
you
We're
want.
talking
So
about
you're not
products,
So
answering the
I
man.
just want to know which side
Answer
you
the
want.
question.
If you want us to
over
make
the
more
time.
stuff,
Wait a
cool.
minute. Answer the
You're
question.
cool with slave
Send the trash
labor,
over
and you're
time.
cool with shit in our.
Let the,
Can y'all answer the
Say,
question,
man,
please?
nobody's making a manufacturing company that has spilled stuff in the river no more. It's gonna be technology based stuff, man.
Pollution, brother.
We're not making environmental manufacturing companies like Ford did on an assembly line in the 30s. That was a dumbass point that you tried to make and get loud with it. That was dumb as hell.
Stop. Wait, I got a question. It's either yes, y'all support we make more stuff in America, or no, y'all don't support
Why
it.
you keep muting me, though, man?
Because y'all talking over me when I'm trying to answer y'all question, and it's getting
I'm
kind of
not.
ridiculous.
I wasn't even doing
if,
anything.
If I'm talking, someone I'll start talking, then you start talking. That's three people talking at once. It doesn't sound well. So I'll just ask you a question. Cisco Tech, do you support us making more stuff in America?
Oh no, I do support that, but how long is that gonna take? How long are we gonna depend on these other countries?
You support us making more stuff in
and
America.
how much? Okay, but
so how do you think we get there?
you're gonna build.
How do you think we get to supporting for us to start making more stuff in America?
You have to start somewhere.
I don't see it, man, because a lot of Americans want to get paid more money.
So
let
me ask you again. Do you support us making more stuff in America? Yeah,
Oh, I do, 100%.
How do you think we get there?
It's gonna be hard, man, because what I'm trying to tell you is that if you make a product here in America, that's gonna cost you, let's say, just throw a random number, $30. Let's just say that, $30. And then China can come around and say I can sell it for $10. Well, they're gonna buy China products rather than America.
And if you put a
You know what I'm
tariff
saying?
on that,
So we're not
doesn't that
gonna
make-
see a flow of economy.
If you put a tariff on that product, stop. If you put a tariff on that product where it doesn't matter if you buy it from China or America at the same price, does it matter? Are they gonna start buying more from American?
It's gonna be really hard, dude. It's gonna be really hard. Americans can buy it here.
You want us to? You think we should make more stuff in America, and you can't think of a way to incentivize companies to make their stuff in America. What if the cheap labor wasn't a factor anymore because of tariffs?
Well, the cheap labor. The cheap labor, like I said, China is paying their people very cheap labor.
Let me ask you
and not just China, and not just China.
I just want you to
every
answer the
other
question.
country.
Do you think if the tariffs made the cheap labor not really a factor no more, that they'll start making their stuff in America?
I don't think it's gonna work, dude.
Do you? So you don't think that if we put tariffs on other products so that it's no longer a factor the cheap labor, then you're gonna still make it in China?
Yeah, I believe that because, so you're putting tariffs on China, 30%, 10%, I don't care. Okay, but right now, every other country is saying, fuck this, man, I'm gonna put a tariff on the United States.
They already have tariffs on the United
So
States.
it's gonna cost you more though.
They already have tariffs on the United States.
But those other countries can't survive with the tariffs we're putting on them. They can try to come back, but we don't buy the product from them, and they have those tariffs.
Okay, but
they'll
what
be
products
begging.
do we make here though?
They'll be begging to sell their products.
but
We don't
what
make
products
them.
are you
They want to
making
sell
here?
their product. They want to sell their products to us.
Okay, you said what price we're making here. If we put tariffs on other products, that'll be incentive
Okay,
for them
well,
to make it here.
what products have we built here though?
If we put tariffs on those foreign products, that'll be
I
incentive
know,
for those
I
businesses to
understand
make it
about
in
tariffs,
America.
but what have you built here in America that
I'll look it up
they're
now.
gonna? Okay, tell me.
I'll look it up. I got you.
I mean,
our biggest export
tires.
is soybeans and corn. Just to let you guys know.
Okay. So
Corolla crayons, KitchenAid mixers, Zippo lighters, Airstream trailers, Wilson footballs, Harley Davidson motorcycle, large cast iron cookware, Post-it notes, Pyrex cookware,
no.
Red Wing shoes, some type of piano,
A bunch of consumer products that somebody can take or leave.
Say that again. You started talking over me.
There's a bunch of consumer products and somebody can take or leave.
Right.
Okay. What are these products that are made in China that we're so relying on that we can't get them from anywhere else? Are they not consumer products?
Automotive parts, households.
We can't make those automotive parts.
You name it.
You can get automotive parts in Germany.
Okay, there you go.
We could make those here, can we not?
We can make all of that here. But if we give tariffs to everybody else and make them put somebody,
why didn't we make it here
then
then at the beginning? Why didn't we make it
They were
here?
selling factories going overseas for cheaper labor to get more profit. If you're on the side of these big
There you
businesses
go.
making better
And
profit,
what's your problem with
that's
that?
okay. So you're on the side of the big business making more profit versus them. Hey, they gotta eat the profit sometimes or eat the cost because they gotta pay American laborers more.
Sounds good to me.
I don't understand what the issue is about. I mean, I think I just need to drop because it just makes no sense, dude. I'm sorry.
So you tell me it makes no sense to, hey, we're gonna increase the price so that it doesn't matter if you make it in America or if you make it in China, it's gonna cost you the same price to make it. That's not a sense to make it over here. And if you want us to remove the tariff, just make it in America also.
That's it.
But what was that a problem before? Before we could manage to have an option of buying cheaper parts,
you know,
The
or
Democrats
buying
did that in the
expensive
late
parts.
70s, in the 80s,
And now we're not going to have that
buying
option
we're in.
anymore.
You remember
Now we're in
We're
the
not
buying
going to have
we're
that
in.
option
Remember
anymore
when we was
because
younger?
now
Wait, stop.
you're
Remember when we was
putting.
Remember when we was younger and everyone was complaining that
you're
they're sending
putting-
jobs overseas?
Yep.
You remember when we was younger and
Okay,
everyone was complaining,
so-
oh, they're shipping jobs overseas,
My God.
everything's going overseas, everything's built made in a different country. Y'all don't remember that? So
Yes, I understand that, but so you're okay.
So should we bring some of those
But
jobs
what
back
I'm trying
here
to tell
so
you-
not everybody can have
Hey.
like instead of making a service-based economy, it's better that we make a lot of stuff our own. A lot of that, so we could just like even these little parts. Not
Okay,
every
but
little
how
part
long
can
is
be
it going
made
to
in
take to build a company?
Bro,
How
some
long is
of
it going to take to build a company here in the States?
It'll take a while.
And
I don't
then
know off the top of my head.
by the time that you build that company here, Trump is not going to be a president no more. And then
Okay.
you get a new president that doesn't agree with Trump said, and we're going to go back to zero.
No, that's not gonna happen. You know why?
How's that going to work out for you?
No, let me explain that. If they start building in America, if they break ground in America, why would they just leave? And if they break ground in America,
didn't one of y'all
you
say
have to-
Trump
you
was a
have to-
dictator?
You have to hope that the
Oh, yeah,
the
he's
next
a
person's gonna take away all the tariffs. Joe Biden didn't take away the tariffs that Trump put in his first term. So why you make the next Democrat or the next Republican gonna take away the tariffs that Trump did in this term?
Because they won't agree with what he said.
Why they didn't agree with what we said and they still kept his
But
tariffs
if
in the
he's a
first
dictator,
term.
like you said,
Okay, but
If
I'm just saying that by the time these companies are built here, and then the next president that comes in that doesn't agree with Trump, then we're gonna go back to zero.
They didn't do that the
Trump's
first
not a
time that
dictator.
Trump was in office. Biden administration kept the Trump tariffs. So the next,
No, they
so
didn't.
if you take away the tariffs, that means you're gonna take away the like an income source for the federal government. And you think the federal government is really trying to cut will do something like that? Like it's hard enough for them to try to cut daggone taxes and like or cut spending. You really think they're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna cut spending, but we're gonna get rid of tariffs. We're not gonna cut spending, but we're gonna get rid of tariffs." They didn't even do that the first term. The Biden administration didn't do that, but the next administration you think will? Just because they don't
they
like
actually
Trump.
added tariffs.
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. If they don't agree with Trump was doing, I mean, they're just gonna cut that out of the question mark, and then we're going back to zero. That's what I'm just trying to tell
They
you.
didn't do that. They had the chance to do that, and they didn't though.
No, I'm talking about the future. I'm
Bro,
talking about
you know, a good
once
position
Trump
wasn't
is
in-
out.
a good prediction of what's going to happen in the
Well-
future is what's happened in the past. In the past, the Democrats didn't do that under Biden. What makes you think they're going to do it if it changes to another Democrat?
Because what Trump has done today, and he's only been here what 2 months, two and a half months or whatever, and look how much chaos he's already created, bro.
Bruh, I don't
You
think
know,
Trump,
what
I don't
makes
think
me
Trump
believe
creates
that-
much chaos. I just think that anytime he does anything, the news reporting has
Dude,
it
how
the
many
most
people is already?
Anytime
How many
Trump-
people is already writing out there, man?
Anytime Trump do anything, the news just say, "Oh, Trump did this. Oh my goodness, Trump did that." So I don't really think it's that much
So
chaos.
they didn't riot. They didn't riot during the Obama or during Biden administration.
You said
Nobody
riot.
was
Yeah, but
rioting?
he's only been here two.
You said
2
riots.
months, bro.
You talking about the whole time that they were taking over college campuses?
I didn't see that happening when Biden joined in. I didn't see that happening when Obama
Right,
did.
because you turn
I mean,
a
I
blind
didn't
eye
see that.
to
When
it.
Biden's in office, this is what you do. I don't see it. I don't see it. Trump. Let me get my magnifying glass. Like, come on, man. Like you focus on every little thing Trump did, but you don't know
You
nothing
came
that
up
Biden
here
was
talking
doing.
about the illegal immigrants that he was deporting, and Obama deported more illegal immigrants than any U.S. president. Than any. He deported over 5 million.
And if we don't
And
start
only
trying to do something
75%.
now, when do we start trying to do something? Like when do even if Trump is like have the worst idea, they haven't been trying to do anything different in the last 20 years. Like they haven't tried to do anything different. They've been sending jobs and companies overseas for cheap labor, and Americans been getting like service-based jobs that people say, oh, we're not getting paid that well. So if you want to get paid better, maybe you need a job. Maybe if they brought manufacturing back, the service-based jobs will have to compete with the manufacturing job for it to pay people better. So if someone is getting paid, like, let's say at a block, I used to work at a block plant. Some of the starting wages will go from like $18 to $20 an hour. At like McDonald's or it's like any like other like service industry, it's probably not that high. So wouldn't that force the wages to go up for like the middle class? We got you saying that the dying of the middle class was happening because they were sending jobs overseas. If these jobs come back, people have more jobs to choose from, increasing the competition for wages for jobs in the first place. Is there something wrong with that?
No, but what I do see is that him dismantling all these what do you call companies, like let's say the I'm not gonna get into it, like the Department of Education,
Okay, you know what I mean.
the USAID, you know, giving.
What does the USA do that you like so much? My bad. USAID.
You know what? I went into high school, bro. I never had a problem with them providing me with stuff like books.
What did
like,
USAID do that you like so much?
Oh, they help a lot of people, man.
Who did USAID help?
Low income people.
Do you know what USAID does?
What do they do?
It's for foreign aid to different programs.
Okay,
they were doing an
that's fine.
Afghanistan Sesame Street.
Okay.
Do you support Afghanistan Sesame Street?
I support everybody that wants to come to this country and make it better.
They're not coming to this country.
They were sending money
To
over to
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan to create an Afghanistan version of Sesame Street.
Okay, but you know that's the economy flow, because the more we conquer, the more money we
They
make.
didn't conquer them. What are you talking about? We were sending
Well, I mean, I'm just
taxpayer
saying,
dollars
the more we
to
get involved-
Afghanistan for them to create an Afghanistan Sesame Street. Do you support that? You
Yes.
just say you don't. You do?
Yes.
What did you get? What do we get from that?
What do you want to get back from them? I mean, you get their minerals, their petroleum, whatever it is.
We don't get that from Afghanistan.
I don't think you know what USAID actually does. Do you want what the Department of Education? What percentage of Department of Education money goes to the schools?
That's another issue I have, because I heard of people saying that if we dismantle the Department of Education, we can make kids smarter, which is a lie.
Okay, since
It
the
is a lie.
beginning of the Department of Education, this people being smarter, you want to say, was going down. We've been going down in reading and math. So what have they
Why?
actually done?
Why?
Because we're not actually
Okay,
getting the
but
money. The money's
it only
not
takes a
actually getting-
pencil and a piece of paper to
only
get smart.
10%. Only 10% of the
So,
money going. Only 10% of the Department of Education's funding was actually going to education and to the schools. So wouldn't it be
And
better
how's-
to take
how's
all
that
that
gonna
money
make-
and send it to the states so they can send it to the schools themselves?
How's that gonna make a kid smarter though?
You're the one that. How does the DOE make the kids smarter? Is that what you're
They
asking?
Dude, it only takes a pencil and a piece of paper to make you smart.
And-
Whether you want to learn
Bro,
or not,
all
that's
these schools are talking about they can't afford basic supplies though. All these you don't.
What do you
see
mean?
teachers-
I
you
got
don't-
I
you
got
don't-
all
you
the.
never- You don't hear how teachers are saying I have to go buy stuff out of pocket. So come on, man. So what are you talking about?
When I went to school, I was provided with everything. If I didn't have a resource to get a book, they'll get it for me. I don't understand what was taken away from me.
Government fraud now, man. The money goes to other government.
How's that government
Crap.
fraud when you're helping a kid? I mean, you have
I
free
got a question.
lunches.
I got a question. The
Okay.
Department of Education doesn't take care of lunch. It's the Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, they don't do.
So
I don't know what the Department of Education does, but when I said I went to
why are you
school, I
defending
was
it so hard
provided
if you
with.
don't even know what it
I was
does?
provided with everything that I needed
It came
to go
from
to
the
school.
state. Most of the money that for your schooling came from the state, or it came from tax. It came from what? What
Okay,
was it?
so why?
Property
Okay,
taxes.
so why was the Department of Education there for a long time if it was no good? I mean,
Bro,
come
I
on,
don't know. I
come
don't
on.
know what Department
Because-
of Education that's doing that's so good that people are defending it. I really don't know.
The
Okay, so-
object of it was no kid left behind. That was kind of like what the
Okay.
object was.
I think we should leave these.
So
some of
that
these
means
kids behind.
people that doesn't know how to read and write can still graduate high school.
And they're doing it. That's why our kids.
No,
are
no,
dumb.
you're wrong on that, man. You're
He's
wrong
right.
on
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Reading,
right.
whether you read or read right,
We're wrong
that's
on
that's
everything,
that's something with the parents or the teacher.
No, it's not.
No,
Teachers-
you
know?
know, no
It's
child.
a-
It has nothing to
Go
do
look
with
up
the
the
Department of
statistics
Education,
of how
bro.
many people that has graduated that does not know how to read and write
It's
Bro,
called
no,
no
it's-
child
in
left
the last
behind.
40 years.
It's not that they don't know how to read and write. It's that they read around like I think it's third grade reading level. Is most people, most Americans read at a
Right.
third grade reading level.
Kids are dumb. You ever watch a kid send a text message? It's ridiculous.
Hey, no, stop. I'm not gonna talk about that because text messages. The way I talk on TikTok, social media is not the same way I'm gonna write if I have to write like an actual document or official document for work.
That's true.
You don't have to, but you don't have to put correct punctuation, but you have to spell the word correctly.
You don't really need to do that because most people could understand what you're trying to say. If
Well-
even like if I could spell the word incorrectly, and a lot of people still like, okay, I know what you're trying to say.
No, we do that all the time. You do that in the email when you're typing in the business world. Sometimes you mess up if you don't have the word grammar thing on. But what I'm saying is the people I deal with, we don't send each other a bunch of fragment, dumb, ignorant messages. It don't take that much more time to text the right word. So
I do. I'm
kids,
not gonna
kids
lie,
sound
I do.
stupid.
I don't.
I mean, you
use-
can use acronyms.
It's
Acronyms
no-
are fine.
I don't use any type of good grammar unless I gotta do it for work or something serious. And I don't like if I'm on TikTok and do social media, there are gonna be a couple grammar areas because I'm like, it's social media, dog. That's how I feel about it. But when people doing stuff for work and they're trying to say, yo, bro, I can't understand what you're saying, that's different. But come on, but let's get back to like the average American's reading around third grade reading level, right? Or am I wrong? Let me look this up.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm gonna mute myself because I gotta go to the store real quick, and then I'll come back. If you still on there, that's fine. If you want to drop me, no problem.
Oh no, y'all!
So-
I'm about to get off soon anyway because it's midnight right now.
Oh, okay, well, see you guys later. Thank
right,
you for
bye,
having
bro.
me.
You can come back anytime. All right, well, I'm about to get going. Y'all want anything you guys gotta say before I go?
Good
I
little.
looked that up. They said 3.8 million people graduated high school in 2023, and 780,000 of them does not know how to read and write.
That sounds like a
The
fact to
average.
me.
That's kind of bad. It's the average American says it's a 7 to 8 grade reading level. And to be honest, I
That's
think
average American.
to be honest,
Like
I think
I didn't even graduate high school, but I know how to read and write.
no. I'm gonna say something crazy before I leave it. I don't think everyone should go to high school. I think at the end of 8th grade, you should either go to high school that do something technical or give you a trade, electrician, plumber, HVAC, something, or people
Yeah.
could go to 2 years of do 2 years of high school and then do like the go to college. Cause I don't think school shouldn't be that long. After 8th grade, they taught you the majority of the stuff, and you could tell where that kid is heading. So they could either test and go to a high school that's gonna teach them like a trade, or test at a high school that's gonna get them prepared for college. That's how I think we should set up the American stuff. It might sound kind of crazy, but that's
No,
what
I think that's legit. Because I think most kids by that time they know who they're going to be, or what they want to be. Like
people are gonna say, "Oh my goodness, that's crazy! I can't believe you." But I'm like, come on, do you really think you don't know? By
it's the
8th
same
grade?
concept of beating a dead horse. I mean, it's like after this point, you should know the basic skills of life.
Yeah. Wait, you can decide your career at 8th grade, but Republicans think you can't decide your sexual. I'm not gonna address that now. I gotta go. We could talk about that later. Yo, Jan, you could come up another time, but I'm not gonna address that now. All right, have a good night, y'all.
Peace.
I got Ian. Ian next time. Ian next time. All right.